community. His dad, Vin, was a pretty handy player.
Oh, there you go.
Locally, and Charlie back into the side this week, looking to lock down a position.
Very handy cricketer too, Vin.
South Melbourne, is that right? Not cricket, South Melbourne. He played for South Melbourne.
Yep. Yeah. He played footy at South Melbourne. He plays cricket at St Joey's.
Jeez, he can run between the wickets, isn't he?
That was written, spoken, and authorised by Pete Ryan from The Age, Vin, and I know you're listening. And if you're not somebody that you do know,
we know nothing, Vin.
Yeah,
it's all him.
Yeah, we haven't put him up to that at all.
It's not true, Vinny. It's a team game. Everyone's responsible, including the bloke who's in charge, which is Tom King.
No,
It'll be great to see Charlie though. Get back on track.
Yeah.
I can't control Pete Ryan. I thought Ben was tough to really...
Where is Ben? What did you do with him?
Well, he's been managed.
It's in the suitcase.
He's been managed to Port Douglas.
Has he?
Yeah.
Right.
Tough life for some.
Could I be managed to Port Douglas one week, please?
I might take it. Might take that up too.
Just on the women's program here at Geelong, the Cats, it was a mid-season draft on Wednesday night. The Cats had 3 selections. Mia Skinner back on the Geelong list. She was here for 2 years, had a horrible run with an injury, stress fracture of the femur. And, so didn't get barely on the park in her 2 years. She was delisted, but has gone back to VFL level this year, kicked 21 goals in 14 games and was the Cats' first pick. They picked up a player called Brooke Plummer from the Northern Knights. Now, I think she's going to become a fan favourite really quickly. Vivacious is probably the best word to describe her. She was here on Thursday doing some media, and a real up and about personality, real bright and bubbly. So looking forward to seeing her. And Abby McDonald was the Cats' other selection as well. So 3 picks in the draft. The Cats list is now finalised.
When's the draw? When's
we expect to see the fixture in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, right.
So that fixture then becomes interesting, Jace, because that will then determine whether we might see the GFL Grand Final played here or not. So they left the prelim and the grand final open for interpretation in terms of what venue they play those at, with the first 2 weeks of the GFL finals at Geelong West Oval. We're going to take a break. We're not too far away from going on the big screen here at GMHBA Stadium. Jason Nealdy and I are going to have a quick chat about the game, so we better move ourselves into position to do that. And if you're listening to us through Krock football, krock.com.au, make sure you head now to afl.com.au and the Geelong North Melbourne Match Centre to continue streaming our call of tonight's clash between the Cats and the Kangaroos. With a full bands for Team Tyre Power in the Ponds and Norlane Hotel. Relax and catch up with friends at the Ponds and Norlane Hotel on a Saturday night. Thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7. Live, breathe, Krock footy.
Thanks to our #1 ticket holder, APCO. Fueled by APCO Cafe 24/7.
Wind, rain, cold. Yep, that's winter for you. But it's always summer somewhere.
Nah, actually it's not. Sometimes it's only spring and autumn somewhere.
Way to rain on my parade, guy. We're teaming up with Hello World Travel in Leopold and Drysdale to bring a bit of sunshine back into your life, sending you on your summer holiday smack bang in the middle of winter. A trip to Hawaii worth $15,000 should be enough to make you feel warm in all the right places. Register now at krock.com.au and get ready to answer the phone saying, "It's getting hot in here." Krock's climate change. It's topical and tropical. Escape the cold. Book your winter break now with the travel experts. Hello World Travel, Leopold and Drysdale.
On-road, off-road. Check out Geelong 4-Wheel Drive and Camping, the home of Ironman 4x4. Everything is on display in the huge showroom, and you can get great deals on bull bars, winches, suspension, swags and more. They're your local agent for Carry Boy canopies, plus X-Rocks bars, Clearview towing mirrors, HEMA mapping and Ozpig. Before you go on your next 4-wheel drive and camping adventure, get a pre-trip inspection. Geelong 4-Wheel Drive and Camping, Melbourne Road, North Geelong, next to Supercheap.
At Harvey Norman, get 60 months interest-free, no deposit finance from Latitude and receive a bonus gift card up to $1,000. Shop furniture, bedding, computers and technology, TVs and entertainment and more. That's 60 months interest-free, no deposit, no interest from Latitude with 60 approximately equal monthly payments and receive a bonus gift card up to $1,000. Finance only available if you have or are approved for a participating Latitude credit card. Minimum finance amount $1,000. See T's and C's. Interest applies for non-compliance. Fees and product exclusions apply. Now at Harvey Norman.
Easy parking at 2 great locations, Corio and Warn Ponds.
Hi, I'm Patrick Dangerfield.
When you're on the highway to the danger zone, make sure it's in a Rex Gorell new or used car. Rex Gorell just can't be beaten. They top the ladder when it comes to range, service, value and quality. So you'll only get the best when you buy your car from Rex Gorell. Family owned and committed to Geelong. Do what I've done. Join the winning team at Rex Gorell.
Rex Gorell, Fine Street on the Trobe Terrace, Geelong. Visit rexgorell.com.au. LMCT's 1308 8349.
Time to have a check the stats for Kerrs High. Here's... Oh, Bruce, you're back.
Thank you. Hey, here's a huge stat, the big 4-0.
Who's had 40 possessions, Bruce? That is impressive.
Possessions? No, I'm talking about 40 years. Kerrs High is 40. They've got gear for any job you need to tackle.
Bruce, we're after some stats on the ground.
Oh, well, I say landscape it. That circle in the middle would suit a fire pit.
Kerrs Hire, locals serving locals for 40 years. North Geelong, Grovedale and Ocean Grove. KersHire.com.au.
Thanks to our number one ticket holders, APCO. Fueled by APCO Cafe 24/7.
Saturday night football, bit before the bounce, thanks to Team Tyre Power and the Ponds and Norland Hotels. Relax and catch up with friends at the Ponds and Norland Hotel. And also, check out our good friend at Team Tyre Power. They've got 4 great locations. You can find them around Geelong and the Surf Coast. Belmont, Drysdale, North Geelong and Torquay. It's Saturday night football. It's the Cats spending the next month, Mark Neal, without Tom Stewart holding the fort down back. We get I suppose, without disrespecting North Melbourne, we have spoken about how the Cats will come here tonight. We expect them to get the 4 points, but maybe this is an opportunity to look at what it will look like for the Cats, who then face a tough little trio of matches. It's Melbourne, Carlton and Port Adelaide in Adelaide before Tom Stewart returns.
Yeah, I think, Kingy, Geelong will still want to play the same way. The game plan... It is the game plan, and we know this year that they've made some alterations to it. So if we look offensively, and Tom Stewart, although he plays in the back line, he begins a lot of the offensive ball movement for the Cats. This year, they use the corridor more when it's on. They don't exclusively want to go through the middle of the ground, but they're certainly, if it's on, they'll take that short 45 diagonal kick. Now, Tom Stewart's really good at that. He's really good at reading that. Now, one of the other things that they do, we speak about this on a regular basis. Most football clubs these days, or football teams, will send their highest forward up in and around the middle of the ground. So they're playing with 5 forwards and they get the extra midfielder. Now, Geelong is one of the teams that say, well, okay, you do that, we'll give you an advantage around the ball. So you run up there. If you win it, we're going to back our midfield players to put pressure on you. We're going to leave 6 of our defenders at home, so to speak, and they're going to have the advantage by 1. Geelong are fantastic at ensuring the way they set up that advantage is Tom Stewart, and he reads the game really, really well. Now, that will be something, if they want to play the same way, who plays that role? Is that Jack Henry that goes back and they try and free him up, or it's just whoever it is, and they expect whoever gets left free to play that role? Now, there's a few players back there that won't come natural, right? So that will be really interesting to see how they go about doing that, because they will want to play the same way.
If you had to nominate one player and it was you moving the magnets, have you got one in mind that you think could play that role to a certain level?
The natural one for me, like similar height, is actually Jack Henry. And Jack Henry came and was terrific last week as the 3rd tall forward. Gary Rowan's back this week. Does it naturally mean that they put Jack Henry back? But he's probably the obvious one. Sam De Koning, who's not playing Kingy, but he's doing a fantastic job intercept marking while playing on the monsters of the competition. So he's probably going to be the one, I would think, because they've got Mitch Duncan is back. He's playing a different role. They might on occasion free him up, but he's more your run and he's your ball carrier, and he runs with so much pace off the back flank. So there's a couple of different options there.
Would you, in a game like this, potentially have a look at Gary Rowan, or would that just be ridiculous in that role?
Well, you could, but one of the things that if they've done it at training, it's rare that you would try something that you haven't done at training in a game. So without having watched how they've trained,
do you think Gary Rowan could do that role? He did it for Sydney years ago. And he can run, obviously.
He can.
Can he defend?
He's just sort of spluttering and splurting at the moment, though, isn't he? So to get him back in the team first and do that role is maybe a bit of a stretch tonight.
Look, he's an experienced AFL player, Pete, and there's nothing outside of the realms of possibility. And we, at the moment, although what are Melbourne at the moment, King, they're 12-9-81, 10-4-64. So they'll win over there. Everybody is of the belief that it's Melbourne, and then there's the rest. So if you're going to beat Melbourne on grand final day, you might want to have something up your sleeve. Is it a Gary Rowan? As you said, he's done it before. He's done it before on grand final day, I think, for Sydney. So hasn't done it for a while, but he's an experienced AFL player. I can't see them trialling too much. I think they've trialled a few things, one of which has been fantastic has been Atkins in the middle. That has been absolutely brilliant in the absence of Dangerfield. Now, Selwood comes out of the side for having a bit of a rest before next Thursday night, so they can do that now. Give it a confidence of Tom Atkins in there, and at the end of the game when the heat was on, he was the one that cleared it out of the middle, got it forward to Stengel. So they're prepared to do things a little bit differently, and Duncan's gone back and it's done so without fanfare. Everybody still thinks that Mark Blitzars plays back and played there for a long time. His work from the wing and then working back as that extra player has been fantastic. Yeah, so they'll trial some things.
I know we don't read much we don't read anything, and I know having been in the system, when we see a team named on a Thursday night, how it's named is not how it lines up.
You joke? No.
No, yeah. Yes, I knew you were going to be facetious.
Don't they line up the way they put... You're kidding me. I've never noticed.
But the catch...
the other side of that, Tom.
Yes, Mark.
Do you actually read that?
Well, I actually have to type it into the Carroll Footy website, so I have to actually put everybody into position for a little graphic.
How long does that take you?
About 5 minutes.
Good, because that's 5 minutes of your week you will never get back, and it has no purpose.
I know you've got a question, but about 20 years ago at the record, when I was looking at the footy record, we tried to change it to midfielders, forwards and backs, and the readers went mental.
Yeah. They still want
your positions.
Even though that doesn't happen.
Yep.
They still want your 15 on the ground, your 3 down the left-hand corner with Ruck, Rover and Rover, and then your 4, X-Men on the interchange. So the catch team was just very interesting, nearly, that it had Gary Rowan in the back pocket.
Yep.
It had Jeremy Cameron in the centre.
Yep.
And Patrick Dangerfield at full forward. But we know that James Kelly has debunked in terms of, he's spoken to us about where Patrick Dangerfield will spend most of the night.
Most of the night. Doesn't mean he might. I wonder if it starts like that.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Well,
you can write an article about it if it does.
I probably will.
I will.
Not.
I'll be sure to flick. I'll read it, Pete. I'll read everything that you write.
Mitch Duncan tonight, game 250, becomes just the 19th player to play 250 VFL AFL games for the club. Mildy debuted round 1 2010 against the Bombers after being drafted from WA. Came in a pretty good draft crop, actually, including Daniel Menzel was in that crew. I think Nathan Vardy might have been, Josh Cowan were among those that were drafted by the Cats, but he's the one that's been the great survivor of that crew to go on and play 250 games. He's turned himself into one of the elite ball users of the competition. Well, he probably was an elite ball user to start with, but it became more noticeable for probably about 100 onwards.
Oh, outstanding player. Look, as you mentioned, King, there's very few players that actually get to play that many games of footy compared to the people that actually get drafted. But he is a silky, smooth mover on the AFL field, King, and he has been. So interesting when we asked James Kelly to summarise Mitch Duncan. So Kel's coached him and he's also played with him, and he spoke about consistency. And I think it's rare that we sit up here if Geelong haven't played all that well and you think, Duncan was a bit down. Yep. He's been fantastic. He consistently finds the footy. And he can play in all 3 areas of the ground. So there you go, Pete. You can pick him in your little groups anywhere you like. And he is still an absolute key part of this football team as it pushes towards hopefully bigger and better things than September. The way that he plays, carries the footy. And we often say that when we have that question about who would you like kicking the ball inside 50 if you were a leading forward, well, Mitch Duncan's always at the top of that list, or very close to.
They missed him last year.
Just off my personal KFC Twitter now, of course.
Great.
This is from Gary from St Leonard's, who's actually just messaged me. It was 250 games for Luke Parker today.
It was.
Who's the better, Duncan or Parker?
Yeah. Oh, that's a good question. They were both, funnily enough, subs in premierships.
Correct.
Yes.
That's a really good, because slightly different players. Luke Parker obviously plays nearly exclusively as an inside mid, whereas Mitch Duncan, he's not exclusively outside on a half-back wing. He does go through the middle, so slightly different. But, I don't think either club would be upset that one's got Luke Parker, one's got Mitch Duncan. They've been fantastic players over a long period of time.
Yeah, irony in that they played 250 on the same day and they were,
Yeah, and they would have been... where was Mitch Duncan picked up in the draft? He was like...
He's in the 20s.
Parker was 40 or something, so they're great value picks. The other thing about Mitch Duncan, I reckon he's one of those players that hasn't got better as he's got older, but everyone who follows footy just starts to recognise how good a player and how good a career he's had. And now you hear people start just saying Mitch Duncan's a gun. without even thinking about it. Because his last few years have been great apart from when he's been injured last year.
Yeah, it's a good point, Pete. And when he came into the side, he came into a very, very talented side, and he fitted in. Absolutely no worries whatsoever.
For Curtis High, Jace, what number pick was it?
28.
28. Thank you. You knew it was in the 20s somewhere. And he replaced James Podsiadly.
Yeah, the other thing about Duncan, this is an interesting one when you look at Jason Horne-Francis tonight, and you'd know this, Neildy. Jack Trengove, I remember when he made his debut for Melbourne, started off in the centre in his first game, whereas Mitch Duncan got the opportunity to play as an outside, play as a sub, play
Joel Selwood, exactly the same.
Yeah.
We've
how much better is that for your development, or how much easier, probably, without it being easy? But
it's absolutely amazing. And you think, yes, Mitch Duncan, Joel Selwood, the teams at the top of the ladder have that luxury to do that. It's interesting, so for Jack Trengove or Horne-Francis, when he turned... Before they've played a game, they're considered to be in the top 4 or 5 players at the club.
Yeah.
They haven't even played a game. It's a really different kettle of fish. And you've got this 18-year-old player, in both those cases, moved over from South Australia, and they're carrying the weight of that football club's expectations. That's a big call. Yeah, it's a very different sort of environment, that one, Pete.
$1.2 million raised by the Cats this week as part of their Community Giving Day, which that money goes towards their community programs and delivering that. So a great result there for the Cats. So every donation made, every dollar donated was quadrupled by matches. So some people with very deep pockets who remain anonymous but have said, well, for every dollar it's raised. So basically $300,000 donated by the community, and then that's quadrupled. So $1.2 million. Georgie Rankin's going to ring the bell, AFLW Leadership Group member before the game. They're talking about raising money. And, of course, is Dry July. Neil, you did it last year.
I did.
This year, you've actually, as part of your role at Geelong United Basketball, have made it cast a wider net.
I have. So Dry July, and the one that we're talking about here is connected to the Geelong community through the Barwon Health Foundation, raising money for the Andrew Love Cancer Centre. And part of the deal, not the deal, part of the sort of the agreement, if you like, was instead of just dropping it, was to find someone else to carry the baton. So in Geelong with the basketball, there are 17 club presidents as part of the Geelong United Basketball community competitions, and each one of the 17 club presidents have formed a group, and they're raising money to go towards Andrew Love Cancer Centre. Right now, Kingy, I can give you... What about this? Is me giving you some stats, which is absolutely incredible.
For Kerrs Hire?
For Kerrs Hire stats. So the first one I'll give you tonight, Billy Brownless's Frothy Fund is currently sitting, so there's a group of about, let's say 10 to 12 people in that group. They're currently sitting as the number one group in the country for money raised. And the Geelong United Basketball presidents for Dry July are sitting number 2. So Geelong is it's a wonderful place to live here, Kingy. It's full of generous people, and sometimes people can give money, other people give their time, some people do both, other people use the platform that they've got to help raise money. It's fantastic community to be a part of.
Do you have to be dry through July?
You do.
Right.
Unless
you buy... Can you?
Oh, you can. There is a $25 golden ticket pass that allows you a drink on a particular day, but it becomes quite a competitive thing, Pete. And one of the things that we did was have a bit of a wander through the Andrew Love Cancer Centre, and you think, and you listen, and you just listen to some of the things that people go through, and the fact that if you think you can go 31 days without a drink after you hear what some of those people are going through. Now, speaking of Geelong being a community and people doing wonderful things for others, avid reader of the Geelong Advertiser, always go there, pick it up, and just see if I can see what's going on the news. So tonight I was doing some research all week. It's become the Lifeline advertiser. There is nothing in there about the Geelong Footy Club. It is all about Lifeline and the great work they're doing. And the big melon of Jason Doherty's just absolutely, it's fantastic. I love this community. There it was. Yes. You're everywhere.
No, it's been a good
well done. What were you doing in there?
Well, we went to a Give Where You Live night called the Pitch Up, which is a very good night. Raised $90,000 on that night for 3 organisations.
Geelong's a great place.
It's a great place. I tell you, I just checked. You guys are at $20,000 already.
Outstanding.
That's
very good.
Billy's at 35. So
we're coming for you, Billy.
55,000 in like a week.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Our corporate suite It's got some people in it tonight.
Oh, actually, I know one personally. I know two, actually.
So just among some of the groups here, Kerrs High are there.
Okay.
So I'm guessing Jared will be there.
And we've started tonight giving the Kerrs High stats for dry July. What about that? That's a good thing.
Kerrs High, your local high company since 1982, so 40 years in the business. So Jared and the team from Kerrs High are there. Harvey Norman Computers and Flooring there as well with Nathan and Cindy. And the Kenny Group are there as well. Now, the Kenny Group accounting firm, big in the northern suburbs, lost their patriarch Stan Kenny not long ago, so our sympathies to the Kenny family. I know some of the boys in the Kenny family, so to the Kenny family, our thoughts with you. But the Kenny Group, massive contributor to the northern suburbs.
Okay, wonderful.
Give a lot to the community, the Kenny Group. Absolutely.
So welcome to the Kenny Group as well. Nathan and Cindy are our account managers who are in the box tonight, enjoying a little bit of K-Rock corporate hospitality.
Excellent. Now, I also think Herbie is down there from Herbie, Josh and Neildy fame. I think she's down there.
Herbie, Josh and Neildy. Wow.
There it is.
Josh is back on Monday too from 4 o'clock after being on parental leave.
He has been. He's been there for a while. It's terrific.
So he's back. Coleman's little stint's finished, and he'll be back on Monday afternoon at 4 o'clock. We're going to be back after the break, and we're going to get our teeth right into this one. It is Before the Bounce. Thanks to the Ponds of 9 Hotels and Team Tyre Power, your number one stop shop for all tyres and wheels in North Geelong, Belmont, Drysdale and Torquay. Pete Ryan is going to depart us, Pete, but before you do, we put you under pressure and we ask you who's winning and by how much. There's no pressure tonight.
Geelong by 80.
Wow. Right.
If they're fair income.
It was 10 goals in round 6, so by 80 here tonight. Pete, thanks for dropping by as always. Look forward to reading your stuff in the Sunday Age tomorrow.
Thank you, boys.
Pete Ryan joining us here in the K-Rock box. North Melbourne are out on GMHBA Stadium. The Cats are not too far away. Crepe paper can't do justice to a player of this ilk. 250 games for Mitch. We should have made it from silk. Nice little bit of rhyming there from the Geelong cheer squad with the banner for Mitch Duncan's 250th. We'll take a break. Back on the other side of this. Thanks to Abco Cafe 24/7 with the Cats and the Kangaroos. Round 16 with Breathe Carroll Footy.
Thanks to our number one ticket holder, Abco. Fueled by Abco Cafe 24/7. Herbie and Josh.
While Josh is off listening to this, Herbie's here with Lee Kuhlman to drive you home.
There are things that you should never be saying in the delivery room.
Making comments, I think, about that general direction and how it's going to bounce back. That's enough.
But I thought, let's have a bit of fun with this. Let's be the partner for a minute. Let's hop into the delivery room.
Okay. The comment that I thought you couldn't say was like, shh, babe, I can hardly hear you over the TV. Stop complaining.
What about, hey, love, tee off is at 9. Can you make this quick?
Don't be yelling at me. My hard work was done 9 months ago, all right?
Oh, I reckon that screams divorce.
Herbie and Josh. Weekdays from 4 p.m. Only on K-Rock 955.
Got the feeling you've forgotten something? Wallet, keys, phone? Oh, that's it. Your insurance premium. It's easy to forget to pay your insurance premium on time. And if the insurer cancels your policy, you're left high and dry. That's why Geelong Insurance Brokers has extra checks and procedures in place to remind you and make sure you're not left without cover. It's just another way Geelong Insurance Brokers is looking out for you. Find out more about these and other benefits at geelonginsurancebrokers.com.au.
Time to check the stats for Kerrs High. Here's... Bruce, you're back.
Thank you. Hey, here's a huge stat, the big 4-0.
Who's had 40 possessions, Bruce? That is impressive.
Possessions? No, I'm talking about 40 years. Kerrs High is 40. They've got gear for any job you need to tackle.
Bruce, we're after some stats on the ground.
Oh, well, I say landscape it. That circle in the middle would suit a fire pit.
Kerrs Hire, locals serving locals for 40 years. North Geelong, Grovedale and Ocean Grove. KerrsHire.com.au.
Footy fans, now there's a better way to get to the game. Forget the hassles of driving down the freeway or squeezing onto a train. Take a spacious, comfortable, fast ferry direct from Geelong's waterfront and make getting to the footy stress-free. With a fully licensed cafe on board, enjoy a snack on the way over and a beer or wine on the way home. Your trip to the footy is now more fun. Book footy ferry tickets at portphillipferries.com.au.
The heart and soul of Vaughan Ponds is The Ponds. Enjoy a quality meal, grab a drink and relax. It's such a friendly atmosphere with a playroom for the kids. Choose from indoor or outdoor dining. Kick back in the all-new beer garden or catch up with mates in the sports bar. There's the cafe and bottle shop too, all open daily.
The ponds.
The ponds.
Love the ponds.
At the Homemaker Centre, Warn Ponds. Bookings essential. View the menu at warnpondshotel.com.au.
Thanks to our number one ticket holders, ABCO. Fueled by ABCO Cafe 24/7.
We're before the bounce, thanks to the Ponds and Norlina Hotels and Team Tyre Power Relax. We can catch up with friends at the Ponds and Norlina Hotel. The Ponds, of course, you can find on the Colac Road at Warm Ponds and the Norlina Hotel, Melbourne Road in Norlane. Great food at both venues. If you're looking for a bite to eat, potentially, I know it's about 7:15, but they'll be able to feed you if you're looking to swing by somewhere. You've got Krock in the car and looking for a feed, head on down to the Ponds or Norlane Hotel. Mark Neal has joined us tonight in the experts chair, but keeping an eye on the Kerr's higher stats as well with Benny sunning himself in Port Douglas, although no sun right now at 7:15 on the Australian East Coast. Geelong Insurance Brokers, head-to-head. Geelong Insurance Brokers have been covering Geelong for 29 years, and Neildy has been looking after our head-to-head matchup for the last couple of years, thanks to Geelong Insurance Brokers. What have you got for us in terms of a matchup this evening?
Well, Kingy, you'll love this one. I reckon I've gone early for Geelong Insurance Brokers head-to-head with this. Now, Kingy, you often go to your personal Twitter, and it's amazing the things that... everything's for KFC. Well, not everything, but where your Twitter is. Now, it's amazing the things, the research you get out of that. Now, for years and years, you've been saying that Goldstein is coming to Geelong. Right? You've been saying it for ages. You've been saying
never said that.
You have. Come on, you say it all the time. Oh, Brian, if you're back in the studio,
he's not.
Can you?
Matt is.
Right, Matt, sort it out. We'll find it anyway. Well, Kingy, my notes, and they are always exemplary, tell me that you think Goldstein's coming to Geelong next year. So I thought, righto, let's analyse this situation. Now, what we're going to do this evening for Geelong Insurance Brokers and have a look at the impact on the game.
You're harder to ignore than
by Goldstein and Reece Stanley. Because clearly, if you keep banging on about Goldstein, you've got some questions about the Geelong Ruck Department. So that's what we're going to look at and analyse within a millimetre of its existence. What about that, Jace?
You've been talking to Benny, haven't you?
Nice.
No, I try to avoid that.
Now, Geelong Insurance Brokers, you can check them out at geelonginsurancebrokers.com.au. With more than 40 years in the insurance industry, Don and the team at Geelong Insurance Brokers, they work with their clients to ensure they have the right cover, not just the cheapest premium. I thought I'd got away from imbeciles for a week, and Neildy's just sort of stepping up into Benny's
drive-by.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, that was not drive. That was an effort to try and put me down and then run over me. But Kingy, you got to be really careful who you want to start a war with. So anyway, you just sort out your own little personal Twitter and all the research you get on there from all the well-researched people. Anyway, that's what we're doing. So there you go. So we're going to analyse it because later we're not far away for you coming up in a pre-game and saying, "Hey, Jace, I heard that this guy's going to that club," and then you ask him from where and who did you hear it from, and then there's just everyone claims up. That's how it
doesn't
works.
like to go any further.
No, it's just a little bit. Have a little bit of that hand grenade, and then we'll just step back.
If Neildy can shut up, I'm going to go down to Josh Conway.
Look, I've got it. Oh, see, now you need to learn. If you're going to react like that and all the toys come out of the cot when we say stuff, we will continue to do that. That's true. Now, this is bad for radio because you're currently staring at me. Your head's going all red. You're telling me to be quiet. And, Podol, have we got some type of Facebook thing or something? You can pull this camera in front of us here. Does that work and go live on Facebook or something? All right, Tom.
Josh Conway's down boundary side. Josh, come on in. Can you just give us a bit of an update? You got the van sneakers over the surface a little bit early. Just give us a sense of how it feels underfoot.
Yeah, the RMs, thank you.
Good work.
It's actually quite slippery underfoot. There's a fair bit of dew across the surface of the ground at the moment, so don't expect a lot of clean footy tonight. I'm just looking at the middle of the ground to Patrick Dangerfield in the middle of the midfield warm-up rotation, so expect him, hopefully for Cats fans, to start in the middle of the ground.
Thanks for that, Josh. Good work down boundary side by you.
Make sure I hope you bowed down there, Josh, the president of the Boundary Riders Association next to you there.
Of course.
Mickey Roberts. Robbo's been doing it for 43 years.
Right. Neildy.
Yes.
Tom Atkins and the influence he's brought to the midfield. What has that done to Geelong? It's been discussed through the media this week, but we have been talking about Tom Atkins in the midfield for several weeks now, but probably haven't examined it closely. But can you give us your take on just the influence he's had and the different look he's given the Geelong midfield?
Well, the influence, Kingy, it adds to the depth of the Geelong midfield, which is fantastic. It gives the coaches another option. And we saw last week that clearly they've got great confidence in what Tom has been doing. When the game was on the line against the Tigers, Tom Atkins was the player who saw the ball, put his head over the footy and cleared it from the middle of the ground to get it forward to Stengel, who then kicked it for the Henry mark. Now, that's great confidence being shown in him. He works his backside off. He's clearly very popular with his teammates. He's hard at it. He's learning how to get multiple possessions. He's learning what it's like at life as an AFL midfielder to get from contest to contest, and when you're there, you've got to influence and play your role. It's been really good. He's different, Kingy, to the other Geelong midfielders. He's not all one way. Clearly, he has a defensive bent to the way that he plays footy. He can win the ball, but he's also very conscious of the hard work that needs to be done when Geelong don't have the ball if they're losing a clearance. And we talk all the time about how important it is if you lose a clearance to put pressure on the opposition. It gives your defenders a chop out, and Tom's been fantastic at that.
We're broadcasting on Wadawurrung land, Neildy, and the Cats are wearing their Indigenous jumper, the Geelong jumper, tonight. It's an interesting mix, Jace. I don't know whether there's a lot of white between these two jumpers tonight.
Yeah, when they first ran out, I went, oh, wow. That's and somebody on my personal Twitter has also said, why are they wearing white jumpers on tonight?
There you go. I've got a tip for you.
There's a reason.
The Kangaroos have got the stripes that go up and down.
Is that what it is?
Geelong don't.
You
should be right. That's a great jumper, Kingy. It's NAIDOC week, and I know the Wadawurrung Co-op are starting with a big function this evening. So good luck for all the celebrations and education and awareness and everything that's going to be happening.
Do a lot of work.
Anarchy wore their Indigenous jumper
today
for the first time, and
it was amazing.
I've actually been gifted a polo.
Have you?
From Anarchy that is the design.
It's a great design.
Looking forward to actually wearing that on the golf course.
Good. Do you have to declare that? Is that a FBT thing? So you need. Look, we've got the accountant people downstairs, so we won't have to go down and ask them if that needs to be declared. Tom, also, what you did forget to mention was that Tom Atkins is from St Joseph's Football Club, and we needed to get them in before the bounce.
Yes, thank you for that, Neildy. We'll keep an eye on the head-to-head for Geelong Insurance Brokers. Of course, there's the Stanley versus Goldstein impact before Todd Goldstein wears the navy blue and white hoops in 2023.
Well, according to your Twitter, he's been coming every year for about the last 8, believe it or not.
Wombat Gully planned for matchups, and Josh Walker wouldn't give us where he was going to, but he will have one of Hawkins or...
He will, and he'll probably play on both of them throughout the evening, because we know that at times Jeremy Cameron likes to play high, goes up into the middle of the ground, and he'll contest some centre bounces, and he goes as high as the wing on occasion to get the footy, and then he'll have a bit of a breather. And Tom Hawkins doesn't go that high, but he might play the 40 metres out from goal while Hawkins goes behind him. So Josh Walker's likely to see a bit of action from both those lads this evening.
Well, probably be Mackay and Walker going to Hawkins and Cameron.
Well, that'll be an interesting one. So Mackay played forward last week for the Kangaroos. It'll be interesting to see what they've got in store for him as part of his development under David Noble.
The other one is Luke McDonald can actually... Luke McDonald might actually not be the worst matchup for Jeremy Cameron.
Yeah, look, he might be able to go with him on those long searching leads, but if he does get a run and jump at it, which you're right, that'll be interesting. So we will be all over that for Wombat Gully very shortly.
And Aaron Hall last week was able, despite the loss to the Crows, gained 1,000 metres in the contest, 38 possessions. He'll probably be one that they'll look to attack through North Melbourne, but he also can sag off and find the footy as well.
Yeah, look, very good player, knows how to attract the footy, and obviously is very good at the run and carry game. King is just interesting. Like, that is world record, if that's a thing, that's a world record effort, 1,000 metres gained in a game for a team that got beaten.
Josh, down to you, because we've had the toss of the coin where we've had the rare situation of two acting captains.
Yeah, that's right. Paddy Dangerfield and Lou McDonald have just completed the toss. The Cats will be kicking to the construction end, or the left-hand side of your radio dial.
The Foo Fighters end here at GMHBA Stadium, as we've since dubbed it.
Well, it's known.
Yeah, and forever will be.
Forever will
doesn't
be.
Matter what they name that stand.
Doesn't matter.
It is the Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
All right, let's go around the panel. Laurie Hill, winner in margin. Geelong by 90 points.
Happy birthday too, Pottle.
Yes, 73 yesterday. Happy birthday, Pottle. Davey Collins, Geelong by how much?
Cats by 6 goals.
Oh, okay, that's conservative. Josh Conway down boundary side?
72 for Geelong.
Oh, wow, okay, whack. For you, Neildy?
77.
Right. Remember, there were some big numbers given out in the West Coast game.
Yeah.
Newdy wasn't there. Kirsch's pendulum was out by an absolute truckload. Jace?
Cats by 52.
And Geelong, for me, I think 39 points will be the end margin in this one. So the ground's in good condition. Umpires are in position. Umpires Hawson, Johansson and Brown is what I've got
Excellent
for tonight. So
they are a good trio, Kingy. Always thought that.
I've actually never heard of one of them. It's maybe even two of them. Lee Hawson I've heard of. The other couple, not sure of. Anyway, opening quarter thanks to Harvey Norton, Mark Blitzarves and Stevenson on a wing for Wombat Gully Plant Farm Multi.
Good pick-up, Kingy. Yes, they're on this. And we know that that's where Blitzarves will play. They're probably going to the ball for a little while, and he likes to be first back in defence to help his old mates out to get that out number. There goes the ringing the bell situation, Tom. In case you were wondering what that noise was.
Georgie Rankin doing that one. Of course, Dad John, a premiership play with Leopold in 1990 in the Ballarat League. So a lot of connections to local footy here this evening among the Cats. Umpire holds the ball aloft. We are underway thanks to Harvey Norman. Think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices to get us underway on a Saturday night on K-Rock Footy. Here's Jason Doherty.
Goldstein to do battle with Stanley, who gets it down. Anderson runs past the football. Dangerfield doesn't. Gets it straight away from half forward. Deep, long, open goal square. Goes back towards it. It's gone through. Paddy Dangerfield with the first kick of the evening has put Geelong's first on the board at the Foo Fighters end. And that took 15 seconds into the game, Mildy.
Wow.
We thought he was going to play forward to start with.
Yeah, we did. So that Kingy was right. He reckons that the teams that you put in the paper aren't the way they line up. Anyway, so that was a magnificent clearance from Dangerfield. We haven't seen that for a month or so. He's been out, but if that's anything to go by. Footy can be a simple game. Ruckman to Rover goal. That sort of simplifies the matter. That's a great burst out of the midfield. What'd you say? 15 seconds, and wow. Okay, all yours.
Playing his 49th game at GMHBA Stadium tonight, Paddy Dangerfield kicks his 56th goal in this venue and did it within 15 seconds to give the Cats a very handy start. So we're back in the middle and umpire Johansson putting it into the turf for Goldstein and Stanley to go again. Goldstein winning the tap down this time, and it's a chance for the Kangaroos. Basing way through Korg, over handball off to Simpkin. Simpkin banging it on the boot inside forward 50. Won't actually get that far, and back with the flight judged nicely by O'Connor. O'Connor laterally to Stanley. Stanley at the top of the 50-metre arc goes short to Smith. Smith a handball off to Duncan. Going 250, gets some cheers, and he goes short onto the chest of Cameron with a kick. But he marks at the edge of the centre square, just back of the wing on the Hickey stand side of GMHBA Stadium on the 45-degree, goes with a short kick to Stanley. Stanley tucks it under the arms, runs away from Curtis, and then sends it towards half forward. Good spoil from behind. Knocking it away came from Lockie Young, the former Bulldog. Now at the front of the pack, Davey Juniac. And there's going to be a free kick for a throw going to the Cats, and it might be going to Zach Tui, who is within distance.
And he plays on quickly, 55 out, long kick, open goal square again. They run back towards it, Dangerfield there, but through, it's in fact going to be a free kick in the marking contest. Jed Anderson.
Last week's goal-kicking hero in Jack Henry, he's lined up at full-back. He's got the job on Nick Larkey this evening in the absence of a couple of regular defenders.
Anderson plays on, and they go through half-back now. North Melbourne. Hall gets a short little kick. Simpkin had to sit and wait in front of O'Connor. He's got it. Gives the handball back to Hall, and they go towards the centre of the ground near at GMHBA. Mark taken by Curtis. Wants to play on. Wheels onto the left. Goes towards 50. It's a good kick too. And Saul Marnie at the corner of his eye, and will shoot for goal. He's called to play on now. He's run around off the mark. So 50 out from goal, pops it to the top of the square, but Jack Henry standing there and will take the mark and clear the play for the Cats in the last line defence.
Poor kick inside. Needed to be higher. Jack Henry playing in front of Larkey, that gave him the opportunity to run at the footy.
Henry driving a ball very, very wide. The close will mark on his chest next to the boundary line at right half back in front of the Hickey stand faithful that have piled in on a Saturday night. Won't be a full house, but hopefully somewhere around the 20,000 mark as he comes inboard with a kick to Buse. He gives a handball off to Tui. Tui back of the wing, driving it now towards half forward. Flying but not marking Hawkins. Creates a spillage. Rowan can get it on the up to Dangerfield. Just fumbled at the inopportune time. Ball on the deck. Chance for the Kangaroos. Walker gave it off by hand to Core. Core jammed it on the boot towards left half back. Rolling ball that will beat Stevenson. And also deliberate. Cam Guthrie out. It's going to be paid as deliberate. So a bit stiff, Gildy.
Well, I was about to say, King, I actually agree with that. There was no other intent than to get that ball towards the boundary line. So, yeah, in the modern interpretation, that's absolutely a free kick.
Zach Guthrie onto the chest of Tom Hawkins on a lead that just went the 15 metres, but the umpire happy to pay the mark, with the man on the mark standing 48 from goal, and Benny will be telling us
Kingy,
telepathically.
Kingy, just before Hawkins has a shot on goal, drama for North already. Aaron Hall's come off in real distress, soft tissue history for him. He's banging the bench in frustration. He looks like he's done for the night.
Oh, wow. St John of God, injury update. Thanks, Oz, you're all over that. 51 metres out, hanging it high into the night sky. It will go to the goal square where Walker across the front of the pack knocks it through. Was going to suit the fade, I was going to say. Thanks for that, Josh. Stay across that. Yes, Aaron Hall has had some real issues, the former son, with soft tissues, and we can see on the big screen here too, his head in his hand. So you would suspect that the sub will be activated, which is Phoenix Spicer, very shortly.
McDonald plays on from full back, goes long looking for Mackay, can't get him. Tui at the back, he's wrapped up by Goldstein, got the handball free. Collar Jasny breaks the tackle, handball forward to Close, 55 out, he gets the handball on the outside. Baby Guff gets it to Dangerfield, 45 out, top of the square, goes up, Blitzers with a Hamlin hanger, contender, 10 out from goal. Beautiful play by Mark Blitzarves to float in from the side and take the grab.
Yeah, excellent. To have him on the wing to be able to go forward, we know that he's a tremendous athlete. To be able to run and jump. He took one early last week as well. Outstanding team play by Dangerfield. I thought he was going to have a shot for goal. He was deep in that pocket, and look, you probably would have forgiven him if he did, but he did the team thing, put it at the top of the square.
Foo Fighters into the ground. Blitzarves comes in, 10 out, and puts the Cats second on the board. They're 2-1-13. They lead the Kangaroos, yet to score. Harvey Norman, K-Rock. First quarter scoreboard, and in the experts' chair, as always, is Mark Neal.
It's just the intent by the Geelong players to play on and play on quickly. It doesn't necessarily have to be anything that's obvious on in front of them. They're just getting back off the mark and going immediately if they can. They just want to move the ball forward quickly. They want to get it in their forward 50, see what happens, and put the North Melbourne defence under maximum pressure, and it's working at the moment.
Winners today so far: Essendon over Sydney by 9 points, and Melbourne over Adelaide by 29 at the Adelaide Oval. While it's a 1 point apiece between the Suns and Collingwood at Metricon Stadium. Big game for both clubs there, the Suns especially, so look to stay alive in the hunt for a first finals berth. It's the Cats with the early advantage here with a bit of nice footy. Goldstein, Stanley winning the tap. It deflects back to him and gets a handball release into the path of Narkle. Head over the ball, gave a handball back to the voice of Holmes. Holmes just steadies himself and kicks to centre half forward. Myers with the one hand, couldn't reel in the footy. Smith picked up the loose ball and was dragged to ground. Did spill out in the tackle? No, and now he's holding the ball because the umpire said you didn't release it, Isaac Smith, and there'll be a free kick to Luke McDonald, acting captain tonight. One of the more experienced Kangaroos out there at 152 games. Son of club great Donald. He's got it a true centre half back. He'll go laterally to Core, and the former Giant goes short. He goes wider still, and he's got a marking option, and it's taken there by Powell.
So Geelong, Kingy, they've got all their players in front here of the North Melbourne backmen who have got the ball. They're now going back into their own back 50.
Powell short to Core short inside defensively. Young now wanting to get a kick towards half back, and Turner marked. He goes laterally. He's got Walker free just in front of our best seats in the house.
And he goes wide, and he finds Lazaro, who takes the mark right in front of the interchange bench here at GMHBA, called to play on, so has to go down the line. Cats with a big thump away. Collar Jasny puts it into row 33, and it's out of bounds for a throw in right half forward for the Kangaroos.
That young forward, Curtis, he looks all right when he's running the footy like that, but that kick again just sat up on top of his head and gave Collar Jasny too much of a look at it. As an experienced defender, just belted it over the bounds.
Ruck contest in front. They're able to get it down the Roos. Simpkins' kick was smothered though. Now Davies Uniacke gets the handball away, worried out of it. Myers Simpkin wraps him up as well, and the umpire will come in and ball it up in between. Wing half forward on the commentary box side of the ground here at GMHB. A big thump away by Stanley. Goes towards Stengel. Got a kick away in the tackle. Rolling on hands and knees. Simpkin picked it up. Got it back. Basanavallagi got it back to Simpkin. He's wrapped up. Got it back towards Greenwood, who's also tackled strongly. Myers on centre wing. Back in board. And O'Connor's going to be able to take the mark.
Yeah, it's a wonderful kick. Smith now driving it long inside forward 50. Hawkins stretching but not marking. Ball out the back. Core with his former Giants teammate Cameron on his hammer. Cameron got in front of him. Tapped it back to the goal line. And then it was tapped back as well. I think it might have been Rowan who knocked it back into the goal square. And it was, but then it's been socked through for a rush behind by the Kangaroos. And the Cats are now Archbishop Desmond 2-2-14. May you rest in peace. North Melbourne yet to score. 8 minutes 40 gone in this opening term on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock. Port Phillip Ferries, no better way to travel.
Young kicked it into Walker, got the handball away, and they go towards Marnie on centre wing under pressure from Henry. He didn't take the mark. The umpire called play on, and it fell out of his arms right on centre wing on the outer side.
It's just all being played in the Geelong half at the moment. 6 inside 50s to 1.
Josh, how do you?
Sorry, Nildy. The sub has been activated. Phoenix Spicer about to come on. Got the handshake with Boomer Harvey. He's ready to go.
So the ball from the ruck contest. Thanks for that, Josh. Ball spills, and now it's at half forward. Zerha takes the mark point of the centre square, goes inboard. Couple of slipovers at the back for the Cats, but Duncan there, game 250, going to be able to relieve the pressure. Goes wide, good kick to close.
He marks it left half back. It's a well-weighted kick. He come on the 45-degree angle to Myers, who's been busy early for Kerrs High. Myers sends a kick to Zach Guthrie, who stretches and marks. It's a ground running, sends a high kick inside forward 50. Hawkins and Walker in a wrestle. Well done, Walker got a spoil, but only to the part of Stengel. He was pushed off the footy, but Hawkins picked up the loose ball. A handball back towards close. He got a shove. Handball on the up to Blitzarves. He gave it to Isaac Smith. Isaac Smith just pulling the kick to the advantage of Cameron. Good ball core. Knocked it away. Front of the pack, Hawkins. He's got the footy. He's got a handball out. Somehow to close. Close fumbled in opportune time. Knocked from his grasp, although it's below the knees contact against Curtis Taylor, who's extremely stiff, Neildy. I know the rule's there, but geez, he got his hands on the footy.
Well, there's two things there, Kingy. He did get his hands on the footy, but the rule is there to prevent him doing what he did. So it is seen dangerous when you go low when someone's over the footy. Really good work by Tom Hawkins to get that footy out. I think it surprised Bradley Close. He dropped the initial one that he probably would have taken. And look, yes, the rule's there for a reason. It's one of those rules, King, we talked about pre-game that's there for the safety of the players.
Close, who debuted almost 2 years to the day. It was July 2020. He's now actually racked up 45 games. He's just kicked his 32nd goal. He's turned into a very handy young player for the Geelong Footy Club out of the Sandford. 3-2-20 Geelong, North Melbourne yet to score in this match so far. Neildy is going to script.
Look, it certainly is, King, and just running through some of those statistics. Actually, in terms of disposals, the Cats are only had 5 more disposals than the Kangaroos. So the Kangaroos are getting their hands on the footy. They're obviously not using it as well. Inside 50s are an issue. It's 8-2 in favour of the Cats. Free kicks 3-2. Hitouts are even. Clearances, North are actually a +1 in the clearances, but Geelong are +1 in the centre clearances. So winning it from the middle and then using it a lot better. They're managing to trap it in their forward half.
A lot of discussion on the KFC Twitter about the jumper clash, Jace.
Yes.
No, that's not the personal one. That's the actual
real one.
The real one.
Well, just tell them that North are the ones with the stripes going down.
And they get it down through Greenwood now. And they go forward inside 50 with the kick, but Duncan reads it the better. Takes the mark. Wants to play on and go wide. And does so. Dangerfield got some space, takes the mark, tucks the ball under his arm, goes with the right foot kick inside 50. The Hawkins wrestle. Did he get away with it this time?
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't. And he's given away the free kick. Josh Walker will take the result for the Kangaroos.
Short to turn up, who marks at the top of his defensive goal square. Just chips one over the top for McDonald, who had to wait for it as Cameron was bearing down, but he took it on the chest and then he kicked into the right back pocket where the forward stand race used to be. To Core. Core goes short to Young, and the former Bulldog. 8 games, 1 goal, and the red, white and blue goes short to Greenwood, a former Crow and son. Tasmanian basketball product, of course. He goes short to Core, and they're happy to possess the footy, but they aren't progressing too far here, the Kangaroos. They're still at right half back on the 50-metre line. Core will go across the face of his defensive goal and finds Turner on the chest. Or is it Curtis? It's Curtis with the footy, I should say. And he goes short over the top. And Bassina Villani down low, the former Magpie, has marked. There's a lot of formers out there for the Kangaroos.
Yes.
Short to the former Giant Core.
Geelong have been really quick, Kingy, to get in their defensive system. All 18 players playing a role. North under enormous pressure to try and clear this.
Just a high kick to half-back, wanting Sherry, who went to ground, the big ruck. Spills out the back, Blitzarves, clean hands, Dangerfield at centre. Forward Myers is all alone. He can run to 48 metres, just checks the kick to the pocket for Hawkins. Great spoil and mark by Walker. That's a Hamlin hanger contender from the Kangaroos defender. Was able to effect the spoil and then was the next to clutch the footy and took it at ground level. That's a good mark from the Lara product.
It's a great mark, King. He's going with Tomahawk at the moment in the one-on-one wrestling situations. That's not great.
There we go. First of the night. We always get one.
That's what happens. You give him a build, and then that's what happens. Out of bounds on the full from Walker. So the ball's going to come back in with interest from Tui. He goes short 55 out from goal. Cameron takes it. And as always, looking for the possibility that he's going to line up for goal, which he wheels around, 55 out, and goes across the face of goal towards Holmes, but a big thump away, back towards the 50, back to Cameron. This time the left foot kick around the corner again, and the second time he gets Holmes. So it worked for Jeremy Cameron. Holmes stood his ground and took the mark and will shoot for goal from 40 out, 45-degree angle.
He had two goes. It's rare you get to see that, Chase, have two goes in the same play. That's how big that spoil was. But that second one, that field kicking by Geelong, that one by Jeremy Cameron was absolutely spot on.
So Max Holmes, as we said, back in the team last week, good for the run, as James Kelly said before in the pre-game. And he's taken the mark and will shoot Foo Fighters into the ground. 45 out, 45-degree angle, and he's just missed it to the far side and through for one behind. So the Cats go to 3-3-21. They lead the Kangaroos yet to scores, and Harvey Norman K-Rock first quarter scoreboard.
McDonald goes straight up the middle with a well-weighted kick onto the chest of Zerha, who makes it the back edge of the centre square. He goes short with a kick that barely went 15. Mark taken there by Davies Uniacke. He goes short to Marnie. Marnie can't miss him in those fluoro line boots. Very wide. He goes to Powell. Powell driving a kick into the left forward pocket, wanting to fly. Larky had it spoiled away from him by the Cats defence. Cam Guthrie on the up to Zach Guthrie to Tui. Tight in the right back pocket. A kick he pulls towards the wing. Dangerfield flying with the one hand. It's going to be a free kick, is there? It's going which way? It's going to the Kangaroos. It might be against Hawkins, is it? Going back to Walker. So right now, Josh Walker with the better of that Wombat Gully Plan Farm matchup.
Absolutely, King. He's doing a terrific job defensively.
That Brownlow vote that we asked him about. Just forward of the wing, he sends a high kick inside forward, 50. Henry, well, he went the spoil when he could have marked on his chest. Zach Guthrie, Menegola, Henry. Handball was untidy, but picked up by Tui. Tui to Cam, Guthrie, right back pocket. Snaps a kick over his left shoulder, and it's gone out in the full. Despite Brian Myers' best effort, it'll be a free kick for the Kangaroos at their players' race. Left half forward.
Davies Uniacke plays on, 65 out from goal, pops it to the top of the square, needs a mark, punched away at the front. Guthrie, Cam, over the top of the handball, Tui, just keeps it in the back pocket, gives it to Narkle, chips the ball over the top, not 15, is it? In fact, might have been Myers with a double handle, and it was over the boundary line, so we're going to have a throw in 50 round from the Kangas goal.
Chase, just an update on Aaron Hall. It's a left quad for Aaron Hall.
Thanks, Josh, for that. St John of God injury update down there on boundary side. Now the ball's come back. Handball over the top. Young missed it. Guthrie is on centre wing on the outer side. We've got the numbers there though, North Melbourne. They get the kick around the corner from Core up towards 50. Big thump away. Stanley needs somebody at the front. Menegola. Anderson got there first. Handball back to Powell. Has to get around Atkins. Just got the kick away. Was that on the full, I think? And it will be just in the field of play, was it? It must have been. It's a boundary throw in, 55 around from the North Melbourne goal.
Like it has been at the All England Club this week. Brought chalk up, Jace. Kyrgios in action tonight. Ball back into play. Sherry and Stanley neither get a hand on. They were holding each other. Umpire said play on. Ball hit the deck. Menegola inside his defensive 50. He's wrapped up by Greenwood, going nowhere. Ball up as we see the first quarter scoreboard, thanks to Harvey Norman, showing Geelong 3-3-21. North Melbourne yet to score. Grabbed out of the ruck by Stanley, who gave it off to Menegola. Just a quick kick around the corner to the wing. Dangerfield's handling was okay, and his handball was in lead up to Guthrie. That was almost a throw by Cam to Cameron. There was a bit of separation between fist and palm and ball. Umpire didn't see it that way, and it's out of bounds, boundary throwing. So the Cats holding sway, 3-3-21. North Melbourne, as we know, have struggled in recent years to score at GMHBA Stadium. Their lowest ever VFL-AFL score is actually here from back in 2019.
Sherry gets it down. Rove though by Narkle. Round the corner was okay with the kick and finds Dangerfield. Centre wing just waits for some Cats to move forward. He goes along with the kick inside 50. Rowan in front, can't take the mark. His second effort was pretty good. The ball though spilt free. Turner, he's over the top of it, or he's brought it back in. The umpire said no. It will be a ball up.
Really good to see Gary Rowan compete so hard in the air, and then just to remind everybody his second efforts to fight and scrap and just keep that footy in the Geelong scoring area.
Ball spills free for Hawkins, open goal square, but he's going to miss it to the far side and through for one behind, his first score of the evening. And the Cats go to 3-4-22. They lead North Melbourne. And yet to score, Harvey Norman K-Rock first quarter scoreboard.
100th game at Kardinia Park for Tom Hawkins, just the 12th player to achieve that feat. McDonald to bring the ball back into play. He just trots out of his defensive goal square and then sends a high kick to below our best seats in the house for APCO Cafe 24/7. Zach Guthrie flies against Goldstein, couldn't mark. Goldstein did well to row, but his handball was errant. Missing the ball was Atkins. It was picked up by Greenwood, who gave it to Davies Uniacke. Pumped a left foot kick towards centre half forward. It's going to get out the back and it'll be a foot race. Zerha just got the better of the bounce, but Kolajowski came to help him out. And then a little don't argue as he got rid of Zerha, and then he'll chip over the top where the mark's taken by Narkle. Narkle goes short to Zach Guthrie, who just looks at home in the Cats lineup now. Sometimes it takes a while, but for Zach Guthrie, he's doing very well. Kick looking for close. Boiled by Sina Villani. Handball for Duncan. Just didn't get to where he wanted to go in Isaac Smith as it was knocked away by Curtis Taylor. And we'll get a boundary throw in left half forward for the Cats. Mark Neal.
Defending really well across the half-back line, Geelong. They're getting numbers back. They get back quickly. They often then recognise that, use the outnumber to run it out.
So boundary throw in, half forward for the Cats. Starts through behind Goldstein, down to Davies Uniacke, back to Goldstein, back to Davies Uniacke. The 1-2, they go into the middle of the ground. Henry, Guthrie goes back, can't take the mark. Now Stanley comes up on hands and knees, under pressure ball. They've got the numbers though, the Cats back to Menegola. His handball back to Duncan, 55 from the Kangaroos goal. Just short little kick finds Isaac Smith. Gets the run around and gets the handball back to Duncan. Motors towards centre wing with the kick now to half forward. It's okay, and Rowan takes the mark.
Rowan in front of the RJ Hickey stand that looks about 9/10 full. Sends it long into the left forward pocket. Hawkins won't get a run at it. Taylor's spoiled it, but only into the path of Cam Guthrie. Cam Guthrie a handball up. Myers snapped a kick around his body. It'll sit in on its point and bounce for Blitzarves. He's confronted Greenwood with a big tackle, brought him to ground. And 30 metres out from the Geelong goal, just right of centre. We will get a ball up. So there's a Kangaroo.
Kane Turner,
a little bit sore for St John of God. Keep an eye on that, Josh. He's struggling to get to his feet, to be honest. Tap down Goldstein. Roving by Greenwood, who jammed it on his left boot to a one-on-one. Duncan worked Anderson under the footy. Took a good contested mark. Now they're going to hold play here. The umpire's got a blood rule. He's called, and also he is really in trouble, Kane Turner. As we go down to you, Josh Conway, what did you see in that contest? It's got Kane Turner with a little bit of bother.
Yeah, it could be a knock, King. It looks like he's holding his around his knee on his left leg, but he hasn't really moved far at all. He's just got to his feet now, but in the hands of the trainers.
He's in that collision with Mark Blitzarves in that tackle, two North Melbourne players, and he's got blood coming from his nose.
He's got the double bang on his shoulder.
He did. He ran straight into Mark Blitzarves' shoulder, so nothing to worry about. And he's also hurt his knee on the way down, so he's copped it twice.
That's concussion. They're now a rotation down, unfortunately, because Aaron Hall's also out of the game.
Yeah, that's very true.
So we'll keep an eye on that. Josh Conway's down boundary side for us tonight. For St John of God, he'll keep us up to date with the situation with Kane Turner, but that would be a massive blow to be down a rotation, having already used their sub, Phoenix Spicer, for Aaron Hall, who was out of the game in the first 3 or 4 minutes with a quad issue.
Just Kingy, just quickly, some of those important stats. We're talking about Geelong getting the outnumber. Contested ball at the moment, 29-19 in favour of the Cats. Uncontested possessions, 52-42. So they're starting to dominate disposals and turnovers. At North Melbourne, unfortunately, with their limited disposals, have turned the footy over 14 times. Geelong have only done it 7 times. Inside 50s, again, it's being played in the Geelong half, 14-7.
Mitch Duncan has bought his own footy tonight.
He has. Now you're trusting me, aren't you? Now we've got to go to the other screen. And yes, all over that, Mitch Duncan. He's coming up for his 7th disposal, Jace. At the moment, we have Zach Tui's touched the ball also 7 times, which is the highest for the Cats.
Josh, it looks like he's a very sick boy, Kane Turner. He's not moving well at all.
Yeah, he came off very slowly. He was able to move a bit better, but just very slowly walking off the ground.
All right, Duncan with the footy as we restart play. Man on the mark, 60 from goal. Sends a kick to about 20 metres out looking for a mark, and it's a good mark. Davies Uniacke in a pack of about 5 stood tallest and was able to reel it in and hold things up for the Kangaroos. Despite all Geelong's dominance, they have only kicked the 3 goals as he goes across the face of goal to Core, who goes short into the right back pocket with a kick that's marked by Young, and Young can send it to half back and just get it over the head of Zach Guthrie and onto the chest of Paul Curtis. Curtis gives it off by hand to Lazaro. Lazaro kicking towards half forward, could spoil by Stanley, but at the front of the pack, numbers including Simpkin for the Roos, who's sort of possession that got to Zerha was interesting, but he got it there. Now Greenwood to Anderson, open goal square, back with the bounce. Henry takes on Zerha in the tackle, got a handball towards Menegola, and in the left back pocket, oh no, Menegola went to go with the banana and has hit the belly of the ball and put it out on the full, and that is a shank of the highest order from Sam Menegola. You'd be going over to the golf bag, pulling out a new Callaway and asking for a provisional.
Correct.
Lazaro gets the resultant free kick and he's put it into the pocket, and that was way too easy from the Cats defence there, because I think standing in front was Curtis, and he was just easy to be able to take the mark, put both hands up and took the grab.
Really smart kick in by Lazaro, identified a mismatch. There was 2 North Melbourne forwards down there, just the one defender, and I think it was Jed Buse in the contest, so he's able to be held out by, and then Curtis takes mark, plays on.
Wheels around and has kicked the goal. So the Kangaroos' first of the evening has gone to Paul Curtis, and they are 1 straight 6. They trail the Cats 3-4-22. Harvey Norman Krock. First quarter scoreboard.
It's probably one of the few occasions the Kangaroos have had the extra number in the midfield area. It was identified, so they took the footy through there, and really good work to get it in. That's probably also their first repeat inside 50. I know it was on the back of a Menegola errant kick, but he was still under pressure. Yes, he'd like to have his time back again. Good to see Lazaro summing up the situation that was in front of him, and a smart kick to his team's advantage.
Thanks to KFC. Join the KFC workforce and have loads of fun. Check out careers.kfc.com.au. Brooke on the KFC Twitter. Geez, it's bloody cold, with a photo of somebody basically freezing to death.
I can second that, Kingy. Also, too, Kane Turner's gone down into the rooms. The medical staff reviewed the footage on the bench, and he's been taken down straight to the rooms.
All right, and we've got a 666 warning for the Cats, I believe, as Brian Myers might not have been in position on the wing. Now he is, and the umpire will throw it into the egg for Goldstein and Stanley to go at it. It hits the ground with neither getting a hand on it. Stanley then picked it up, had it knocked away by Goldstein. Simpkin was good. He lost it and then got a handball to Greenwood. Greenwood a handball on the up, and they'll go forward. Davies Uniacke lowered the vision beautifully. Good spoil. Jasny knocked it away from Mackay. Well done, Buse, to pick up the loose footy and get a handball to O'Connor. O'Connor was dragged down. Good tackle by Spicer, who's the sub being injected into the game for Aaron Hall. And we'll get a ball up. About 35 out from the Kangaroos' goal. So some good intent out of the middle by North.
Yeah, absolutely, King.
Tap down Blitzarves as he does the ruck work. Here's Greenwood jamming on his left boot for North Melbourne towards Mackay under pressure from Jasny. He couldn't take the footy, but Buse gave it to Duncan. Duncan to Blitzarves. Blitzarves to Narkle. Narkle a kick now towards the outer wing for Stanley, who in front of the shorter McDonald marks, as you'd expect.
That's that mismatch when Blitzarves goes into the ruck and Stanley drifts forward. He gets McDonald one-on-one in the air. He's obviously going to be way too tall.
Short to Menegola. Back into centre wing. Hickey stands side of the ground. Just holds the play up now, called to play on. Menegola. And kicks it high towards half forward. Guthrie's going to have a couple on him. McDonald's goes back, can't take the mark. Handball comes over the top towards Greenwood. Rowan through the middle. He's got 4 Kangaroos around him, but he breaks free. Gets towards 45. Thought about the goal and then thought about Hawkins. He goes towards Hawkins. Walker at the back. Taps it through. It's over the top of them and through for 1 behind. So Cats again. Minor score, 3-5-23. They lead the Kangaroos 1 straight 6. Harvey Norman Krock. First quarter scoreboard.
Excellent work by Gary Rowan. Then again, the second effort to clear the footy.
Stevenson. Looked to come up the corridor and then just pulls a kick towards left half back, looking for a mark out there in Goldstein. It's a 2-on-1. Blitzarves and Stanley conspire to spoil the ball away. Will it go out of bounds? No, it won't. Get over the footy. Numbers with the Kangaroos. Good play. And the kick inboard is okay, and the mark is taken there by Larkey. Called to play on near the centre circles. He drives it long. Looking down there for a one-on-one. Jasny and Taylor back with a flight Spicer, but well done Zach Guthrie, although it's going to be a free kick going which way for front on contact. I thought that might have been the case, and the non-controlling umpire has paid the free kick, and Phoenix Spicer is going to be a chance to kick the first goal of his career, which is at game number 2.
Seemed to be a reasonable kick inside 50, King. I'm just waiting to see the replay on that decision. It was against Zach Guthrie, I think.
Phoenix Spicer wearing the number 36 for the Kangaroos. We disappointingly didn't get to see Jackson Archer play his second game tonight. Unfortunately, it was a late withdrawal through injury after making his debut last week. Of course, son of Glenn, the shin boner of the century. Phoenix Spicer to give the Kangaroos a second goal and pull the margin back to 11 points. He sends it on its way and he's missed to the right. That's a disappointing finish, unfortunately. 35 out directly in front should make the most of your opportunities, especially down here at GMHBA Stadium as a visiting team. 1-1-7 playing 3-5-23. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock at 28 minutes.
Duncan, short kick into Isaac Smith in the back pocket, plays on now. It's on the left boot and goes wide for Holmes, and also Rowan. Rowan, big thump away defensively there, off hands. And a boundary throw in. So right half forward, Kangaroos still into attack. Minute and a half to play in this first term. Blitzarves in the ruck contest, gets to the front. Holmes tried to tap it on, and falling over the crucial stage was Davies Uniacke. The ball comes through to Simpkin. He gets it. Sanabalagi on a one-step kick to centre half forward. No mark taken. Front and centre was Anderson. It was good. He goes high inside. Larky! Read it the better for North Melbourne on the side. Jack Henry in front. And he has taken the mark and will shoot for goal from 30 out directly in front.
Good 5 minutes here for the Kangaroos. They're the ones that have been getting their hands on the footy. They're the ones that have been outnumbering the contest. That's why they're getting the ball inside 50.
So Nick Larky is to cut the margin to 10 points. Close to quarter time here at GMHBA. Southern end of the ground comes in as Henry stands the mark. He chips the ball and he's pretty happy with the goal. Umpire does not move and Larky puts it through for his first of the evening. North Melbourne go to 2-1-13. They trail Geelong 3-5-23. Harvey Norman, Krock, first quarter scoreboard.
So just some of those stats just to back up the fact that North Melbourne have had a good 5 to 10 minute period. 4 of the leading disposal winners on the ground are all Kangaroos. Davies Uniacke has had 13 disposals. Simpkins had 10. Core has had 9. And Hugh Greenwood. So 3 playing in the midfield. Best for Geelong at the moment. Duncan has had 8 touches. Zach Tui's had 7. And Zach Guthrie's had 7.
Mark Neal for Kerrs High with all the stats, 100% locally owned and operated in Geelong, and enjoying the Krock call and the corporate suite. Jared and all the team from Kerrs High, great to have you here, guys, as we go around the grounds. Geelong and Frankston doing battle in the VFL clash, and can tell you that 38-20 Frankston leading. Geelong will stay across some of the AFL listed players.
What's the temperature there?
-3 down there.
Be glad you're here and not there, Josh. Back in the middle, Greenwood throwing it on the left boot and rolling it towards centre half forward. Well done, Davies Uniacke. Handball over the top to Kerr. It's taken high by Duncan. That should be a free kick. Neither umpire saw it, although I reckon the umpire in
dangerous tackle, Kingy paid.
Yeah. I was going to say another umpire might have spotted the high as well, but in the end it was a sling tackle in a way. And a handball off to Davies Uniacke, a high left foot kick into the pocket, flew over the head of Zerhardt. It's going to be a free kick for a push, I reckon. And this is for North Melbourne to kick their third and pull the margin back to 4 points as we approach quarter time. He'll actually have the shot after the quarter time siren. As we approach 31 minutes gone on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock. So after trailing by as much as 22 points, they'll have the last 3 goals of the quarter from the 24-minute mark onwards, you would suspect. Be shocked if Zerhardt couldn't finish this from here. Man on the mark, 25 from goal, just left of centre. Chance to kick his 18th of the season. He'll kick from 30, and he has made no mistake. So the Kangaroos are up and about going into quarter time. They trail by just 4 at the first change. 3-1-19, Geelong 3-5-23 as we head into the first break here at GMHBA Stadium. So the Cats, after making the early running, they've got some work to do against the youthful Kangaroos, who have cut the margin back to less than a kick as we go to the first break. We'll take a break, come back on the other side of this, have a look at some of the key numbers for Kerrs Higher and the thoughts of Mark Neal as well, and we'll go boundary side. Josh Conway being kept busy in that opening quarter for St John of God as he's down boundary side for Lifeline this evening. Lifeline 13 11 14. Check out lifeline.org.au. If you or anybody you know is experiencing personal problems, please contact Lifeline. Geelong by 4 points thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7. We've got you. Live, breathe, Krock footy.
Thanks to our number 1 ticket holder, APCO. Fueled by APCO Cafe 24/7. At Krock 955, we've got all of Geelong's favourite hits. The jams you're loving right now. The classics that take you back. And all of your faves from in between. Whether you're cruising down the Great Ocean Road, heading up the highway, or just kicking around Geelong, Krock 955 has all your favourite hits. Live, breathe, Geelong in the Surf Coast.
Hamlin Homes, proudly Geelong's largest locally owned and operated builder, distinctively familiar with the region's lifestyles, landscapes and suppliers. Distinctive in history, having served the local area since 1983. Distinctive in our ongoing commitment to the local community. Distinctive in design, taking inspiration from the local environment to create beautifully unique homes that reflect our clients' aspirations. Hamlin Homes, distinctively local. Hamlin.com.au.
Why does APCO Cafe 24/7 coffee taste so good? It's the ingredients and care in every cup. It's our signature blend Gigante beans and fresh Pura milk. Our beans are specialty roasted with milk textured until silky smooth for an award-winning cup of coffee. And this month at APCO Cafe 24/7, you could win free coffee for a year. Just buy a cup of barista-made coffee to enter. Win free coffee for a year at APCO Cafe 24/7. We've got you.
Hitting G-Town after the game? You know where you're going to end up, don't you? Lammy's. So why not start the night strong? There's nothing that's more iconically Geelong than our very own Lammy's sesh. Get your weekly dose of great tunes all night long. Give yourself something to talk about Monday. And remember, never, ever lamb alone. Lammy's Tavern, open from 9 p.m. every Friday to Sunday, with free entry before 10 p.m. Lammy's, you know where to go.
It's on now. Harvey Norman Bedding's Australian-made mattress floor stock clearance. This is the time to get an amazing bargain on discontinued floor stock mattresses. Shop from all of our big-name brands like Sleepmaker, Sealy and King Coil. Upgrade your old mattress and save with amazing bargains on floor stock mattresses. The Australian-made mattress floor stock clearance at Harvey Norman Bedding now. Easy parking at 2 Geelong locations, Princes Highway, Corio and Warn Ponds.
Thanks to our number one ticket holders, APCO. Fueled by APCO Cafe 24/7.
Gets it straight away from half forward, deep, long, open goal square. Goes back towards it. It's gone through. Paddy Dangerfield with the first kick of the evening. Baby Guff gets it to Dangerfield. 45 out, top of the square. Goes up, Blitzers with a Hamlin hanger. Contender, 10 out from goal.
Be shocked if Zerha couldn't finish this from here. He'll kick from 30, and he has made no mistake. So the Kangaroos are up and about going into quarter time. There certainly are. North Melbourne 3-1-19 trailing the Cats 3-5-23. The margin was 22 points, but the Kangaroos have worked their way nicely back into the contest. We'll go around the grounds for Leopold Sporties earlier today. Essendon 95 defeated Sydney 86. Adelaide 65 just fell short of Melbourne 94. They were within a kick with about 5 minutes to play, the Crows, but the Demons kicking the 3 last goals of the contest to get that one done. And Gold Coast and Collingwood, it's quarter time at Metricon Stadium, where it is 22 apiece. And in the VFL, the Cats 20 trail Frankston 45. We'll stay across some of the key numbers from that game with the AFL listed players this evening for Curse High. The time to go down boundary side. Kept very busy in that opening quarter of K-Rock football for St John of God with some injury issues, not for the Cats but more for North Melbourne. Here's Josh Conway. Buzz.
Yeah, not good news for the Kangas either. Kingies, so Aaron Hall subbed out within the first 5 minutes. A left quad. He was visibly distressed coming off. He was smashing the bench with his fist as soon as he came off the ground, so very frustrated. He's walked over the other side of the ground now and he's done for the night, replaced by Phoenix Spicer. And Kane Turner, still no sign of him after that knock with Mark Blitzarves toward the end of the opening term. Suspect he's going under the concussion protocols, but still no sign of him at the quarter-time break.
Thanks for that, Josh. Good work by you for St John of God. And, of course, the Cats sub tonight, Sean Higgins, who hasn't been called upon as yet. Hopefully doesn't need to be, which means the Cats get through unscathed heading into Melbourne next week. Some of the key numbers, Neil, do you just keep an eye on some key statistics for Curse High around that first quarter?
Yeah, well, Kingy, as you said, Geelong started really well, kicked the first 3 goals of the game, and then the Kangaroos midfield in particular started to get their hands on the footy. Just a couple to look at. Luke Davies-Uniacke, he's had 15 disposals, Kingy 7 kicks, 8 handballs. Next best at Kangaroos, Simpkins had 10, Aidan Cause had 9, and Greenwood's had 9. They're the top 4 disposal winners on the ground. For Geelong, Duncan's had 8, Tui's had 8, Zach Guthrie 7. If you look down the other end, as Ben always teaches us to do, go down and see who's not getting their hands on the footy. If we have a look at that, we've got Mark O'Connor's only touched it once. Tom Atkins, one of last week's heroes, only had 1 disposal playing in the midfield in the first quarter. Tyson Stengle's only had 2. Max Holmes, also midfielder, only had 2. Chris Scott spent a lot of time with the Geelong midfielders. It would have been on that second half of that quarter, the fade out and their inability to get over to the contest to assist their teammate.
Thank you, Neil. Second quarter for APCO Cafe 24/7. Here's Jason Doherty.
So Stanley and Goldstein in the ruck. Neither can get really an effective tap. Atkins wraps up with Guthrie in a tackle. Comes Davies-Uniacke with the football. So secondary bounce, Goldstein gets it down, Atkins, Robes, puts his head over the football as you would expect, tries to get up from the tackle, loses the football in it, Blitzarves to Guthrie, short little kick saw close out the corner of his eye, he can't pick it up, he was actually tackled without the footy, and 50 as well for the blatant throw. Oh, he's lucky not to give away the 50, Curtis Taylor, so Close has got it on centre wing for the Cats.
close, driving it long, inside forward 50. Well done by Walker to provide a spoil, but only into the pocket where Smith overran the footy in the end. Basina Villani has just taken that over the boundary line with no real intent to keep it alive, but the field umpire says, no, I'm happy that you didn't do anything too wrong.
Sorry, just going to... Kane Turner's done for the night. Genso North officially a man down.
Thank you for that, Josh, for St John of God. Ball back into play. It's gone over the back. Both Blitzarves and Goldstein, and Stengel has cleaned up, snapped and bounced it through for a goal. Nice little finish there from Tyson Stengel. Barely sighted in that opening quarter, but you don't need to give him too much time and space for him to take advantage, and he has been able to snap one through for a goal on the bounce and gets his team back to within back to a 10-point lead. 4-5-29 Geelong, North Melbourne 3-1-19. Second quarter of Carroll football thanks to Abco Cafe 24/7.
Two of the players you spoke about nearly at quarter time, Stengel and Atkins in the play.
Yeah, absolutely. They've started this quarter well. Just watching that on the replay, Tyson Stengel started that boundary throw-in at the front of the contest, was able to run from the front all the way around the contest over to the back to get the footy without one North Melbourne player putting a hand on him. Really good work if he can get away with it from Geelong, but not very good defensively from the Kangaroos. But a good start, as you said, those two players in Tom Atkins and Tyson Stengel.
So back to the middle, Goldstein and Stanley to do battle again, the umpire. Look to bring that ball back. So the Kangas down a player rotation on the bench. And Turner off as well now. Greenwood from the middle gets a kick. Buse, they read it the better. Tracks it and drives it long towards centre half forward. Hawkins, this time he gets it. Was on the right side of Walker. Was able to hold him off. 50 out from goal. Tom Hawkins. Pretty crowded. 10 out from goal. And he's now going to go back, I think, and have a set shot. As he is on the point of the centre square. He'll be kicking this from 55. As Josh said earlier, no breeze really to speak of here at GMHBA this evening, so he'll have no trouble with the distance you expect to get that power fade going, as Benny Cass likes to bring it in. Going to run very close to the man on the mark. He gives it everything he's got. He comes around. Has it got the distance? It's just off hands, I think. Right on the goal line and through for one behind. So the Cats go to 4-6-30. They lead the Kangaroos 3-1-19.
McDonald short into the left back pocket to Stevenson. This is happening at the River or Belmont Watch House end of the ground. Stevenson will go back to his defensive goal square, but it's Core that is marked. He's going in the right back pocket with a kick that's okay for Lazaro, and the St Mary's / Geelong College / Geelong Falcons product has got the footy. Vinny's boy, well known in local footy circles in Geelong. High kick towards half back. Marking, flying but not marking was Larky. O'Connor cleaned up at the back for the Cats. Dangerfield head over the footy. Zerha just pressured him off it for Greenwood to get a path and get a handball to Goldstein. Goldstein flicked a handball forward to Larky to Lazaro. Lazaro to Taylor. Taylor under pressure. Had his kick smothered by Blitzarves. It spilled for Smith, who had to jam a kick on his right boot. Went over the head of McDonald, who tracks it back, confronted, handball to Basina Villani. Basina Villani gives it off towards Stevenson to Lazaro, and Lazaro kicks towards half forward.
He goes there now, and Tui stood the ground against Marnie, and also got some support from O'Connor. He drills the ball back across the face of the centre wing position, gets it to Rowan, who goes inside 50. Stengel, this time he was behind, has to try and work his way to the front. McDonald got there first, gave the handball away towards Walker now, who just steadies the play, goes backwards. Core takes the mark, 15 out from the Cats' goal, and he drills it across, goes towards Stevenson, who chips the ball over the top, so they've gone to the opposite side, half-back flank, around the corner. The kick came from Davies Uniac, so they've just steadied the play down the Roos, and they're on the outer side, and Lazaro has it at half-back.
Lazaro, with the Cats leading by 11, 4-6 playing 3-1. A high ball looking for Goldstein. Stanley plays spoiler, front of the pack numbers with the Kangaroos. Head over it with Simpkin, tried to knock it out. Dangerfield reeled that in now. That's holding the ball. I suspect he's in trouble here. No, the ball has spilled out just as the umpire was ready to put the whistle to mouth. And he said, now give it to me, as it gets locked in underneath. Just forward of the outer side logo. Stanley winning the tap down against Cherry. Holmes, the roving, he's taken down in a good tackle by Greenwood at the edge of the centre square, and we'll get a ball up. And there's just a real lull over this game, Mark Neild.
Yeah, there is. The Kangaroos have done a really good job here, King. Take the speed out of the game. They've got numbers around the ball. They're keeping the hits in nice and close. And you can see here, we're going to get a number of repeat stoppages if this is the way the game's going to be played. They will try to frustrate Geelong because they can't afford to have a shootout like was going on at the beginning of the game.
Greenwood got wrapped up then by Tui. Now Stanley in the ruck contest. Got it out. McDonald tried to pick it up first time, couldn't second time either. Next to it, he just tries to kick it off the ground in the end. Gains 5 metres, but puts it out of bounds, and we'll have another boundary throw in on centre wing.
Which is exactly what you would do in this situation if you were coaching the Kangaroos. They're in the development part of what's going on. They've won 1 from 15 or 14. This is exactly what you'd have to try and do.
Cherry from behind winning the tap down. Greenwood at his bootlaces against another former Crow in Dangerfield. Couldn't take it. Dangerfield might have socketed it off the ground in the end. It was taken by Stevenson, who was taken by Smith. And right now this is not much of a spectacle. Tap down Stanley. Holmes trying to get free of Simpkin. He'll try to go off the ground but couldn't get a clear hit at it. Dangerfield's over it. He reels it in. Ball's not coming out of the umpire might pay a free kick just to clear the area, although Geelong might do that now on a loose footy. Holmes, a handball up to Tui. Back of the wing out of side, kicks on his left boot, and there was never pulling that back into the field of play. They set out of bounds on the full, and a free kick to the Kangaroos, where Core will be the gleeful recipient. In front of the Hickey Stand faithful. On a Saturday night, on a chilly winter's night here in Geelong. He goes laterally to Walker. Walker will go inside defensive 50, ask a lot of Young. He couldn't mark it at 2-on-1 against a couple of cats. Rowan's come up with it. He can fire a handball forward, and strolling into an open goal is Hawkins. Well, that kick was always a little bit risky to Young. 2 cats closed him down, forced a spillage. Geelong had numbers 4 to the footy, and Hawkins, after being held goalless against the Tigers last week, has got his first of the night. And he's 702nd of his career, and Geelong now lead by 17 points. They're 5-6-36. North Melbourne a 3-1-19 in this second quarter of Carroll football, thanks to Abco Cafe 24/7, Neildy.
Look, Josh Walker's been really good this evening in the defensive aspects of the game. Like, there's been a number of inside 50s. At the moment, they stand 20 to the Cats and 12 to the Kangaroos. A lot of those have gone to Tom Hawkins, and he's been great. The 2 errors he's made has been with ball in hand. That kick, if he was going to, he did choose to kick it there, it had to be flat, and it had to get to his teammate in enough time to make sure that Rowan and then Jeremy Cameron didn't turn up. The minute it hit the ground, that was going to be a Geelong goal. Good defensive forward work by both those players, and Geelong is a very team-orientated team. That's the way they play the brand of footy. So Rowan handballs to Hawkins in the goal square.
Back to the middle. Cherry tried to get it down from Stanley. Narkle falls over, can't take it. Powell was there as well. Holmes, Cherry on hands and knees, got a push in the back. The umpire said play on. Menegola is there as well, and Holmes is over the top of it. The umpire's going to come in and ball it up again. A little bit of Josh, I think a little bit of precipitation down there. Is there?
Yeah, don't expect the contest to get any cleaner, James. Just a bit of light rain falling.
It is here at GMHBA, so the ball in dispute. You can see it's pretty slippery out there. Kick off the ground for the Kangaroos was pretty good inside 50. Now the ball still in dispute. Goldstein resting up forward. He's there across the back. Kolajasny as well. The umpire will come in and ball it up. 5-6-36 the Cats. They lead the Kangas 3-1-19. We played 9 minutes. Port Phillip Ferry second quarter.
Stanley won the backhand tap down. Blitz serves a handball to O'Connor. O'Connor missed Duncan, and it's out of bounds for a boundary throw in the right back pocket. Cats in defence, which is the northern or Foo Fighters end of the ground. Is it heavy, Josh, or is it just going to be annoying?
Yeah, certainly just annoying at the moment, Kingy, but it's hanging around at the moment, unfortunately for myself.
36 playing 19. Shallow boundary throw in. It hits the ground and bounces through to Duncan, who snaps a kick around his body towards Stengel. Front position on Bassina Villani. Couldn't complete the mark. Found it on ground level, then had it stolen by Bassina Villani, who takes it out of bounds for a boundary throw in. And yes, we might have got our goal of the day for Lammy's Tavern in our Hamlin Hanger in the opening quarter, Jace.
Yes.
Mark Blitzars might be tough to top if the slipperiness eventuates from the boundary throw-in. Narkle at the front of the pack couldn't take it, but there was a couple of Kangaroos there, including Powell, who gave a handball up to Simpkin. Simpkin 55 from goal on his left boot. Kicks to about 20 out from goal. Having to play spoiler with Cherry. He'll do his own roving and go off the ground and goal, I reckon. That's not a bad effort for Lammy's Tavern goal of the night from the big fella. was able to play spoiler and recovered well and was able to soccer it off the ground and get the Kangaroos fourth. And the margin back to 11, and they won't go away. 4-1-25. Geelong 5-6-36, second quarter of Carroll football, thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7.
That was a good team goal by North Melbourne. Really good work by Jai Simpkin to get the ball and break free from that clearance. It's really important to be able to do that in these conditions. And as you said, Kingy, that work then to, as a tall forward, to be caught behind, bring it to ground, and then really be the only one to stay on your feet, sprint towards goal. Really good work.
Jeremy Cameron's stats, Neildy, I'm putting on notice.
Yeah, you are. Right, yeah. I'll just click this button here. You've given me the quality computer too to work through that, which I'm thankful for.
Thanks to Curse Hire, as always.
I can't see a filter button. This is outrageous. I'll just talk amongst myself while I work this out. He's had 3 kicks and 0 handballs to date, Jace.
Back to the middle, Blitzarves takes the ball from the middle and goes in that direction now. Off hands Rowan at the front, Lazaro. Handball was under pressure. Menegola tried to ride the tackle. He got the handball away to Blitzarves. There he is, Cameron. Got a handball. Back to O'Connor. Mucking around with it on centre wing. Nowhere to go. Kolajazzi tried to go forward. Broke a tackle. Did well. Collar. He goes on the right foot. Long inside 50. Stengel over the back 3. Kangaroos against him. Not going to be able to get it there. And they see it over the line for a throw-in. 40 around from the Cats' goal.
Love to see when Kolajazzi just wants to burst through a couple, take that big burly frame through. Boundary throw in, about 35 around from the Geelong goal. Right forward pocket, hits the deck, Holmes and Simpkins. Simpkins' kick pulled around the corner that O'Connor back with the flight will judge best and take on the chest. He will now kick towards Hawkins, who marks right on 50.
That's a much better idea this time.
He's going to pull the kick. Duncan is standing all alone 25 metres out. That's a wonderful kick. You should expect no less from Tom Hawkins with his field kicking, which is elite. And Quinton Narkle is bobbed up out of a sprinkler head, taken the mark, and will have a shot at goal just right of centre. Man on the mark, 25 out. Just
really good play by Tom Hawkins, Kingy. The previous one, he had a shot for goal about the same distance out. It was one of those frustrating long points, but he's a very smart player. He was never going to do that 2 times in a row, and found Narkle.
Quinton Narkle, who was the late inclusion for Sam de Koning, has kicked himself a goal. And the Cats are back out by 17. Narkle with just his 3rd goal of the season. He's playing his 40th game of his career tonight. And he's got the Cats a 17-point buffer in this second quarter of Carroll football, thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7. 6-6-42 the Cats. North Melbourne 4-1-25.
Look, North Melbourne, when they're getting their hands on the footy, they're just trying to frustrate the Cats by just having more disposals, that little keepings off game. And now that the rain has started to fall, that's not going to suit that style. So at the moment, the Kangaroos have had 12 more disposals than the Cats, but lowering the colours in the inside 50 by 14 inside 50s to them, 23 to Geelong. Geelong far more efficient and damaging with the ball when they go forward. And now, Jace, I've got a new rule that we're going to bring into play. I will tell you when I'm ready with the stats. It's a lot easier that way. So you just keep your little questions to yourself. Thank you. Yes, thank you to Curse Hire.
Jared and the team.
It's very important to have clear communication, Jace.
It is.
Can't have greatness.
Feedback is a gift. Thanks, Neildy.
No worries.
Ball in the middle. Blitzarves goes up, gets it down. Cherry, rubbed up by Cameron, who's having a run in the middle at the moment. The umpire says holding the ball, so the number 5 will take it and plays on quickly. Gets around Cherry, takes a bounce, keeps going on to half forward. Then he tries to drill the ball. It misses the target to start with. Narkles there, the last goal scorer, wrapped up straight away. The umpire says held in. That's it, holding the ball. So a series of holding the balls, and now the Kangaroos have got a defensive 50, and it will be Core who goes short. And the Kangaroos are just trying to control this play again across the half-back flank. Taylor has it for North Melbourne.
Taylor to the wing he goes, to a one-on-one. Duncan and Cherry. Cherry from behind tapped it down. Holmes did well to ride the tackle. He got one high, I reckon. Just as he was about to be pinged for holding the ball, the tackle rode up a little bit high. And he'll take a free kick. It was against Davey Juniak. Just forward of the wing, out of side. He drives a kick into the left forward. Pocket bodies go falling everywhere. Front of the pack, Myers kept his feet. Handball on the up. Isaac Smith to Blitzarves. Greenwood. Handball off Guthrie. That was Cam to Zach. Can't pull the kick enough. He's put that down at the full. All his momentum was taking him away from goal, and as a result, it just faded off to the right and threw out of bounds on the full, and a free kick for the Kangaroos. It's in the hands of Luke McDonald, but he's a long way from home at the southern or river end.
So he goes now with the left foot outside 50. Larkey over the back. Henry. No mark taken. Front through the middle. Colin Jasny again. Tries to ride the buck. Got the handball away. Still at 50 from the Cats' goal. And ball coming back out. Atkins threw it out towards Blitzarves. Greenwood wrapped him up straight away. Threw him in the ground. And the umpire will come in and ball it up 60 out from the Cats' goal.
Chase, more drama for North down here. Nick Larkey's come off. I think he's popped out a finger and they're struggling to get it back in, I reckon.
Oh, so we'll keep an eye on that. Thanks, Josh. Says St John of God. Injury update there. Kangaroos having all sorts of trouble here at GMHBA in the opening half. Ball still in dispute. 50 out from the Cats' goal. Core is there. Lazaro got the handball out. Chopped off by Myers. Cherries that was there for North Melbourne. He got to Stevenson. Might be okay. And he gets it to Greenwood on centre wing.
Greenwood marks, wants to play on, feeds a handball to Davies Uniac. Davies Uniac shares it with the voice of Lazaro, who sends it very, very wide, but well judged by Holmes going back with the flight. Not a great kick from Lazaro there. And the kick forward is okay for Duncan, who marks between wing and half forward out of side. Dangerfield providing a long lead, but laterally he comes with a kick to Cam Guthrie, who marks almost to the point of the square at left half forward. Zach Guthrie's his target down low. Did he complete the mark? He did. It was not a bad grab. The kick did him no favours, but he got him down low and was able to take it just before it hit the turf. He's 60 from home. He just sets it up into the right forward pocket. Oh, Cameron the bye. Hamlin Hanger contender as he came with a run from about 3 deep and took a nice mark and put up a contender alongside Mark Blitzarves for a Hamlin Hanger. He'll step out, he'll snap, he'll go on the left and he'll goal. So the Cats now leading it by 23. It's their biggest lead of the contest. 7-6-48 playing North Melbourne. 4-1-25 in this second quarter of Krock football, thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7 and Jeremy Cameron with his first of the night. He's now got 43 for the season.
That's a great grab, Jace. Ever since you said he wasn't playing very well, he's really jumped up and getting his hands on the footy. He's been cheeky enough to take an absolute old-fashioned screamer as well as go on a run and take a bounce. Now, changing complexion the way the game's being played. Geelong are now getting their hands on the footy, so you've got to start with the basics, get your hand on the ball. They're the ones that are using the short kicking, and they're changing the angles that will frustrate the North Melbourne backmen. They can't get a read on where to go, and they're not sure which space is the dangerous space. So really smart ball use by the Cats for the last couple of minutes.
Collingwood 36 leading the Gold Coast 24 at Metricon Stadium for Leopold Sporties, your complete family venue.
And just for clarity, it's Cherry with an X, Jace.
Thank you. Well done.
That's extraordinary.
Goldstein gets it down. Davies Uniac just slipped over the crucial stage. Yeah, wrapped up by the other number 9. Oh, the umpire says held in, and we'll have a secondary bounce in the middle. You know what stat I do want you to work out?
Yep.
How many times does Cam Guthrie give it to Zach Guthrie?
It's twice in the last 5 minutes.
Plenty of times. Ball from the ruck contest out towards Stevenson. Just threw the ball back inside. Comes towards Davies Uniac. Dropped the football in the tackle from Atkins. The umpire says play on. Stevenson is wrapped up again by Menegola and Atkins, and we'll have another ball up.
I don't know about this stat stuff. It's great. Kerr's higher. They're right behind it, which is absolutely awesome. But I'm just not think it's. I don't think it's me, Jace.
Stanley won the tap down, but it's going to come up with the Kangaroos. Simpkins, Stevenson burned off Narkle, but couldn't burn off Close, who affected the kick. Umpire got in the way of Smith getting the footy. He got there eventually. Handball to Menegola. Tried to get it back to Smith. Tried to get it back to Menegola. Smith now head over the footy for the catch. Jammed it on his left boot towards centre half forward. Myers back with the fly. Had it spoiled away by Taylor, who had a fumble. Myers got it to Dangerfield, who just reefed a handball forward and sent it Close. Run onto this. Pacina Villani was on his hammer. Overran the footy. Close. Pacina Villani. That's a throw on the up to Taylor. Wasn't seen that way. Powell, Taylor, kick on the 45 is good for Anderson, and the former Hawk has got it at right half back. He'll go to centre half back, wanting Simpkin. Wonderful front on spoil from Isaac Smith, brought it to ground. Rowan trying to get to the footy, held onto a North Melbourne player without it. Umpire didn't see it that way, and we're still outside the Cats forward 50, where it's picked up by Davies Uniac, whose kick wide is good and finds Curtis Taylor.
His 19th disposal.
Or Curtis, I should say.
His 19th disposal gets it to Curtis. You like that, Neildy?
That's very good.
Goes back in board. Chopped off. Guthrie takes the mark. Across centre half back for the Cats. He wheels it wide to Hawkins, a long way from goal on centre wing. He kicks it back in. Board. Good kick. Finds Duncan. Handballs at Menegola. Slips over the crucial stage. He gets the handball away though. Guthrie gives it back to Duncan. Lateral kick onto centre wing. Smith takes it. Tries to draw a handball to Hawkins. He goes inside with the kick again, lowered the eyes and found Brian Myers. And he'll shoot the goal from 45 out.
We've just seen two outstanding field kicks from Tom Hawkins. Absolutely magnificent. The one through the middle and then that one inside 50 for Brian Myers. That actually ball nearly went through him. That's cannoned into his chest. He did well to hang on to that. Terrific play by the big fella.
It is a beautiful kick.
So Myers, 45 out, 45-degree angle. He's at the southern end of the ground for the Cats' 8th of the evening. Wheels out on that familiar right foot and has missed it to the near side. And through for one behind. So they go to 7-7-49 Geelong. They lead the North Melbourne Football Club 4-1-25, and it's on the Apco Cafe 24/7 Krock. Second quarter scoreboard.
Stevenson's kick in is marked by Young, who feeds a handball to McDonald. Just had to reach for it and grab it on the bounce. Handball over top to Marnie, kicked it into the outstretched arms of Henry. Deflected back towards Cam Guthrie. Went through his legs. Lazaro was good in traffic. Over handball to Simpkin, who gave it to Basina Villani. Basina Villani's kick to the middle, not great, and Stanley. Oh, it bounced off his big chest. He had to find it on the ground under trouble from Spicer. Gave it up to Duncan. Good harassment by Spicer. Now Goldstein on hands and knees. Got it up. Chance for Zerha. Lost it in the tackle that's holding the ball. Like the efforts of Spicer there, but Reece Stanley probably would like that back where that very awkward attempt to mark failed miserably. Atkins won a free kick. He went across from one edge of the centre square to the other to Menegola, who's got it on our broadcast wing.
Takes a bounce. Runs away. Goes with a kick towards half forward. Paw off the boot. And the Kangas at defensive 50.
What was that noise up the back?
Davey Collins is not happy.
And Taylor takes the mark. He goes laterally back to the 10-metre square. Son of Alani gets the kick over the top. Walker under pressure from Myers. He's got some support though. Powell kick around the corner. Missed Davies Uniac. Hughes going to come back with interest. And Narkle off a step, 45 out. Goes towards goal and has missed it to the far side and through for one behind. 1-1 his personal tally. 7-8-50 the Cats. They lead the Kangas 4-1-25. Apco Cafe 24/7 Krock. Second quarter scoreboard.
Great to have Dave Collins in the experts chair tonight for...
He's in the grumpy chair. He's just exploded. He didn't like that inside 50 kick at all.
I don't think he's a Sam Menegola fan, Dave Collins. Left back pocket. McDonald driving it long, a helicopter to a one-on-one. Goldstein and O'Connor. O'Connor did well to provide a contest. Ball's out of bounds for a boundary throw. And I love hearing from Dave. Down to you, Josh.
Sorry, Kingy. The North doctors are working absolutely overtime down there. Nick Larkey's fingers have been taped up. He's back on. But Tristan Cherry, he's gone walkabout. He's been gone down the room. It's not apparent what's wrong with him, but he's been gone for the last 5 minutes or so.
Okay, keep an eye on that one for us. Josh for St John of God. Boundary throw, and he's shallow. Stanley got a handball to Cameron. Cameron got a handball to Cam Guthrie. Cam Guthrie 70 from goal. Pulls a kick. Hawkins playing from behind. Worked Walker off the footy and gave away a free kick for a push. Kick just didn't have the penetration that Hawkins wanted. Now there's a bit of a push and shove between Hawkins and Walker, and of course we know famously that I think one Easter Monday Tom Hawkins kicked a bunch of goals when we had numbers on the back of the jumpers, and Hawkins' jumper got ripped and he was wearing Josh Walker's jumper.
Ball comes out. Kais get it only as far as Menegola. Back towards Hawkins in front this time, and got slammed to the ground too by Josh Walker in that contest. And Paddy Dangerfield saw it, I think, because he's come over, so has Myers.
The next contest between the two is always going to have a little bit of heat about it.
Yeah, look, it will. And Josh Walker's been really good in those one-on-ones. It's just an avalanche of inside 50s that are going to come his way, so he'll get frustrated with that. He's been frustrating Tom Hawkins. It's good to see Tom get in front when he's been trying to push Josh Walker under the ball. He's got a big frame as well. He's been able to hold his ground.
Off the KFC Twitter, Daz Broncos. Now, if Neildy's complaining about the stats, Benny will be asking for more money next week.
Now, he can ask, and we're always happy to negotiate down. Daz?
Hawkins comes in, 40 out. Suits the Powell fade from where he was. That's his second of the evening, Tom Hawkins. And the 8 for the Cats, 8-8-56. They lead North Melbourne 4-1-25. Apco Cafe 24/7 Krock. Second quarter scoreboard, and the experts chair as always, Mark Neal.
Well, Tom Hawkins, look, he didn't kick a goal last week. We saw him get a little bit frustrated. He's such a powerful man. We know that one-on-one, but tonight he's playing on someone who's also very strong. But when he leads at the kicker like that, it helps the kicker because he demands the ball. But if he gets in front, you cannot get around him. He's got such great technique at taking the mark like that, and that's just a wonderful shot for goal.
Hawkins now with 38 on the season.
Kingy Cherry back on the bench, but his right shoulder is heavily strapped up high too. He's just trying to do some exercises to loosen it up at the moment.
Thanks, Josh. Josh Conway down boundary side. Thanks to Lifeline this evening, lifeline.org.au or 13 11 14. Umpire back in the middle for Goldstein and Stanley to once again go at it. It's a good bounce in the middle too. Go straight up. And both get a hand on it. It's going to fall for Atkins. He got a handball to Stanley. Stanley freed the arms, but was taken into Greenwood. Tackle on the ball spilled out to Davey Juniak near the outer wing. He throws it around the body towards half forward, and the kick just inside 50. It floated. Henry judged it best and took the mark in the fingertips. About 45 from his defensive goal. He's got Zach Guthrie short presenting, and that's where he goes, but the umpire said that didn't go 15. So under pressure, he pulls a kick towards half back. Holmes did all right to play
Great
spoiler
hands.
and knock it down to Menegola. Menegola was clean, as Mark Neal alluded to. And now he kicks for O'Connor, who marks it right half back. And it's about this point in the first quarter where North Melbourne got a run on. They kicked 3 on the bounce. From the 24-minute mark onward, we're 25 and a half gone for the Port Phillip Ferries. Oh, Stanley on the lead up, went straight through his hands. Here's McDonald giving it to Lazaro. Lazaro back to McDonald. McDonald underground handball. Missed its target. Dangerfield was able to share it at close quarters to Smith, who went off the ground with a kick. Cameron was clean, gave it back to Smith. Oh, he had a fumble. He went with the one hand. He needed to go with the two on a dewy night like tonight. And a chance for the Kangaroos to clear through Basina Villani.
He goes into the middle. Holmes in front, can't take it. Falls towards Cameron. Tried to kick it off the ground. Now Simpkin, little handball on the up. Coming back, Stengel has to ride the tackle, tried to get it away with a kick. He did, only as far as McDonald got the hands free and then went to the ground. Ball out to the side, Myers. Handball on the up to Stengel. Right on the boundary line, back in kick towards Hawkins it was, who was coming out. Oi! Blitzer nearly decapitated Curtis Taylor, and he'll take the free kick inside defensive 50 for North Melbourne.
Taylor, short. And just inside the back pocket, it's marked by Lazaro. He's been busy, Charlie Lazaro, which is good to see for the local product.
12 disposals.
It's good, Jace. Good.
Curse higher.
For Curse higher.
Thank you. Pulled the kick towards half-back. Zerha front position. Mackay, who was barely spotted tonight, flew but couldn't mark. Handball from Cameron turned over. Went to Powell, who gave it off to Simpkin. Simpkin kicked forward. Tui had it knocked away by Spicer, front of the pack, hitting it hard. For the Kangaroos, might have been Taylor, but he was going nowhere in a tackle, and we will get a ball up. In fact, it was Paul Curtis, and we'll get a ball up just forward of the wing, favouring the Kangaroos, but they trail by 31. Stanley winning the tap down, but the Kangaroos got numbers at the contest. There should have been a free kick for a hold of the Roos, but Atkins took the loose footy kick on the bounce. Dangerfield attacked it hard, gave a handball to Myers.
He goes with a kick outside the right boot towards Hawkins, who just gave up the ghost as he saw the ball run across the ground, and it's going to be out of bounds for a throw-in at right half forward for the Cats.
It's just a little thing, but a very, very difficult thing to do. Paddy Dangerfield, slippery conditions, just attacks it flat out, grabs it one grab. Before he grabbed it, he actually told Graham Myers which side to run, grabs it and gives him the handball. Unbelievable play.
So boundary throw in, 45 around from the Cats' goal. Goldstein punches it back towards the boundary. Powell can't keep it in. Smith tracked him back as well, and it will be another boundary throw in deep into the Cats' attack. Southern end of the ground, they're 8-8-56. They lead North Melbourne 4-1-25. We've played 28. Port Phillip Ferries time clock in this second term.
Port Phillip Ferries, there's no better way to travel. Port Arlington and Geelong to Docklands daily. Ball back into play. Hawkins doing the ruck work against Sherry, who was able to back fist it back towards the boundary line. But the Cats have got numbers there, including Cam Guthrie, although stolen away from him by Powell, who dived on the footy, and that should be holding the ball now, should it? I think so. No, it went out of bounds. We had a boundary throw in right forward pocket. The boundary line might have saved Powell there, Neildy.
Yeah, I think you're right, Kingy. I'm sure that went through the umpire's mind to pay that.
So we had a boundary throw in. Blitzarves is pushing Hawkins and Cameron out of the way. And he'll do the ruck work against Sherry. Tapped down by Sherry. Quick kick out of there from Powell towards half-back. Zerha on his chest couldn't complete the mark. Ball at ground level. Zach Guthrie head over it. Well done, Collar Jasdy, but he lost it in the tackle of Marnie. Henry put his head over the ball. There's a Kangaroo down in back play. Keep an eye on that, please. It's Jed Anderson. Josh, I think he's got to his feet, though. And we'll get a stoppage just inside the centre square. Cats in attack slightly. They lead by 31, and we're approaching half-time. And Garmy Chicken is on my mind.
Oh, yeah.
Stanley got it down through the middle. Davies Uniac can't take it. Zerha went through without it as well. Cameron and Simpkin behind play having a crack at each other as well. Balls comes out towards Curtis. He can't take it. Tui with a blind turn. Little right foot kick on the up. Smith tapped it down. Henry has to ride the bump. Got it away, but only as far as Curtis, who kicked it off the ground, goes inside 50. Ball. Cylinder Marnie comes at it. Hughes is there as well. Now O'Connor tracks it through, and Zerha wraps him up straight away. Not going anywhere. We'll have a ball up 45 out from the Kangaroos' goal. So Stanley comes across to do the ruck work. A minute left in the first half here at GMHBA. Cherry gets it down, side of the pack, close to the boundary line. Marty pushed over it with the footy. And the boundary umpire with a bit of work to do now. 31 the difference, close to siren time for half-time. And the Cats in the ascendancy here at GMHBA.
8-8, playing 4-1, Krock football, APCO Cafe 24/7 scoreboard. Jason Doherty, Tom King, Josh Conway, Mark Neal bringing you the action from GMHBA Stadium. From the boundary throw-in, Colin Jasny does the roving. Make sure you tweet us. Thanks to KFC. Join the KFC workforce and have loads of fun. Check out careers.kfc.com.au. Let us know where you're listening from right around the world through Krock football and AFL.com.au.
Vietnam tonight, Kingy. Vietnam tonight.
Vietnam.
Yes.
Listeners in Vietnam. We've got a free kick to the Cats. Going to Colin Jasny, who will take about 40 from his defensive goal. What have you seen going on off the footy there, Neildy?
Just a little bit of a mini melee going on down here. Jeremy Cameron seems to have taken the angry pills.
Kick to the wing, Rowan, an early fly. Stanley went up as well. Neither could complete the mark. Brad Close has given away a free kick for too high in the wing. He was involved in that little mini melee. And Lockie Young.
Aiden Cole really not happy with that attention, Neildy.
No, not at all. We're going to keep that stat, the mini melee stat.
Kick inside, forward 50 from
two.
Young. And, big fly. Zach Guthrie got very high and landed awkwardly, but he's okay. Gets to his feet. And at half-time, we've got a ball game that is in the keeping of the Cats. They lead by 31. 8-8-56. North Melbourne 4-1-25. The Cats kicking 5 goals to 1 in that second quarter. Let's see if there's any friction as we go to the half-time break. Probably the good thing here is that the Cats will go off into the Brownlow stand and the Kangaroos will have to start finding their way over to the Hickey stand and where their rooms are located here at GMHBA Stadium. It appears players are quite happy to move on with life and get into their half-times respectively. And we're going to get into half-time too, thanks to Garmy Chicken and Beer Warn Ponds. Treat yourself to a footy pack. It's absolutely outstanding. It's got the chicken katsu burger, the shoestring fries, just with a nice little bit of seasoning on them, and also the little chicken wings and the donuts there as well. Davey Collins has been absolutely demolishing up the back thanks to Garmy Chicken and Beer. It's Geelong by 31 points at the main break. 8-8-56 playing North Melbourne 4-1-25. Back shortly with Breathe Carol Footy.
Thanks to our number one ticket holder, APCO. Fueled by APCO Cafe 24/7. Herbie and Josh.
While Josh is off listening to this, Herbie's here with Lee Coolman to drive you home.
Bono's just discovered he's got a half-brother, which is wild. Like at the age of he is, which I'd say 60s.
So I don't know what I would do in that situation, but...
You know what we should do is call Wayne. He seems super fertile. I'm just saying. You don't know what happened before he hooked up with Trish. Maybe he has got a couple of loose ones running around.
No, I've seen photos of Dad before and he wasn't getting anyone.
Herbie and Josh. Weekdays from 4 p.m. Only on Krock 955.
At Harvey Norman, get 60 months interest-free, no deposit finance from Latitude and receive a bonus gift card up to $1,000. Shop furniture, bedding, computers and technology, TVs and entertainment and more. That's 60 months interest-free, no deposit, no interest from Latitude with 60 approximately equal monthly payments and receive a bonus gift card up to $1,000. Finance only available if you have or are approved for a participating Latitude credit card. Minimum finance amount $1,000. See T's and C's. Interest applies for non-compliance. Fees and product exclusions apply. Now at Harvey Norman.
Easy parking at 2 great locations, Corio and Warn Ponds.
St John of God Geelong Hospital has been the leading provider of private maternity services in the Geelong and Barwon region for more than 60 years, bringing thousands of precious babies into the world. Our maternity service provides you with a unique and personalised experience, with your chosen obstetrician caring for you through pregnancy, birth and beyond. Enjoy your stay in our relaxing private rooms with access to a range of services designed especially for you and your baby. To find out more, see sjog.org.au/Geelong Maternity.
In Korea, there are many ways to settle a dispute. But most do it over chicken and beer. Garmy Chicken and Beer Warn Ponds. Sticky, crunchy Korean fried chicken, authentic sauces, and Gunbay beer brewed in Brunswick. Your food gets delivered to your table by robot because Korea. So bib up, friend up, and tackle it like the chicken-eating champion you are. Garmy, Warn Ponds Shopping Centre. Perfect for a pre- or post-movie feed because they're open till 9 p.m. every day.
Whoa,
Josh, Jamie and Erin from Wombat Gully Plant Farm Geelong.
Dad, footy is on.
Okay, Erin, but I've got to tell everyone that just like a footy team, Wombat Gully Plant Farm are here to go the extra mile. Stick to the plan, have fun, work together and give it our best shot so your garden can be the greatest garden of all.
Dad, you sound just like a coach.
Oh, thanks, Erin. Now, whose turn is it to do the dishes?
Not me. I'm still on the bench, Dad.
Right. So see you soon at Wombat Gully Plant Farm.
201 Townsend Road, Mullap.
Why does APCO Cafe 24/7 coffee taste so good? It's the ingredients and care in every cup. It's our signature blend Gigante beans and fresh pure milk. Our beans are specialty roasted with milk textured until silky smooth for an award-winning cup of coffee. And this month at APCO Cafe 24/7, you could win free coffee for a year. Just buy a cup of barista-made coffee to enter. Win free coffee for a year at APCO Cafe 24/7. We've got you.
Thanks to our #1 ticket holders, APCO. Fueled by APCO Cafe 24/7.
Ask a lot of young. He couldn't mark in a 2-on-1 against a couple of cats. Rowan's come up with it. He can fire a handball forward, and strolling into an open goal is Hawkins. Kicks to about 20 out from goal, having to play spoiler with Cherry. He'll do his own roving and go off the ground and goal, I reckon. That's not a bad effort for Lammy's Tavern goal of the night. Wasn't a bad effort at all from Tristan Cherry, but that was the only real moment of joy for the Kangaroos in that second quarter. It was their lone goal. The Cats kicked 5, and from 4 points up at quarter time, they now lead by 31 and have this game, you would suspect, in safekeeping. It's been a busy first half for St John of God. Your emergency specialist now open 24/7. Josh Conway is keeping an eye on all those injuries. Now we know Aaron Hall was out of the game early with a quad issue. That meant Phoenix Spicer, the sub, came into the contest in about the first 10 minutes of the game, but then since then lost just trying to remember who came out of the game.
Who did come out of the game? It's very good.
I've had a complete mind blank there. I'm just having a look down my list. Who was it? Kane Turner.
It was Kane Turner.
It was Kane Turner.
Yeah, it was.
Kane Turner had to come out of the contest with concussion, unfortunately, and then they've had a finger issue.
Nick Larkey.
With Nick Larkey, and then Tristan Cherry was off with a shoulder issue, so hasn't gone to plan for the Kangaroos here at GMHBA Stadium on a Saturday night. It is half-time thanks to Garmy Chicken and Beer. Treat yourself to some half-time Garmy Chicken and Beer, which is exactly what Mark Neild is doing right now. Around the grounds for Leopold Sporties, earlier today, Essendon 95 defeated Sydney 86, and Melbourne 94 had the better of Adelaide 65. In the other game tonight, at half-time at Metricon Stadium, Gold Coast 36, trail Collingwood 45. In the VFL, Geelong getting a bit of a touch-up. Just the half a dozen AFL-listed players playing tonight by my count. So those playing in the Geelong VFL that are AFL-listed: Nevitt, Radigalia, Stevens, Dempsey, Evans, Neal and Sapatola. So that's 7. And it's Frankston 63 leading the Cats 22. So the Cats are still in the mix for finals, but this just every loss making it a bit harder. I think they've lost 3 in a row now. Including to Richmond last week after leading by 27 points at three-quarter time. In the GDFL today, winners Inverleigh, Belmont Lions, Geelong West, East Geelong, Belpost Hill and Winchelsea. But some key numbers. Kerrs High, please. Jace, what have you got for us in terms of those who have been performing well with the footy and team-wise as well?
Yeah, so we'll do the team stats first. So, as you might not expect, but the Kangaroos have had more disposals at the moment, 185 to 175. So they've had more kicks and handballs. Just in the advantage of the Cats. Inside 50s, 34 to the Cats, and the Kangas have had 17. 19 all in the hit-outs. Clearances, 19 to the Kangaroos, 15 to Geelong. Centre clearances, 6-4 in favour of the Kangaroos as well. And clearances from stoppage, 13 to the Kangaroos, 11 to the Cats. Cats lead contested possessions, 70 to 65. Turnovers, that's where probably the Kangaroos have a disadvantage. They're 42 turnovers. The Cats are 29. So just looking at some individual stats for players. Luke Davies-Uniacke has had plenty of the football. He's had 11 kicks, 10 handballs, 21 effective disposals. Jai Simpkins had 19, 9 kicks and 10 handballs. Luke McDonald 14. Charlie Lazzaro's had 14 as well, 8 kicks and 6 handballs. In fact, the top 6 players on the ground are all Kangaroos in disposal. Yeah, well. Mitch Duncan has had 12, 9 kicks and 3 handballs. Jeremy Cameron got into that game in the second quarter. He's had 11 disposals, as has Isaac Smith, Cam Guthrie and Zach Guthrie as well. Looking at the other end of the stats, Ben McKay's only had one possession, one disposal, which was a handball. And Aaron Hall, as we said, is off. Cam Zerha's only had 3 kicks to this date. Tom Atkins, 2 kicks, 2 handballs. Gary Rowan, 3 kicks, 1 handball. And Brad Close, 5 possessions, 4 kicks and 1 handball.
Thank you for that, Jace. Good work by you for Curse High. 3 locations, North Geelong, Grovedale and Ocean Grove. Just asked the question on the Twitter for KFC. Where are you listening to us tonight? A couple of replies. Simon Quinn's listening in, as he likes to call it, East Newtown.
East Newtown, like that. That's nice.
And Darren Gilmore, sadly at home, been crook all week. Well, I hope we're bringing a smile to your face, and the Cats are bringing a smile to your face, Darren, as you listen at home this evening. It's halftime thanks to Garmy Chicken and Beer. Treat yourself to some halftime Garmy Chicken and Beer in Warn Ponds. Now, of course, this new footy pack, it's got the chicken katsu burger, which is outstanding, delicious sticky chicken wings, the shoestring fries, and the donuts too. The donuts are very, very popular. A break, and then we'll be back, and it'll be Jason Neildy to have a look at the first half of play here at GMHBA Stadium Wide. The Cats got a 31-point lead. Mark Deal to break it down for us on the other side of this. Thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7. We've got you. Live, breathe, K-Rock footy.
Thanks to our number 1 ticket holder, APCO. Fueled by APCO Cafe 24/7. At K-Rock 955, we've got all of Geelong's favourite hits. The jams you're loving right now. The classics that take you back.
I like the way you work it. No dig.
And all of your faves from in between. Whether you're cruising down the Great Ocean Road, heading up the highway, or just kicking around Geelong, K-Rock 955 has all your favourite hits. Live, breathe, Geelong in the Surf Coast.
At home, on the work site, in the office, there are some big cleaning problems you just don't want to deal with.
Don't panic. Call Steamatic.
Steamatic has real solutions to your cleaning problems. Graffiti removal, kitchen canopy cleaning, blasting services, or the big industrial jobs, they're equipped to handle it all. Steamatic, a standout job every time and on standby when you need them most.
Don't panic. Call Steamatic.
Essington Street, Grovedale. Visit steamaticgeelong.com.au.
Hi, I'm Patrick Dangerfield. When you're on the highway to the danger zone, make sure it's in a Rex Gorell new or used car. Rex Gorell just can't be beaten. They top the ladder when it comes to range, service, value and quality. So you'll only get the best when you buy your car from Rex Gorell. Family owned and committed to Geelong. Do what I've done. Join the winning team at Rex Gorell.
Rex Gorell, Fine Street on the Trobe Terrace, Geelong. Visit rexgorell.com.au. LMCTs 1308 8349.
Bonus gift cards on selected home appliances now at Harvey Norman. Save $200 on the Dyson Multi-Floor Extra Vacuum. Now just $499 plus bonus $25 gift card. Bonus $70 gift card on Breville the Barista Touch Matte Black Coffee Machine. Only $1,399. Bonus $200 gift card on the latest LG 12 kilo front loader. Perfectly paired with the 10 kilo heat pump dryer. Hot package price $3,498. Bonus gift cards on selected home appliances now at Harvey Norman. Easy parking at 2 great locations, Corio and Warn Ponds.
Thanks to our number 1 ticket holders, APCO. Fueled by APCO Cafe 24/7.
Halftime, thanks to Garmy Chicken and Beer. Treat yourself to some halftime Garmy Chicken and Beer Warn Ponds. I think Neildy has. He's been up the back.
Very good.
The break, very
chicken.
good. Very good, the Garmy
the
Chicken.
Footy with a D pack they've gone with. That's what it says on the side.
Look at that.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm a bit confused by the donuts. There's no holes in the middle. But in actual fact, you know Betty Cassidy's got a joke?
Yeah.
I have heard...
No.
Are we on air?
We are on air.
What about Laurie
So be
Hill,
careful.
executive producer birthday yesterday?
Yes.
He has come out with one of the
has.
more interesting jokes. Are we going to run?
No,
We're not.
no.
You don't think?
Very light blue. So
Right,
no.
okay.
No, Kingy's out the back. He'll have a heart attack if we go with that. So, Cats by 31 points at half-time here, Neildy. How have they done it? And it's been an interesting first half, really.
It certainly has. Well, the second quarter, so they've kicked 5 goals to 1. It was interesting that first quarter because, it started. Geelong had kicked 3 goals. I think it might have been 3 goals 3 or even 3 goals 4 before the Kangaroos had even scored. And I'm sure I wasn't the only one sitting here thinking, gee, this could be an absolute enormous blowout. But to their credit, the Kangaroos fought back. They did it by taking the pace out of the game and having repeat stoppages by putting more numbers around the footy, and Geelong really struggled to get it away from there, and then they struggled to get any fluency in their ball movement because of the mass numbers through the midfield. So that's a good effort by the Kangaroos to do that. In that second quarter, though, Geelong sort of righted the ship, if that's the right word. When they did get the footy, they too were trying to do some of the work on the short kick, so kick between 15 and 25 metres, but they were making an effort to change the angles. So they do that. So the North Melbourne defenders, who, when there's a crowd and the ball comes in high, it's easier to defend because you know where the ball's going to go. But if you're having to adjust your position all the time, it becomes more difficult. And we saw, as a result of that, we saw some Geelong players get on the lead or found free inside the 50. So Hawkins got on the lead a couple of times. There was a kick that Hawkins actually did into Narkle where it found him. So that's the type of space that can open up. So that's how they manufactured those 5 goals in that second quarter, and the Kangaroos only managing the one solitary goal. At quarter time, Jace, we made mention that Chris Scott went over to the midfield and had a bit of a chat to them, and that was because in the back half of the first quarter, the Kangaroos midfielders were dominating disposal. They were getting the extra number to the contest, being able to use him to clear the footy. And we mentioned there were a couple of players who were a little bit down disposals wise, but I felt in that quarter, Atkins, Guthrie, players such as that started to get their hands on the ball and dominate the inside 50s. And
they're certainly sharing the ball around disposals. So the top 6 on the ground, North Melbourne players, obviously over-possessing it a little bit because they want to try and keep control. But the Cats' spread of disposals is pretty well. Everybody's had 11 or 12.
Yeah, which that's really good. I think Mitch Duncan playing his 250th is one of those players. So that's depth in your midfield, depth across your half-back line, and if you can do that, that's fantastic. It's hard to defend against it. And you mentioned, North Melbourne are where they are on the ladder for particular reasons, but what, as you say, what they're trying to do when they get the footy is almost frustrate Geelong in this case. But the more, particularly in these slippery conditions, it started to rain a little bit in the second quarter, almost at that level, the more times you touch it for the Kangaroos, the more opportunities they actually have to make an error. One of the contests I'd like to ask you about is the Josh Walker versus Tom Hawkins battle that's going on out there. What's your take on that so far?
I think it's been a great battle, and I mean, obviously Josh didn't give it up in our pre-game because we thought he'd go to one of them, Cameron or Tomahawk. So I think he had the better of Tom Hawkins definitely in the first quarter, but Hawkins seemed to come up the ground a bit further in that second quarter, and actually he's great. We talked about it a couple of times. His field kicking is elite.
It is. Yeah, look, absolutely.
And that's taking Walker out of that sort of, bustling back of the back line sort of stuff. It's up the ground a bit further, and he probably has to change his game a little bit.
Oh, he certainly does. And Tom Hawkins having that ability, he's a big man, and he's not your traditional full forward in that he can, as you say, come outside 50, go up the ground, and if he gets the footy, he can be really damaging. And for someone like Josh Walker, who has learned, well, he's played a bit of footy forward, but he is your traditional big key defender. Get him up and moving sideways. It's out of their comfort zone. So it's been an interesting battle. Tomahawk's had 3 shots at goal for 2 goals. One of them was a handball into the goal script. You did have to work hard to get there. It's also a weight of inside 50s. Josh Walker's probably won or nullified more contests than Tom Hawkins has won, but Tom's been able to have 3 shots at goal on the back of just an overwhelming number of inside 50s.
Head-to-head thanks to Geelong Insurance Brokers with more than 39 years in the insurance industry. Managing Director Don and the team at Geelong Insurance Brokers work with their clients to ensure they have the right cover, not just the cheapest premium. The head-to-head this evening, Neildy.
Yeah, so we were looking at on the back of Kingy in his rumour mill on his Twitter. We were having a look at Reece Stanley versus Goldstein and seeing who was going to be the Geelong ruckman for 2023 and possibly 2024. At this stage, Jace, you'd have to say it's almost a draw. Neither one having mass influence. It's not a night for big players. It's a bit slippery, but we've certainly, I believe you guys would have called Reece Stanley more often. He's probably been in more contests, so it'll be interesting by the end of the season, not just today, which way Kingy swings that for next season. Tom, you're back.
I'm back.
How you going? Pothole's got a joke too, by the way.
Oh, don't go there.
No.
No. Sorry, we're still on air. Sorry. Hold that thought.
Just on the KFC Twitter. And thank you to KFC. And of course, you can join the KFC workforce and have loads of fun. Check out careers.kfc.com.au. Catherine Kernahan, spelt differently, so no relation.
No.
Is in the Hickey stand. Daniel Robinson is in Ballarat with a broken heater.
Two things you don't want to have. No. Be in Ballarat and a broken heater.
Rowan Andrew is at the other side of the spectrum. He's in Rarotonga in the Cook Islands on his honeymoon and listening to us.
That's an interesting mood killer there.
And Boxhead 31 Dave, he said, in my ears.
Well, hey, the value of clear communication.
Sidewalk Cantina, listening to the great people calling the game in our Mexican food van based in Geelong.
Nice.
There's a shameless plug for themselves.
Well, smart.
Well done. Free advertising on K-Rock.
Best form of marketing is when someone else does it for you.
Yes, no interest like self-interest. As we will get down to Josh Conway very shortly. He's just making his way down boundary side. Sean Higgins still in his warm-up top, so it hasn't been required yet as the Cats sub. But once we finally worked out it was Kane Turner that we'd seen go off the ground.
How did us two go?
Just sort of slid under the radar a bit. Kane Turner's now actually found his way to 116 AFL games. He was still at high school when he debuted, and he actually played the Cats in a final, I reckon, at the MCG 2014, where the Cats nearly pulled off a miraculous comeback. The Kangaroos went off to a prelim that year. Players in position. Goldstein to go at it again with Stanley. Now, Greenwood and Atkins is an interesting Wombat Gully Plant Farm matchup, and Dangerfield's got himself back in the middle also for Wombat Gully Plant Farm. So ready to go. Third quarter of K-Rock football thanks to Harvey Norman. Umpire just having a quick word to Reece Stanley, not sure what about. Siren is gone. And yeah, are we still waiting? Was that the 1 minute siren? So we might still have another 45 odd seconds before we get things underway.
I might just jump up the back and ask Poddle just to explain what he was talking about before.
Or to tell that joke.
No, he's told the joke.
He's told it.
I'm glad Benny's not here, because Benny right now would probably be wanting to tell his joke that he's never going to tell on air.
The microwave one, that was funny.
The VFL 78-22. Geelong trailing Frankston, and in the other AFL clash it's half-time with Collingwood 45, Gold Coast 36. Earlier today wins for Essendon and Melbourne for Leopold Sporties, and in the GDFL Inverleigh, Belmont Lions, Geelong West, East Geelong, Bellpost Hill and Winchelsea all having victories in round 12 action in the GD. So now we're ready to get things underway. Third quarter for Harvey Norman. Think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices. Furniture, electrical, bedding and computers. Here's Jason Doherty on K-Rock Footy.
So Reece Stanley and Todd Goldstein to renew acquaintances in the ruck contest. Umpire puts the ball into the GMHBA turf. Atkins ripped off the football by Greenwood. Dangerfield pushed past it. Guthrie's there as well. Little kick off the ground by Simpkin. Still in the middle of GMHBA. Ball comes towards Guthrie. Tracked it back. Tried to get it to Blitzarves. He nearly threw it over the top to Kolajasny. Running the wrong way. Rugby scrum tackle by Goldstein. Pushed him towards centre half forward for the Kangaroos. And we're going to have a ball up. So
Daz Broncos, front row, C18, and it's perfect, he said.
Nice. Well done, Daz. Ball back towards Stengel. Gets it to Guthrie Cam with the outside of the right boot to an open half-forward flank to run onto it. Holmes coming across as well. Rowan used the Turner speed. Handball on the up. Turn around to the top. Hawkins, who runs into goal, takes a bounce, kicks it through for his third of the evening. And a quick start again for the Cats in the third term. And he's his third goal. 9-8-62 Geelong. North Melbourne 4-1-25. Harvey Norman, K-Rock, third quarter scoreboard.
Some outstanding work below the knees by some of the Geelong players. The ball is slippery, even though we just started the second half. The ground is really, really slippery. The work there by Holmes with his speed, and also Gary Rowan to attack the footy. But the work in the middle, Cam Guthrie to get that footy out was just absolutely sensational. And Stengel, he had a role to play in that as well. He's playing high at the moment as the high half forward. He came up into the contest, got his hands on the ball, helped to get it out. Again, North Melbourne wanted the mass numbers around the ball. Geelong were desperate to try and hit it to the outside and use the speed, and they got it out there. Now we're talking about those weight of inside 50s, Jace. Tom Hawkins at 12 disposals. He's up to 3 goals too.
Gives him 39 for the season, Neildy.
And where does that place him on the Coleman medal, Tom?
Third behind Curnow and Cameron, I believe.
Right, excellent.
Back in the middle. Here's Davey Giniak trying to get a handball up to Simpkin, but Cam Guthrie got in the way and was able to shrug off Simpkin, then barrel a kick forward towards centre half forward. Rowan coming out, couldn't complete the mark, but he'll find it at ground level. Went through one, went through two, and then got a handball to Stanley, who had a fumble at the inopportune time. He'll get a free kick maybe for a hold. So he got bailed out there by the umpire. He just had a fumble at the inopportune time. He's got Cam Guthrie short, and that's where he goes with the kick. On the half volley, picks it up nicely, turns and kicks very, very wide, where he's got a man marking. It's Kolajasny. His momentum halted as he thought about adding another career goal to that impressive tally of 2 to the pocket. Oh, Hawkins flying, put the boot straight in the back of the number 19 of Josh Walker, but couldn't get his hands on the footy, and the ball is out of bounds in the right forward pocket at the Northern or Foo Fighters end for the Cats. They lead by 37 points. Hawkins got high but couldn't hang on.
So throw in deep forward. Hawkins will do the ruck work for the Cats. Goldstein has made his way down there. Boundary umpire to throw the ball back in, does so now. Hawkins in front, tried to tap it to the side. Smith runs through, Stengel there as well. Walker over the top, gets a clearing kick, tumbling punt towards half back, falls to the front. Anderson rides the Guthrie tackle. The umpire says held in. Pretty quick to put the whistle to mouth.
He certainly was. Good set up by Geelong behind the ball. North are under pressure to try and clear the ball. It's again being played in the front half for the Cats.
So the ball to the side, Goldstein, just a little toe poke. Duncan's handball was too fierce for Stengel. Dangerfield's handball back to Atkins, to Stanley, off a step, kick was smothered, goes across half forward, Cam Guthrie again, who's bought his own footy in the third term. Handball to Duncan, past Atkins though. Now Blitzarves, Anderson, rode the bump and got it to Larkey. His kick out wide, might be okay, it is on centre wing, and taking the mark is Curtis.
Paul Curtis gives a handball off to Stevenson. He gave it back to Curtis. His handball that was intended over the top for Taylor was knocked away by Holmes. Holmes fires a handball to Stanley. O'Connor then a handball over the top. Chance now for the Cats.
Great hands.
There was a wonderful handball. Rowan opening up Dangerfield. He sends it wide, and Cameron, on the juggle marks. Gee, he took that very casually and was able to knock it to his own advantage. And we'll have a shot at goal. He'll step out on the left from 45 metres. Has he got enough purchase? No. They don't come off all the time. I know he's a very good exponent at it, but unless you get full purchase on the kick, they won't have the carry as you kick around the corner. And the margin is 38. 9-9-63, North Melbourne 4-1-25. Jeremy Cameron with 1 goal 1.
So Stevenson feigned to go long and goes short to McDonald, who comes back to Stevenson in the goal square, to Core, who's in the opposite back pocket. So the right back pocket short to Curtis Taylor.
Jace, here's that short game that he hasn't kicked it far enough. He's in stride.
So Davies Uniac had to get the handball away. Holmes put the pressure on him. Cause short little kick. Well, that was the same as the one that they didn't call for Davies Uniac. But they've held it up, and Young has taken the mark at defensive 50. He chips the ball back. Hayden Core getting plenty of the football. Deep 50 has taken another mark. Still, he goes back to Young, so they're still in the goal square pretty much. He chips it over the top, and 7 possessions later they're with Josh Walker in the opposite back pocket.
Walker, he just chips one over the top and finds Stevenson, who's got it in the left back pocket, but a heck of a long way from home. And now he's just going to have to hit and hope down the line. Looking down there for a fly, big fly, but no mark reeled in there by Zerha, and the Cats at ground level have got it. Quick kick inside forward 50, and Basina Villani down low has taken the mark.
So just to make that point, King, it's currently 202 disposals to Geelong, 200 to North Melbourne. Inside 50s are 38-17.
Yeah, well, Basina Villani confronted by Hawkins after being called to play on. Handball off to McDonald. McDonald just checks a kick to Greenwood. Greenwood's got it between the back edge of the centre square and the centre circles. He goes short to McDonald, who presented forward, and the young veteran goes wide, and he finds out there Taylor, or rather Curtis. Curtis kicks now to half forward, and Anderson, good mark. That's a good strong grab in front of Buse, who was coming hard with a fist, and the former Hawk has held on nicely. His sister Janome was drafted during the week. Kick inside 50 was smothered, but fell for Simpkin, who gives a handball back to Anderson. Anderson mishit the kick, and it's straight onto the chest of Jack Marnie, and luck is a fortune there for the Kangaroos. That wasn't Anderson's intention, but Marnie, standing in front, marked the ball that went about 18 metres, and will go back and have a shot on a much-needed goal for the Kangaroos.
Just real hard work for them, isn't it, to get the ball forward. They have to work to get in there, and they're over-possessing the footy, but let's hope, for North Melbourne's point of view, he kicks the goal.
A kick from around 40, Jack Marnie sends it on its way and has done the job. Nice finish for the Kangaroos. They kick their fifth, they're 5-1-31. Geelong at 9-9-63, the margin is 32. You can't question the effort of the Roos, it's just the talent is outweighing.
Yeah, absolutely. They're a really young side. They're an inexperienced side. They don't have many older, experienced AFL players out there, so it's going to be a long time before they get their way up the ladder. To their credit, Tom, they're sticking to the plan that they've got. So they've decided, right, we're going to just deny Geelong possession of the footy. It might take us time to get forward, but when we do, let's see if we can take our opportunities. And they're going okay at that.
So back in the middle. Finished by Jack Marnie there, his first of the evening, and margin back to 32. Cherry with an X in the ruck, and Stanley, umpire, puts the ball into the turf, and Cherry tries to take it out of the ruck contest, and it's coming back. So Cherry gets up a bit gingerly as well from that.
Stanley made the most of
Stanley tackle.
Putting some body on there.
He did. So the umpire throws the ball in the air this time. Stanley, or Falcons, gets it in the head. Narkle on hands and knees. Anderson over the top of him. Menegola as well. The umpire will come in. And we'll have another ball up.
They're keen to have as many secondary stoppages as they can, North Melbourne, aren't they?
And they get another one here. And Cherry, Anderson wrapped up. Guthrie tries to take the ball away. Narkle puts the tackle on. They double team, but another ball up in the middle. 9-9-63. The Cats, they lead the Kangas 5-1-31.
Cherry front position, won the tap down, but Cam Guthrie's going to pounce on the loose footy. Kick on his non-preferred left towards left half forward. Rolling ball. Cameron tracking it. Just saw it bounce nicely for him. Confronted in the tackle, but got a handball away to Stengel. Below his knees was outstanding. Handball up. Smith to the pocket, to the big bosom of Hawkins, who marks about 43 from goal. Barely went 15 that kick, but the umpire was happy to pay the mark. But the work of Cameron and the pickup down low by Stengel was...
And Kingy, the ability of the players these days, Cameron on that occasion, to be tackled, be falling to ground and still be able to handball the footy and get it to your intended target is really impressive.
We're right behind this one, but it's a tough ask for Tom Hawkins. Works against his power fade. He'd have to start at left-hand goalpost and have a lot of things go right. He'll kick from about 47. He sends it on its way and he kicks the goal! Left-hand goalpost. It's got his fourth. So after going goalless last week, Tom Hawkins has got 4 tonight and 40 for the season. 10-9-69, the Cats back out by 38. North Melbourne 5-1-31. A contender for a Lammy's Tavern goal of the night.
Yeah, terrific shot for goal by Tom Hawkins. As you said, we had a terrific view of that right over his shoulder as he kicked that footy. Kangaroos getting, I think they had 3 stoppages in a row in the middle of the ground, but they still allowed Geelong eventually to hit it to the outside. Guthrie's hands to get out. They were tremendous, and we made mention of how good Cameron and Stengel were in that contest. Again, the weight of numbers. Tom Hawkins much better when he leads at the kicker, Jace.
King, you said that big bosom. He was never going to drop that mark.
No, he's not.
Right there.
He's wrapped that footy up.
He has, and he kicked his 4th of the evening.
My only concern is the bladder in the Sherrin would pop if it hit that bosom hard enough.
Blitzar's having a run of the ruck now against Cherry.
I think Potter's got a joke about that as well.
Yeah, don't go there. Ball. Atkins goes past it. Davies Uniac. He gets the kick, slips as he gets it away. Fortuitously towards Anderson. Ripped off the football by Dangerfield. Goes to Duncan in number 2, game 250. Out to Danger. Gets the one hand. His kick was smothered well by Taylor. Ball on hands and knees. Larkey gets it on the up to Taylor. He goes towards half forward. Tracking it back is Tui. Gets it to Henry, to Menegola. Tried to draw a player. They got it to Tui again. And he's running away. He gets the ball on the inside. Now off the step, Atkins.
Atkins sending it long. Not a great kick over the head of Walker and Hawkins. Bouncing ball. Walker dived on it. Was able to get a handball on the up to Simpkin, who juggled it and then time to recover. Turned on his right boot and kicked towards Josh Conway. And it's marked on the chest by Curtis Taylor. Best seats in the house thanks to Epco Cafe 24/7 in Bordeaux with a kick on the bounce. Did McDonald no favours, and it's a throw. And Gary Rowan pounced on him like Pac-Man. And he'll kick inside forward 51 in Cameron, but going back with the flight on the juggle. Stevenson, judging it best, has taken the mark. The one-time rising star.
He's been okay back, believe it or not, Kingy.
And he's found a little home there. And then a short kick, Messina Villani finds Davies Uniac. Davies Uniac will go across the face of his defensive goal back to Stevenson, and Stevenson will look to open up the broadcast side. Sends a kick towards half back. It's a well-weighted kick onto the chest of Curtis Taylor, who hits the ground running with a handball inboard. Lazaro confronted and dumped by Blitzarves, and that's holding the ball. Just had nowhere to go. And Blitzarves wins himself a free kick.
It was interesting in front of him, Ben McKay. He's that trial of going from defender to forward for 2 weeks. He's only had 1 disposal this evening.
Short kick from Blitzarves goes to Menegola, called to play on. Kick off a step inside 50. Hawkins comes out again, tries to tap it towards Stengel, gets it 55 out from goal. Lateral kick across, pink punch away Goldstein. Cameron just leaves it, tap back towards him. Now out towards Isaac Smith across 50. He tries to tap it back as well towards Cameron. Gets the handball away under pressure in the tackle and close to the boundary line. And Greenwood happy to see it over 55 from the Cats' goal.
Bit messy there. A little bit, I'm not
fancy.
sure. Yeah, a little bit too cute in the wet conditions.
Just play the territory game. You lead by 38 points. Don't need to do anything spectacular. Melbourne to come on Thursday night. What should be a cracker on K-Rock footy from 6 o'clock. 1v2 it'll be. Tap down Goldstein roving. Narkle freed the arms to get a handball to Myers, but under pressure from another former Falcon in Lazaro. Lost the ball, but only into the path of Cameron. Looped a handball over the top. Close, tight in the pocket. Comes across the face of goal. Now, he was dumped after he got rid of the kick, I think, according to the umpire. And as a result, there will be a free kick for the Cats. Left of centre. Now, who have they decided to give this one to? It might be Sam Menegola, which will excite Dave Collins no end. 25 out from goal. Just left of the corridor, Sam Menegola. And his third game back after, of course, a knee issue that restricted him in the first half of the season. He will put the Cats out, you would suspect, by 44 points. Comes in, sends it on its way, and has not kicked through it. In doing so, has pushed it to the right. Minor score, disappointing miss. Dave Collins, once again, is vindicated in his dislike for the number 27.
The Kangaroos play on quickly from fullback out to Stevenson, who goes up the ground. Anderson front and centre was good. Got it inside to Simpkin. Lop dropped the ball in the tackle. Comes back the other way. Atkins looking for somebody. Puts Tui under pressure. Gives it towards Kolajasny. Swivels the hips. Gets out of trouble. Goes towards centre half forward. Cameron meets it. Duncan front and centre was great.
Hands.
Got it towards Myers, but Lazaro chopped it off. Then he gets wrapped up and you get a push in the back. The umpire said play on. Still inside 50 for the Cats. Comes back to Smith. Heard the call of Zach Guthrie. 45 metres out. Open goal square. Zach Guthrie. Lambie's 7th goal in a contender off the side of the pack. And puts his first on the board of the evening. And Geelong's 11th, 11-10-76. They lead North Melbourne 5-1-31. Harvey Norman, K-Rock, third quarter scoreboard.
It's almost like we're seeing the game just be repeated, Jace. North Melbourne are winning the disposal and they're back 50, but they go to get it out and it's just come straight back at them and they're trying to over-possess the ball. So Geelong have got a really good structure behind the footy. It's not being broken through at the moment. And, 39 points, what are we at? 45 points. That's a really, really good lead by the Cats, obviously. Now, those inside 50s that we're keeping an eye on, it's 45-18. This has the potential of being a monstrous blowout from here.
The Kerrs Hire, your local hire company since 1982, 100% locally owned and operated in Geelong. Around the grounds for Leopold Sporties. Collingwood, 47, lead the Gold Coast Suns at 39. So, close one taking place at Metricon Stadium for two teams fighting for a spot inside the top 8. Bounce for Goldstein and Stanley to go at it again. They look at each other and then Stanley won the tap down and Dangerfield heading to the pace and away he goes again. High ball inside forward 50. Where's Hawkins? Where's Cameron? Well done, Walker coming across the front of the pack. It just set up nicely for him to come off the side, spoil and knock it out of bounds into the right forward pocket at the Northern or Foo Fighters end of GMHBA Stadium. Geelong by 45, third quarter, thanks to Harvey Norman, Tom King, Jason Doherty, Mark Neal, Josh Conway, bringing you all the action from the home of the Cats. Goldstein, Hawkins in the ruckwork. Goldstein won the tap down. Dangerfield, was he held without it there by Powell? Umpire said play on as he went for the footy. He socketed off the ground while sort of laying on the ground, but only as far as McDonald, who clears towards half back to a one-on-one. He's knocked to ground, but only into the path of Tui. Tui lowered the eyes beautifully into the pocket and Stengel is marked. Maybe too far out to score, man on the mark, 49 from goal. So he wants to find another option now. He's best to just sit this up to about 15 or 20 out from goal, Neil, you'd suspect now.
Yeah, absolutely. We would like not to see one of those long points, Kingy.
Well, he goes short into the pocket because Cameron is all alone, unmarked. Don't know how you let that happen. Yeah, well, he came out on the J-curve here, Jeremy Cameron. The last time that he did that with a snap around the body, he just didn't get the purchase, but didn't have much time to think about that one. This time he's got the ability to think his way through it, although the way he's setting himself up might be for more. Your drop punt does suit the left boot in the right forward pocket for Jeremy Cameron. He's got one tonight. He gets close to the man on the mark. He sends it on its way and he kicks it beautifully and he kicks a goal. He's got 2 and the Cats are now out all of a sudden by 51 points and putting some hurt on the Kangaroos. 12-10-82. Playing 5-1-31, third quarter of K-Rock football, thanks to Harvey Norman. Think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices. Jeremy Cameron now with 44 goals for the season, and I think one behind Charlie Curnow.
Just really smart play by Stengel. Kingy, we were thinking he might go long to the top of the goal square and give the big boys a chance to run onto it and compete. When he looked up, the majority of the North Melbourne players had actually made their way into Geelong's forward 50, and he waited for Cameron to move into that space, and it just kicked it at the very last second. So really smart play by Stengel, and again an outstanding shot for goal. We've seen 2 this quarter by the big Geelong forwards, one by Hawkins on this side of the ground and then Jeremy Cameron on the far side.
He's had 18 disposals now, Jeremy Cameron. 9 marks, 9 handballs, 9 kicks, 9 handballs, and 5 marks.
Good night's work.
Good night's work so far, and 2 goals to the number 5 as well. Stanley in the middle, got it down. Dangerfield breaks free from a couple, tried to get the handball away, did to Rowan, and he goes with a kick to Stengel, 50 out. They're motoring now, the Cats. He wants to wheel and go. He chips the ball over the top, and here he is again. And Jeremy Cameron runs straight into Cam Guthrie, who was standing there as well. He picked him up off the ground and said, sorry, mate. And he's taken mark number 6 and will shoot for goal from 40 out, 45-degree angle.
Great ball. The strength of Dangerfield. He was tackled by 2 or 3 players and then still managed to find Gary Rowan on the burst. So perfect handball.
So Cameron for 2 in a minute, and his 3rd of the evening. He comes in now. Much easier kick for goal this time, and he has sprayed it. And see that a bit, don't you, Neely, sometimes? The easier kick, 2 goals, 2 for Jeremy Cameron.
Yeah, you certainly do. And Ben Mackay, I think David Noble's had enough of the experiment forward. He's been there for a game and a half. He's now gone back.
Stevenson, short, barely went 15 to core, so he's called to play on, and he goes across the face of goal into the right back pocket to McDonald. But this has been the way for the Kangaroos for most of the night, just hemmed into their defensive half of the ground. He'll go wide to Anderson, who marks just inside defensive 50. That was a good kick. That just releases a bit of action on the outer side. He has a bounce that skids back to him, and he sends a kick long towards the wing, but off the hands of the pack. Buse gave it to O'Connor, who gave a handball to Stanley, gave a handball to Buse. Buse gets a nice little block from O'Connor and then tucks it under the arm, gets through 2 Kangaroos in Goldstein and Cherry, and then bounces and kicks to half forward. Dangerfield worked his opponent Anderson under the ball. Mackay found the loose footy, released a handball forward to Anderson. Anderson over the top. Davies Uniacke, and they're away the Kangaroos.
He goes back inside with the kick. Dangerous though, and Atkins filled the space between Goldstein and also Curtis, and then he got the ball out.
Oh no.
And the ball came from Holmes. He turned the ball over back towards centre wing. Kolajasny tracks it, going to get wrapped up, chicken wing tackle, but he got it away. Duncan just holds the ball up. Now Holmes, short little kick, and they reset. No 15, said the umpire. Tui back in board is good, and he finds Stanley with the ball. He has to go back off the mark now because North Melbourne have set up behind the footy. And now he's going to be able to drive it long, the big ruckman.
Back of the centre circles, but he sends it very, very wide. Sam Menegola will have to wait for it to pitch and bounce, and he's confronted by Anderson with a really, really good tackle. He's able to shrug off Anderson in the end. Now he's under pressure from Spicer, but getting a kick inside forward 50, and Hawkins is marked. I think he's got a new opponent, Hawkins. I think Mackay is gone to him for Wombat Gully Plant Farm, so I suspect maybe Walker rolling forward potentially.
Now,
or is Walker gone?
Now, Walker's got Rowan. It's just, I don't know if it's a permanent change, Kingy. There was a lot of movement behind the ball with Geelong players leading in different directions, so it was a crossover. And you saw the difference when he was caught one-on-one with Mackay compared to getting caught one-on-one with Josh Walker. But he's actually lining up for his 5th goal, Tomahawk.
Yes, this for a handful on a Saturday night. 12-11 playing 5-1 can become 13-11. He got close to the man on the mark, but that doesn't matter. He's got 5, Tom Hawkins. Now his career high is 7, and that is very much in the offing with more than a quarter to play. 13-11-89 Geelong, North Melbourne of 5-1-31 at the 21-minute mark of the 3rd quarter. Port Phillip Ferries time clock. Port Phillip Ferries. There's no better way to travel. Port Arlington and Geelong to Docklands.
Well, the Kangaroos gave a reasonable account of themselves in the first half by work rate, getting across, trying to use their outnumber, and they slowed the game down when they had the footy by the chip work. At the moment, they're just, it looks like they're almost out on their feet out here at the moment. Geelong are doing whatever they please with the footy. Inside 50s continue to be an enormous issue. 49 Cats, 18 North Melbourne.
Nildy, David Noble is down here at bench side just doing some live coaching. He's using the monitor pretty frequently with the players who are coming off, just trying to get in their ear, but it's very animated down there. They're not looking too happy at the moment, the Kangas.
No, that's a tough spot.
So back to the middle. Stanley back in the ruck against Cherry. Atkins. And Davies Uniacke wraps him up straight away. Ball spills free. Atkins tried to bring it back in. Then he tried to pull it out. Anderson got held on to. Now blitz halves to Guthrie. Cam goes towards close at half forward. Got a bit of space to wheel and go. 50 out. Tries to drill the ball. Cameron! Good mark. Hamlin hanger contender from Jeremy Cameron. He had to be very strong there. Aidan Call was right in his back pocket. And he took the mark and will shoot for goal from 40 out. And he's going to wheel around, I think, on the J, as he's become known, or no, maybe he's going back on the traditional runway. He's kicked 2 goals, 2 this evening, Jeremy Cameron. He's going to line up from 40 out, 45-degree angle in the right forward pocket for the Cats. He comes in now, traditional left foot kick. He wants to go on the J-curve anymore, I think, because he's missed that well and truly to the near side. 2 goals, 3. His personal tally, 13-12-90. The Cats, the Kangas, 5-1-31. Harvey Norman, Krock, third quarter scoreboard.
Stevenson with the kicking duties this time goes short to Core as Rowan went to close him down. He gave a handball back very quickly to Core. Stevenson wrapped up by Rowan. Handball back to Core. Core on the outside of the right boot has put it onto the chest of Cameron. Couldn't complete the mark. Found it at ground level. No, he gave away a free kick but too high to Messina Villani.
Just got frustrated. King didn't take the mark. He was giving away the free kick.
Across the face of goal, Messina Villani to the former Cat and Lion in Walker, who won't be getting a Brownlow medal vote tonight, I wouldn't have thought, Jace. Nice try, though.
No, it was a good try, though.
Right back pocket, tucks under the arm. Call to play on and drives into our best seats in the house. Rapco Cafe 24/7. Cherry, Spoil Stanley, front of the pack, Simpkin for North Melbourne. He's taken by Atkins and Blitzarves and going nowhere. And at left half forward for the Cats. We'll get a ball up. 23 3/4 minutes gone on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock in this third quarter. Geelong 90, North Melbourne 31.
Goldstein gets it down Guthrie. The side of the pack, Powell. Handball back to Jed Anderson off a step at half back inside the centre square. Zach Guthrie tracks it back. Can't take it. Tui just popped the footy up. Beautiful blind turn. Got the handball back as well. He kicks it back 20 metres to O'Connor, who takes the mark back into the centre square at centre half back. He wants to switch the ball to Duncan, who takes the mark. And he chips over the top to Tui, who'd worked from the centre square to centre wing. He chips to Narkle. He's called to play on and kick towards Stanley. Goes up, off hands, can't take it. Blitzarves comes the other way. Anderson to Simpkin. Oh, a bit of candy. Did nicely. Then he gets in the way. But it's okay to Goldstein, who takes the mark on centre wing.
Right in front of Josh Conway, who's down boundary side for us this evening, thanks to Lifeline. Chip over the top by Goldstein, who marks, and Simpkin has got it right at the interchange gates. 25 minutes approaching, and the quarter dominated by the Cats. They've kicked 5 goals. The Kangaroos 1. So the Kangaroos have only kicked the 2 goals since quarter time. Long ball along the line wasn't a great kick, and Blitzarves gobbled it up, or rather Stanley gobbled it up quite comfortably. Goes laterally to centre half back onto the chest of a teammate marking, and that's Cameron working hard to help out.
Highest disposal winner for the Cats, Jeremy Cameron.
Kick to the middle, wanted Narkle, wasn't a great kick, spoiled by Anderson into the path of Core. Handball came from Taylor. Now a chance for Davey Gignac, wonderful smother by Buse. Ball spilled, and the underground handball for North Melbourne. He's only going to throw as Tui. A little step, just a part of Durr out of the contest that hit Dangerfield with a kick, and then Blitzarve sends it long. Rowan hit the ground, 45 out, chip to the goal square, close or mark, and kick a goal. Wonderful from the Cats, and it all started with the Fred Astaire-like footwork of Zach Tui, somehow just removing himself from a perilous position inside the North Melbourne forward 50. He just said, I'm just going to take a little step back. You can do what you like. I'm going to set things up. The kick to Dangerfield, the ball movement to Rowan. Rowan was great, and then the kick into the path of Close, who kicks his second of the night. And the Cats now lead by 65, and that's Geelong at their best, Neody.
Certainly is, King. End-to-end stuff from back 50 to front 50, and then Close kicks a goal right on the line. As you said, Zach Tui's had a couple of good moments in the last 5 minutes, contested ball wins, and he's been able to not only win the ball but then use his strength to get away from the contest, and he's used to the footy. That's a 45, 50 metre bullet pass, if you like, that hit Dangerfield. A really good play. Gary Rowan's adding something tonight, gents, I reckon, with his speed and attack on the footy.
Neildy, Jake Colindagny down into the rooms. Landed heavily a couple of minutes ago. Sean Higgins getting some work done, ready to warm up.
So thanks, Josh. So John of God there. Injury update downstairs. Narkle gets the ball from the ruck contest, tried to shuffle the handball out.
He did drag it in.
He did drag it in the first time. So free kick to North Melbourne, and they get it away. Davies Uniacke under pressure. Back to McDonald. His handball out towards Young on centre wing. Goes wide, and Goldstein takes the mark in between wing and half forward. Hickey stands side, drives it long inside 50. Stanley, though, his opposite number. Easy mark taken And he wants to switch the play to the goal square is okay till he takes it.
Till he does, and he'll bring a broadcast side. Duncan has got Blitzars further along the line. If he wants him, it sets up, but it gets there in time before Greenwood, who I must say has been a disappointment since coming from the Gold Coast for the Kangaroos. He goes short to Zach Guthrie. Zach Guthrie to the wing to Isaac Smith, who's got it. Maybe just slightly back of the wing, the former Hawk, and he goes short to Cam Guthrie, who's having some sort of night for Kerrs Hire. Call to play on. He now gives a handball back over the top to Isaac Smith. They're toying with him at the moment. Duncan loops a handball, receives a handball from Smith. He can go back to Smith if he likes. Duncan instead comes inboard. Narkles mark 49 from goal. Distance would test him. Duncan's just cruising past, maybe looking for a goal in game 250, but won't find one there. Isaac Smith is also there, sort of loitering with intent. And now Narkle. He needs to set this up because there's only one thing that can possibly happen here, and it'd be a long point. Hope to be proven wrong. Steps out from 52 metres out, sends it on its way. Oh, I tell you, he's kicked a goal. I've gone the reverse, Moz, and I got it right again. Quinton Narkle with a nice long ball for a Lambie's Tavern goal of the night contender. And all of a sudden, the Cats, that is 71 points in the advantage now on the third quarter K-Rock Harvey Norman scoreboard. 15-12, 102. North Melbourne 5-1-31. He got every piece of that Quinton Narkle, and he was accurate.
He certainly was.
Was he the only one in the house who thought he was going to kick it?
Well, yes, it would appear so. But, hey, self-awareness is a great characteristic. He knew that he had the distance, unlike Tom, but that's all right.
I knew he had the distance. I just said it'd be a long point.
Right, yes, you did. But anyway, you were wrong. But that's good.
Again.
No. You've got to have a go at these things.
Two for Quinton Narkle, by the way.
Yeah, he's been okay. But as you're right, North Melbourne are exhausted, Kingy, so Geelong are getting away with things that they wouldn't otherwise get away with. It's been a big quarter where they kicked 5 goals in the second quarter, so they've kicked 7 goals this quarter. That's consistent attack by the Cats. Those inside 50s. Imagine playing a North Melbourne backline. It's currently 52 inside 50s to 20.
Wow. Back to the middle. Stanley up against Cherry. Greenwood just handed it over to Davies Uniacke, who goes with a wobbly right foot kick inside. Henry just has to sit under that and take the chest mark. And read that to better. His kick across to Duncan, just outside the goal square. Getting a round of applause too at the southern end of the ground for game 250, Mitch Duncan. His kick towards Guthrie. They went too early, but Guthrie picked it up as the siren sounds for three-quarter time. It was the Cats' quarter. And they're 15-12, 102. They lead North Melbourne 5-1, 31 at three-quarter time.
71-point Geelong advantage. They are all over the Kangaroos. They kicked 7 goals to 1 in that third term and are well on their way to win number 11 of season 2022 and picking up some handy percentage along the way ahead of a clash with the Kangaroos, which will be 1v2. And they're just showing David Noble on the big screen. And there's a man under pressure at the moment, unfortunately, at Arden Street as his team's about to head for another loss. 71 points the margin. It's Geelong 102, North Melbourne 31. Back shortly. Thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7. We've got you. Live, breathe. K-Rock footy.
Thanks to our number one ticket holder, APCO. Fueled by APCO Cafe 24/7.
It takes years of commitment, determination, and more than a bit of intelligence to become fluent in another language. Unfortunately, Tom, Lingy and Loggy possess none of those traits. Until you add fried chicken to the equation. Then it's less linguistics and more winguistics. The stakes are thigh high each Wednesday morning as we give away a clockload of delicious gourmet chicken and beer. All you have to do is translate the song lyric using your powers of winguistics. Winger, chicken dinger. Tom, Lingy and Loggies. Winguistics. It's a skill you never knew you needed until just this very moment. Gourmet Chicken and Beers Daily Happy Hour. $3 beers from 3 to 6 p.m.
It's on now. Harvey Norman Bedding's Australian-made mattress floor stock clearance. This is the time to get an amazing bargain on discontinued floor stock mattresses. Shop from all of our big-name brands like Sleepmaker, Sealy and King Coil. Upgrade your old mattress and save with amazing bargains on floor stock mattresses. The Australian-made mattress floor stock clearance at Harvey Norman Bedding now. Easy parking at 2 Geelong locations, Princes Highway, Corio and Warn Ponds.
Hamlin Homes, proudly Geelong's largest locally owned and operated builder. Distinctively familiar with the region's lifestyles, landscapes and suppliers. Distinctive in history, having served the local area since 1983. Distinctive in our ongoing commitment to the local community. Distinctive in design, taking inspiration from the local environment to create beautifully unique homes that reflect our clients' aspirations. Hamlin Homes, distinctively local. Hamlin.com.au.
Why does APCO Cafe 24/7 coffee taste so good? It's the ingredients and care in every cup. It's our signature blend Gigante beans and fresh pure milk. Our beans are specialty roasted with milk textured until silky smooth for an award-winning cup of coffee. And this month at APCO Cafe 24/7, you could win free coffee for a year. Just buy a cup of barista-made coffee to enter. Win free coffee for a year at APCO Cafe 24/7. We've got you.
KFC's 20 for $20 gets you 10 of these and 10 of them. That's 10 original tenders, yum, and 10 nuggets, double yum, plus dipping sauces to share. It's not everywhere and not forever, so stop by KFC today. Pick up only.
Hi, I'm Patrick Dangerfield. When you're on the highway to the danger zone, make sure it's in a Rex Gorell new or used car. Rex Gorell just can't be beaten. They top the ladder when it comes to range, service, value and quality. So you'll only get the best when you buy your car from Rex Gorell. Family owned and committed to Geelong. Do what I've done. Join the winning team at Rex Gorell.
Rex Gorell, Fyan Street on the Trobe Terrace, Geelong. Visit rexgorell.com.au. LMCTs 1308 8349.
Searching for Geelong's biggest bargains underfoot? See Harvey Norman Flooring now. Whatever you want to walk on, hybrid and timber flooring, laminates, carpets and a wide selection of rugs, there's so much choice and styles to suit every home and budget. And Harvey Norman's team of flooring experts will help you every step of the way. Great service, a great price and the right advice. Harvey Norman, your flooring experts. Easy parking at 2 locations, Princess Highway, Corio and Warn Ponds.
At home, on the work site, in the office, there are some big cleaning problems you just don't want to deal with.
Don't panic. Call Steamatic.
Steamatic has real solutions to your cleaning problems. Graffiti removal, kitchen canopy cleaning, blasting services or the big industrial jobs, they're equipped to handle it all. Steamatic, a standout job every time and on standby when you need them most.
Don't panic. Call Steamatic.
Essington Street, Grovedale. Visit steamaticgeelong.com.au.
Why does APCO Cafe 24/7 coffee taste so good? It's the ingredients and care in every cup. It's our signature blend Gigante beans and fresh pure milk. Our beans are specialty roasted with milk textured until silky smooth for an award-winning cup of coffee. And this month at APCO Cafe 24/7, you could win free coffee for a year. Just buy a cup of barista-made coffee to enter. Win free coffee for a year at APCO Cafe 24/7. We've got you.
If shopping local is important to you, try the Sandman's Geelong made mattresses. They're some of the best money can buy. These 2-sided mattresses are so comfy and made to outlast any other. Plus, with a huge range of timber and fabric bedroom furniture and caravan mattresses, at the Sandman, you're spoiled for choice. With free delivery and mattress removal, sleep better with the Sandman. Visit the huge Grovedale showroom with lots of easy parking or shop online at sandman.com.au.
Hello, it's Jamie and Erin from Wombat Gully Plant Farm Geelong.
Dad, footy is on.
Okay, Erin, but I've got to tell everyone that just like a footy team, Wombat Gully Plant Farm are here to go the extra mile. Stick to the plan, have fun, work together and give it our best shot so your garden can be the greatest garden of all.
Dad, you sound just like a coach.
Oh, thanks, Erin. Now, whose turn is it to do the dishes?
Not me. I'm still on the bench, Dad.
Right. So see you soon at Wombat Gully Plant Farm.
201 Townsend Road, Moollap.
Harvey Norman, your premium Optus dealer. Get the Samsung Galaxy S22 128 gigs for $0 up front when you connect to a new Optus $69 per month SIM-only plan for 24 months. Offer ends 3rd July. Minimum cost $1,656. Not available with other offers. In-store only. Cancellation fees apply. Visit hn.com.au/Optus-BYO for terms and conditions and information about Optus 5G network coverage. Easy parking at 2 great locations, Corio and Warn Ponds.
Hitting G-Town after the game? You know where you're going to end up, don't you? Lammies. So why not start the night strong? There's nothing that's more iconically Geelong than our very own Lammy Sesh. Get your weekly dose of great tunes all night long. Give yourself something to talk about Monday. And remember, never, ever lamb alone. Lammy's Tavern, open from 9 p.m. every Friday to Sunday, with free entry before 10 p.m. Lammy's, you know where to go.
Thanks to our number one ticket holders, ABCO. Fueled by ABCO Cafe 24/7.
Final quarter action underway and the Cats are inside forward 50, a boundary throw in with Geelong looking to add some further hurt to this 71-point lead that they've opened up on the Kangaroos. The old-fashioned can of whoop-ass, as Benny Cass would like to describe it. From the boundary throw in, Blitzar's picking it up, stumbling, handball to Menegola. Menegola, a left foot snap, Menegola a goal. So Davey Collins' man, Sim Menegola, kicks a very nice left foot snap goal from 30 metres out. And the Cats now lead by 77, 16-12, 108. North Melbourne 5-131. Final quarter thanks to ABCO Cafe 24/7. We've got you.
Just continuing on the way that's been in the second and third quarters there, Jace. Really good ball movement by the Cats once again. Slightly distracted, Kingy. I think there's a fair bit going on down in the K-Rock box. People seem to be enjoying themselves.
In the corporate suite.
Is it what's called? The corporate suite. Well, sorry for that. It used to be a box, but now it's a corporate suite. Well, they're having a great time down there.
Is that your other wheel from the
Herbie,
Josh and Neildy show?
That's it. The person made famous in the Herbie, Josh and Neildy show is just sending me some pictures, and everything seems to be going swimmingly in the corporate suite.
Might be visiting Lamoise later.
Well,
never lamb alone.
Well,
never lamb alone.
Right, hang on. What's happening here?
Back to the middle. Stanley goes up, gets it down. Dangerfield trying to tap back towards Blitzarves, who puts the tackle on as well. The umpire will come in. Secondary bounce.
Chase, Sean Higgins about to be activated as the sub. Colin Dajany subbed out with concussion concerns.
All right, thanks, Josh. St John O'God injury update there. Colin Dajany with concussion, so Sean Higgins to come on. Still in the middle of the ground. Smith tried to get it out. And Blitzarves, Davies Uniacke as well as there. The umpire's letting it go. Ball still in dispute. He'll have to come in and ball it up now. He will. And we'll have a third bounce in the middle. Geelong 16-12, 108. North Melbourne 5-1-31. And we in the ABCO Cafe 24/7 final quarter for K-Rock football.
Thank you, Jason Doherty. Stanley winning the tap down to Atkins. Beautiful hands off towards Smith. Smith snaps a kick inside forward 50 to a 1-on-1. Hawkins with the one hand against Mackay. Couldn't mark. Mackay lost the footy in a Hawkins tackle. Hawkins came again, dived on the footy, got to release it now. It's knocked from his grasp. Chance here for the Kangaroos. McDonald, Rowan and Close both conspire to bring him to ground, and we'll get a ball up about 40 metres out from the Cats' goal. Attacking the Southern or Belmont Watchhouse end in this final term of K-Rock football. Hawkins just fisting it into space. Walker was there for the Kangaroos, couldn't take it. Stengel ready to pounce, couldn't get the ball in his grasp. Anderson is there working hard, so is Dangerfield. Now it spills out the side door. Davies Uniacke, Simpkin, lost by Stevenson, Isaac Smith, handball off somehow to Blitzarves, to Atkins, to Cameron. Cameron tight in the pocket, has kicked it from here before. Not this time, has missed to the near side. Through for a minor score. I've got 2 goals for Jeremy Cameron this evening. So an opportunity to take the lead in the Coleman going begging for the superstar Cat, and the margin is 78, 16-13, 109. North Melbourne 5-1-31.
Stevenson with the footy at fullback for North Melbourne. Elects to go Werribee Street side of the ground. Gives it as much as he can in front. No mark taken by Larky. Ball back. Buse has to track it back. Gets wrapped up. Durhar put the tackle on. Guthrie, Zach got a push in the back. Umpire said play on. And it will now be a ball up just forward of centre wing for the Kangaroos.
Umpire puts it into the air. Stanley grabs it out of the ruck and just fires a handball indiscriminately forward. First onto it is Stevenson, who's wrapped up by Stengel. And Stengel hasn't had the influence on the contest. And I think Stevenson for Wombat Gully Plant Farm can be commended for his effort tonight, Neildy.
Absolutely, King. He's been really good, stuck at his task all evening.
Socket off the ground by Simpkin, went about 8 metres, picked up by Buse, who ran into a 2-man tackle. Cherry, one of those, bringing him to ground. And we will get a ball up. So, once again, North Melbourne just happy for stoppage after stoppage, limit the damage. Margin is 78. Knocked down by Stanley against Cherry. Here's Atkins bulking his way through, able to jam it on his boot, went about 8 metres, and Core tried to claim a mark, said no, umpire, the play on call comes, and his kick goes straight down the chest of Dangerfield, who has been solid, if not but not spectacular in his return.
And he plays on, gets a shepherd and goes long from centre wing to centre half forward. Cameron has to stand. Walker comes across the front and takes the mark. And that defensive 50 chips the ball to Lazaro. Takes the mark uncontested. Broadcast side. And it goes back to Stevenson, who takes it. And called to play on and goes to the outer side, looking for Cherry. Good mark in front of Stanley. Ain't got a shove
that
as well.
That might be 50.
And he's lucky, I tell you, Reece Stanley.
61-47. Gold Coast lead Collingwood 11 minutes into the last.
Wow. Is that right?
Jeez. Cherry. Short. Stevenson takes the mark. Still on centre wing. He drives it inside, chopped off, has happened plenty of times tonight. Atkins takes the mark.
Handball off to Tui, who tucks it under the arm, runs his full measure, and then kicks it for space for Blitzars. What a wonderfully weighted ball. Stengel's in the pocket, handball off, he'll step out, snap, and kick from 25, and goal. He's got 2, which is what you'd expect, because that's what he's averaging a game. He's now got 31 for the season, Tyson Stengel. What a great return from a great pickup for the Cats off-season. And the margin is now 84 points. 14 goals. Geelong 17-13, 115. North Melbourne 5-1-31. And Laurie Hill at 15 goals nearest the pin style is very, very close to getting the job done tonight.
Had a big weekend, Laurie Hill.
73 yesterday.
Birthday, basketball, football, joke telling. He's done it all.
Garmy
this week. Garmy chicken. Outstanding performance by the pothole. Gee, footy can be pretty cruel. Stevenson made all the play, then he got involved 3 or 4 times. His errant kick came at about the 4th disposal and then gets turned over. Really good work by Tom Atkins, who comes from St Joseph's Football Club, as we know. And he cut that off, and then Tui's work to find Blitzarves and then on to Stengel. Oh, he's in trouble here. What's happened there?
North Melbourne, 666 rule. So a warning to Todd Goldstein. So the umpire throws the ball in the air. Stanley gets it down. Guthrie, Cam, the outside of the right foot towards inside 50. Hawkins tried to tap it on towards Higgins, who's on the ground, as Josh Conway told us. He goes out towards Taylor. Handball. Guthrie got it back to Menegola, to Higgins, back to Cam Guthrie, over the top to Menegola. They've worked the 3-on-3 there beautifully. Left foot kick inside 50 now with the ball. Rowan from behind, can't take the mark. Front of the pack, Core got just a tumbling punt. No. That was a mung ball straight to Zach Tui, 50 out for a goal, and Zach's going to torp it from 55. And you can hear the crowd just lift a little bit when Zach Tui has the ball from 55 out.
They want the tour.
They do want the tour.
And surely at 84 points up, Neil, he's got licence.
Well, it just depends how he's feeling, Tom. It's a cold night. He's a veteran status player. He's going to try and launch it. You wouldn't want him to do a soft shoot.
So it doesn't look like it's going to be a torp. He looks like it's the traditional. He's going to go in that familiar run-up he's got. He comes nice and close to the man on the mark, 50 out, and he has let everybody down because he's pushed it to the far side, through for one behind. So they go to 17-14, 116, the Cats. The Kangas 5-1-31, APCO Cafe 24/7, Krock. Final quarter scoreboard.
Stevenson short into the left-back pocket to Young, who was marked. Southern or Barwon River end of GMHBA Stadium. Call to play on. He sends a high kick towards half-back, asking Zerha to get a run at it. Can't. Views with the spoil, with one of 3 Cats competing. Brought it to ground level with Zach Guthrie. Can't keep it alive at the boundary line. And he's taken out of bounds. And a boundary throw in it. Right half forward for the Cats.
Kingy, just add this to the list of things Paddy Dangerfield can do. Last quarter he was actually on the whiteboard drawing plays with Quinton Narkle. Now he's on the laptop and on the phone up to the box.
Yeah, wow. Thank you for that. Josh Conway down boundary side for us tonight, doing a fantastic job as well. Here's Menegola tracking the footy. Under pressure, got a kick away, but over the head of Rowan. Good pick up by Young of North Melbourne. Oh, tackle. Oh, that was some sort of WrestleMania move that Jeremy Cameron has applied there. And that might be 52 if he's not careful, Aidan Cora. And Jeremy Cameron points to the goal square. And he said to Aidan Core, "You come with me, my ex-teammate." Core playing 98 games at the Giants. Cameron, of course, I think 177 or 178. And Jeremy Cameron, this to share the lead in the Coleman, and he goes bang with a mongrel punt that's going to take somebody's head off in the back of the lower tier. And the Cats now lead by 91, 18-14, 122. North Melbourne are 5-1-31. And Jeremy Cameron has now got 3 goals, 4 on the evening. And he goes to 45 for the season, equal to Charlie Curnow.
It's just that weight. It'd be very frustrating to be playing in the North Melbourne backline. Look, the tackle did go high, but I think the umpire had already made up his mind that was holding the ball before it went up there. And just frustration, really, for Corr. In the end, he came in and tried to get Cameron off his teammate and then decided just to sort of just slap him in the face, open hand. No good, but Cameron's kicked 3 goals and they're leading by plenty. What's that, 91 points, as you said, King? Wow.
So, back to the middle. Stanley and Goldstein. Umpire puts it into the turf. Davies Uniacke drops the football on the Guthrie tackle, gets it back, and then gets slung. Narkles handball, missed Dangerfield, put the tackle on Simpkin, dropped the football. Goldstein tried to run through Dangerfield. You're not going to do that too often.
No ball.
And holding the ball, said the umpire. He did take Dangerfield on in the contest.
He did. He's been beat. Stanley's been. He's beaten Goldstein this evening.
So Dangerfield wants to play on, wheels around, and he tries to break the Zerha tackle. Tui under pressure on centre wing, handballed it back to Danger, got one high, I think, and we'll take a free kick. Zach Tui just on the centre square line, and he's going to go back to Jack Henry, and they're going to move it to the outer side, possibly.
Won't need any heroic exploits from Jack Henry tonight, the Cats. He's just settled in down back after 2 goals last week, including the match winner against the Tigers. It's been a ruthless performance from Geelong. It's really shown the gulf between 2nd and 18th on the ladder. And it's a significant one when you talk North Melbourne as Duncan goes short with a kick that Higgins has marked, former Kangaroo. You get some boos muted from the North Melbourne fans that have trundled here tonight. Kick towards half forward, goes over the head of O'Connor. Not a great kick from Tui. And it's out of bounds for a boundary throw in right half forward. Nearly 12 minutes gone. Cats will just be hoping to get through this last 15 or so minutes with no real issues ahead of Melbourne, but it looks like Jake Kolajasny, thanks to Josh Conway's update for St John of God, well, he might not be in consideration to play the Demons. Boundary throw, and it lands at the feet of both Goldstein and Stanley. It's fisted away on the bounce by McDonald. Well done by O'Connor, just a little bit too easy getting away from Curtis. Kick towards forward 50. Well done by Davies Uniacke, has worked hard tonight, taking a mark in a 1-on-1 against Dangerfield in the left back pocket. The Cats by 91, 12.5 minutes gone on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock in this 4th quarter of Carroll football.
Goes to centre wing, big pack there in front. Larky picked it up, second effort. Can he get around Cam Guthrie? He can. He's feigning the handballs, feigning the kicks. He got the handball away in the end. Greenwood kicked to Zerha. He's got some space, called to play on. He's got it tracked back to Simpkin by hand. He goes with a right foot kick inside 50. There's a 2-on-1. There's a 3-on-1. Atkins came across to help for the Cats as well. He gets it towards Duncan, who chips the ball to Hawkins, who's in the defensive 50. A long way from home. He chips the ball over the top to Smith, who's got it running and runs along the Hickey stand side of the ground. Goes towards Blitzarves. Great kick. Takes the mark. Movement. He wants both left and right. Myers gets around one. Little left foot kick to the pocket to Dangerfield. It's coast to coast again for the Cats, and Dangerfield will line up for goal number 2.
Finally playing where he was named, Nildy.
Yes, you'll have to have a word to them about that, Kingy. I can't believe that team that you spent ages putting in the K-Rock website, they didn't line up. He's played on here just to annoy everybody and give it to Guthrie. Cameron, of course, he's been good tonight. Another person who's been consistent across the 4 quarters. I know we're... Oh, yeah. No, this is not great, Jace, is it? What's happening here? North Melbourne can't touch the ball at the moment. They got the ball inside 50. Atkins intercepted. It's gone from one end to the other and then sort of halfway back again and then back in again. There's not a North Melbourne player touching the ball here.
Are they red or yellow, those witches' hats they're out at the moment?
Yeah, it's hard. It's very hard.
Guthrie Cam comes in, 40 out, off a couple of steps, and that was the problem, I think, with the kick. It was sideways in the end, and he has put it through for a 1 behind. So they go to 18, 15, 123, the Cats. Kangas 5, 131. Abco Cafe 24/7. K-Rock, final quarter scoreboard.
Stevenson, he's going to go with a torp, and he's absolutely munged it towards half-back, put it straight on the chest of Mitch Duncan, who gets again the cheers of... They're probably asking him to load up a torp. From the point of the square, left half forward pulls a kick into the pocket. He was intending it for Hawkins, but McDonald knew that it was going in that direction, cut across and took the mark. Right back pocket, he's a warrior. Luke McDonald, he gives his all, but his team just doesn't have enough of them. Kick to half back, big fly. Cherry couldn't mark front of the pack. Davies Uniacke gave a handball off. It's missed its target, and Cam Guthrie picked up the loose ball that was intended for Curtis Taylor. And we'll get a ball up left half forward near the North Melbourne players race. 15 minutes gone, final turn. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock. Geelong by 92 points as they look to improve to 11 and 4.
So ball up in front. Cherry came back to him. And he gets wrapped up straight away by Blitzarves. And the umpire will come in with a bit more work to do between half forward, well, right on half forward in front of the red chicky stand. Cherry gets it down to Davies Uniacke, who gets the handball to McDonald. He goes back to the middle. Tui got one hand to it. Zach Guthrie in support. His handball forward towards Atkins was good. He chipped the ball over the top. Cam Guthrie can't pick it up. Needs some support. He picked it up in the end. And then he handballed it to Duncan. Got it back from Guthrie. And now Guthrie goes short and Tom Hawkins takes the mark. Will shoot for goal from 50 out. And in the perfect spot for the power fade. And he has kicked 5 goals too this evening so far. Mitch Duncan running around the back, thinking about the short little kick. I think they're going to try it. The crowd would love Mitch to kick a goal, but Tom Hawkins is now called to play on. Will be to kick the goal. He comes in, 50 out, power fade, has not come back. Ooh, just misses to the left-hand side. He has kicked 5 goals, 3 this evening, and the Cats go to 18-16, 124. Kangas 5-1-31.
McDonald trots off from his defensive goal square and driving it long. He wanted Core. Duncan was being held. That's going to be a free kick. That wasn't very smart from Paul Curtis. Core was actually going to mark that fairly simply, would have thought in the end, but he just wanted to make sure Duncan got nowhere near him, and in doing so held him up. He kicks laterally for Zach Guthrie, who kicks basically from the edge of the centre square to the other edge to Jack Henry, who's near the outer side logo, just inside the centre square, the St Mary's product. Of course, attended St Joseph's College. Kick inside forward 50, high ball. Rowan presents, can't mark, big spoil from behind, knocks it into the path of Taylor, who gave it to Davies Uniacke, whose little kick over the top was okay for Anderson. No, it wasn't a mark, because Atkins actually got involved and got his hands on it. The umpire says, almost like a jump ball in basketball, give it to me, I'll toss it into the air. He got up early to Gary Rowan. He will pull down mark of the year one day. Just don't know what day that is.
So the ball, Guthrie from the contest. Cameron, lateral, left foot kick off a step to the top of the square. Kangas, Mackay, doesn't sit for him now, it does. Right foot kick back towards the top of 50. But the Cats, just with the numbers across 50, and Max Holmes takes the mark and will shoot the goal from 45 out directly in front.
They're lining up, Jace. That mark by Max Holmes inside 50, that's the 22nd mark this evening inside 50 by a Geelong player. Kangaroos have had 4. It has just been an absolute domination. Absolute domination. And Geelong are using the footy really, really well.
So Holmes now on 50, right foot kick, hasn't got the distance, and punched through by the Kangaroo defence. So we go to 18-17, 125. Now the Cats, the Kangas 5-1-31. And that's on the APCO Cafe 24/7 Krock final quarter scoreboard.
36 scoring shots to 6, or 35 I should say to 6, as Core drives a kick outside defensive 50 where the mark's taken by Davies Uniacke. For the Kangaroos, he's called to play on. He kicks it towards the wing. He's mishit it, and Henry front position should mark. He didn't complete the mark, but time to pick it up off the ground. Tackled by Greenwood. Ball spills out, but it's pushing it back. Free kick to Jack Henry against Hugh Greenwood.
I filled up at APCO on the way here tonight, gentlemen, and the sales assistant, customer service officer, I think was on his badge, said the Cats mark will definitely win by 100 points.
Well, it's in that zone as Higgins gave it to Cameron. He tried to give it back to Higgins, but he mishit the handball. So the spillage now is tracked by Atkins to the boundary line, shrugs off the tackle, gives a handball to Myers. Myers lowers the vision to Cameron. Cameron gets to 49. The play on advantage paid on the way to a 100-point lead. Cameron goals. He's got 4. Cats lead by 100. 19-17, 131. North Melbourne 5-1-31. And we're not done yet. We're not even in time on in the last quarter. 19 and a quarter minutes gone in this final term, thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7. And those very knowledgeable people at APCO were all over that margin, Newdy.
They certainly were. it was a bold prediction, but maybe not, given what we've seen this evening. It's interesting. We're going to go from the game against Richmond, which is one of the all-time great games, at least probably the best game we've seen so far this season, into this match, and then in 5 days' time, Thursday night, we're back here again with the best seats in the house to see the Cats take on Melbourne. Interesting three games, Jason.
What do you do with Dangerfield now? Do you bring him off, or do you just keep him going?
You just keep him going. Look, you bring him off, even if it is for 7 minutes. You're just going to make sure you're not going to load anyone else up, and they are managed to within millimetres of their existence, Jason. But he hasn't played for a while, and look, if he saw it all, you'd get him off. But so far, so good. Clearly. 100 points.
100 points. This is back in the middle for Stanley and Goldstein. Guthrie. Cam has bought his own footy tonight as well. Dangerous from the middle, goes wide, and Close got one around the chops, and the umpire said, throw it in, thanks. So, son of a Lagi was right behind him and just whacked him across the scone.
Got to get back to round 22, 2018 against the Gold Coast for the last time the Cats won by 100.
There you go. So, it's been a long time waiting here at GMHBA. Falcon off Todd Goldstein's head and straight over the boundary line on the full.
Well, no, it just bounced inside because it went out on the full. I think it's a free kick, isn't it, from the ruck contest?
What, if you Falcon it? Is that a rule?
Well,
if you Falcon the ball
in the ruck contest, if it goes out on the full...
Really?
Well, but it might not be. Well, that would be the ultimate insult.
That's just like you've had enough of
Hughes on the left boot, kicks it inside forward 50. It's to the front of the pack. Hawkins does the roving, has it knocked from his grasp, gets it back, snaps. Kick was partially smothered, bouncing ball. Basina Villani in the right back pocket through the outside. Like Cameron's diving to smother at the 21.5 minute mark, and he's forced to turn over. Tui from 48 metres short. Cam Guthrie marks.
It's good play, Kingy. That's a really good pick up by you. A key forward to be doing that. You said at three-quarter time, Tom, it's about the method and about the manner in which they win. It's not simply about the score, and that was the perfect example of that.
Cam Guthrie's looking to... He's probably wondering where Mitch Duncan is, and we all are. In these days of 6-6-6, you just can't roll everybody up the field and leave somebody one-on-one. Be nice, though. Cam Guthrie, left forward pocket, 45-degree angle, man on the mark, about 35 from goal. He kicks from 42 and kicks the goal. Nice finish from Cam Guthrie. He's got his first. He actually goes into the top 30 tonight for games played at the Cats. He goes past Terry Bright, Tim McGrath and Ben Graham, who are all on 219 as Cam Guthrie plays game 220.
Well, it's a good effort, isn't it? It's a lot of footy. He's been very consistent, particularly in the back half of his career so far. He's been really good. We can rely on him to go out there and get you 25-plus disposals and really compete around the stoppages, which is good. King, I'll reinforce, that was a good pickup, what Jeremy Cameron did there to try and dive across the boot to cause the smother. He got a finger on it, so it was play on, and then Guthrie's work rate found him in the forward pocket, and this one was a better shot for goal. He kicked through the footy. But 106 points is a... relatively.
Do you reckon the workers can go home now, Neil, to get the Foo Fighters end who have been collecting the footies? Because there hasn't been much action in this final term up that end.
Yeah,
they just stay till the end?
Yeah, they'll just see it through.
Get their ticket, you'll be right. Perfect.
Well, the last time we said that, the
free kick to the
CEO
Cats.
of the Trust
Listen,
he wasn't overly happy with us.
6-6-6.
Evening, Jared.
So free kick to Stanley, who gives it to Zach Guthrie, who runs from behind. Now runs forward with the kick. Deep inside 50. In front, Cameron. Through the middle. Mackay got the handball. And as far as Smith, back to Tui, who tracked it. Stevenson was there as well, though. His handball to Anderson, to a call. But Mark O'Connor chopped it off. He gave it to Cam Guthrie. 60 from goal, handball. On the up. They get it towards Smith. He gets it towards Tui now. Running around, mucking around Duncan. Wrapped up 55 out from goal and holding the ball. That was a quick one. And the umpire said free kick, North Melbourne. Crowd not happy here. They want Mitchie to kick a goal. And our short little kick from Greenwood to McDonald.
McDonald, left half back, sends it along the line to Zerha, who marks just back of the wing. Interesting to see what heat continues to come for David Noble. Jeff Walsh, of course, brought in as an advisor in recent times for the Kangaroos. Oh, Smith slipped over. That's going to open the door for Cherry, who socketed off the ground. The outside of the right boot's going to end with Powell. Powell a handball on the up to Anderson. Anderson chip over the top, wanting Spicer, who was subbed into the game early, and he is marked. And this is a chance for just the Kangaroos' 6th of the game and first since the 7-minute mark of the third quarter when Jack Marnie brought the margin back to 32 points. Since then, the Cats have kicked 11 consecutive goals to put some serious hurt on the Kangaroos. They actually haven't scored since that Marnie goal. Spicer on his way has kicked it. No, hit the post about a third of the way up. And he now has 2 behinds for the evening. He has both of North Melbourne's behinds. And they trail by 105 points.
So Smith, indecisive in the kick out, but just kicks it as long as he can towards centre wing. Stengel used the body, couldn't pick it up on the half volley though, and the umpire will come in and ball it up just back of centre wing for the Cats. Warrable Street side of the ground, Blitzarves and Cherry. Cherry gets it down, Higgins through the middle, Greenwood. He got the kick towards Zerha. And he might have a second effort. Rowan pushed off the football. Zerha on hands and knees. Now Zach Guthrie tries to ride the bump. Got the kick away only as far as Greenwood. His kick around the corner. Out in front, Henry. Punched away. Smith working overtime at the back. Kick off the ground outside 50. Goes towards the boundary line with Close. Comes in. Tried to handball it on the up to Henry. Got to Curtis was there instead for North Melbourne. Now back to Close. Little toe poke was beautiful to Mitchie. And Duncan takes the mark on centre wing.
He's back at the wing with it. He looks up. He's got options aplenty. Which one does he go to? He goes along the line, and Myers leading up has taken it in the hands and marked. Myers, long way from home, 75, so he wants to pull a kick nicely onto the chest of Stanley. He marks 53 from goal, just right of centre. Chip over the top was poor from Stanley. Cameron was his intended target. Young read it like a book and got across in front and took the mark. And Young will send it to half-back and get the Kangaroos out of trouble.
He does. He goes towards Larky. Stanley comes from the side. Anderson's handball. Again, set a target on the back of his teammate, but this time it might be okay because Menegola gave the free kick away.
Dave's man.
Yep, and Taylor has got the free kick back of centre wing for North Melbourne. Goes towards half forward. Larky with the sit at the back. Can't take it. Zerha front and centre. Henry thought about picking it up, and then he did and gave it to Zach Guthrie after a good smother. Back to Isaac Smith across a little toe poke around the corner to Zach Guthrie at centre half back. Goes out wide. It's a good kick and it's a great mark. Duncan wants to play on, chips the ball over the top. Cameron takes it, left half forward. Mitch is not running on. Everybody's waiting for him to. He's going to get it back towards Zach Guthrie. And they're going to try and work something out here for Duncan. So he's going to go short again to Duncan. Still a long way from goal. 75. He's going to chip the ball. And it's a good kick to Hawkins. And he's taken the mark 50 out directly in front. So Tom Hawkins, who's kicked 5 goals, 3 this evening.
He looked around looking for Mitch, and Mitch has actually pointed at the goals. They just you kick it.
Just kick it, yeah. So Hawkins, 105 the difference at the moment. And he has, as we said, kicked 5 goals. Jeremy Cameron's kicked 4. And they're hurting the Kangaroos. He comes in. Right foot kick, and has he got the distance? You betcha he has. He's put it through for his 6th of the evening. 6 goals through for the Tomahawk. 21-17, 143 the Cats. The Kangaroos 5-2-32. Apco Cafe 24/7 K-Rock. Final quarter scoreboard. Mark the Elder, you still awake there in the expert's chair? Wake up!
No, I'm certainly awake, just appreciating the way that the Cats are using the footy. It's really good. It's just an avalanche, Jay. So I do feel for David Noble. Kingy mentioned that before. I've been in that position myself before. There's not... the player list versus a Geelong player list, the experience of watching it is what it is. He's going through trying to rebuild a footy club with deep cuts in the list, and he's trying to teach them how to play the game. It's a very brutal competition when you're coming up against experienced seasoned campaigners that Geelong have, and you're trying to teach players how to play. You can't put numbers behind the ball these days. It's an unfortunate situation. Geelong about 72 inside 50s to 25, Jace.
Bounce back in the middle, tap down Goldstein, roving Menegola, jammed it on the boot, rolling towards Duncan, who just palms it down into the path of Narkle, couldn't take it cleanly. Higgins, a little topo to himself, handball to Blitzarves, Menegola stepped through the man coming towards him, and Walker broke his ankles, kick inside 50, Cameron back with the fight, couldn't take it, rolling ball cleaned up by Spicer, he gave a handball off Powell, a kick around the corner, bouncing ball, here's Atkins taking it, dumped by Zerha, forced to spillage, there'll be a free kick to the Cats. Atkins, is there time for a late goal? Yes there is. Atkins short, Blitzarves, where's Duncan? Blitzarves with the footy, man on the mark, stands 55, make it 60 from home. Cameron presents short, he kicks to the pocket looking for a mark, and he gets one, and guess who he got? He got Mitchy Duncan, who will kick after the siren for a goal in game 250. What a fitting finale it would be to a ruthless performance from the men in the navy blue and white hoops. Siren sounds, Geelong with their biggest win and highest score since round 22 against Fremantle in 2018. Mitch Duncan, this would be more famous than his barrel after the halftime siren against the Eagles last year. They will go nuts and blow the roof off this joint if Mitch Duncan can kick this. Duncan, 49 metres, leans back. Will it have the carry? Anti-climax. It's fisted through for a minor score. And that adds a behind to the margin. And the Cats win by 112. What a domination from the Hoops. Bring on the Demons on Thursday night.
We are Geelong, the greatest team of all. We are Geelong, we're always on the ball. We play the game as it should be played, at home or far away. Our banners fly high from dawn to dark, down at Gardenia Park.
Annihilation, humiliation, spifflication, anything that ends in ation. That's what the Cats have done to North Melbourne tonight. 21-18, 144. North Melbourne 5-2-32, highlighted by 6 goals for Tommy Hawkins and 4 for Jeremy Cameron. The Cats in complete control of the Kangaroos since quarter time, and they set up a big one on Thursday night.
We are Geelong, the greatest team of all. We are Geelong, we're always on the ball. We play the game as it should be played, at home or far away. Our banners fly high from dawn to dawn, down at Gardenia Park.
So the Cats go to 11-4, and they pick up some very, very handy percentage off the back of that performance. They have picked up 10%, gone from 125.6 to 135.6, which all of a sudden, if they were to beat the Demons on Thursday night, and depending on the margin, let's just get the 4 points, but if the margin was, say, 20 points, they would potentially take top spot. But here, this Cam Mooney on Fox speaking with Mitch Duncan.
I should have given the other pocket a go. 250 games for this great club. What does it mean to you, buddy? Mate, it's... I feel so privileged to land where I did. You know, we play in such big games. We have such good people at the footy club. You know, you taught me the ropes with a lot of other great players, and I thank you for that. Not just for my, playing ability, but the person that I've become as well. What about late there? Tommy Hawkins. So Tommy Hawkins kicked over 700 goals. I reckon percentage-wise it's pretty high with you giving them to him. You run around the back with a nice little cheap one and he's burnt you. Yeah. No, I want him to kick it, but I was maybe hoping for a little mark inside 50, but even that one, I tried that hard to get a goal in the last quarter. I ran out of legs. Start of the game, you took your family through the banner. I mean, what does that mean to you? Mate, it's pretty special. The middle child, Ollie, he was not a fan of it. He was tears and all, didn't want to get put down, but no, it's great. It's great to be a part of such a family club. bring them along and make them experience it.
Well, the boys did well for you tonight. It's a fantastic win. Go over and celebrate. 250 games, mate. Congratulations. You've been a star for the club.
Thanks, Moona. Cheers. Thanks, guys.
Cam Mooney there speaking it to Fox Footy. I don't know whether we can tap into Jeremy Cameron having a chat on ground to Nathan Templeton. David Collins might work some of his magic. He's got buttons and cables and everything going every which way. And here's Jeremy Cameron.
Just keep chipping away. So, yeah, it was a pleasing result in the end.
And you and Hawk, 10 goals, I think, between you. Tell us what that's like when the boys are, winning the midfield contest and it's coming in quick and fast.
Yeah, it was really good right across the board, I thought. Yeah, mid's got it in and the forwards, we try to keep it in and it's working really well. Not only myself and Hawk and Gary, but, the smalls are working really, really hard up and back, up and down the ground, and it's awesome to see.
So big Thursday night game, 5-day turnaround. Preparation starts now.
Definitely. Can't wait to see this crowd back out there on Thursday. It's awesome, and I can't wait for a 5-day break. Let's get into it.
And finally, Mitch Duncan, 250 games. He's the ultimate professional and a great teammate.
Yeah, he's awesome. From watching on, playing against him for a number of years, he's been the same player. He just keeps on showing up. Like you said, ultimate professional. And the way he uses the ball is incredible, isn't it?
It is spot on. Well done, Jez.
Thank you.
Jeremy Cameron speaking to one of the on-ground hosts. Is nice of North Melbourne to come across and provide a guard of honour for Mitch Duncan's 250, which is something Essendon didn't do for Luke Parker today, which was surprising when he was chaired from the ground. But Mitch Duncan is about to make his way through a guard of honour. So to the Kangaroos, well done to them on what's been a tough night. They're going to walk away with a 112-point loss. And this is a really nice touch here as he's about to be lifted from the ground. He's lost the ball, the match ball, and the skipper, who is out being managed, might have done a shoulder trying to lift Mitch Duncan up, and Tom Hawkins there. So he's a little bit skew-whiff. There's a bit of height difference between, I think it's about 12 centimetres between the skipper and the big fella. And this is a really nice moment as Mitch Duncan becomes the 19th cap to make the 250-game milestone at VFL AFL 11. So well done to North Melbourne, and they'll trudge off to the other side of the ground. And the Cats will make their way down to the rooms very shortly. Josh Conway is down there for us this afternoon, or this evening I should say. The Cats have got the mini footies that they're about to distribute among the faithful that have rolled out to Cardinia Park tonight. Haven't seen a crowd figure roll in, but we'll see if we can pick that up before the night is out. But I'd just be shocked if it's broken 20,000. But either way, and great to see Cat Attack being played. Haven't heard that for a while here.
Old school.
It is very old school. Good name for a podcast. Oh, hang on, it is a podcast. I didn't say it was a good podcast. I just said it was a podcast. Thanks to Kerr. So we're in the fifth quarter for Signature Homes, by the way. The Sandman Mattress Factory. Old habits, very die-hard. I can't get over that. Sandman Mattress Factory. Sleep better with the Sandman's locally made two-sided mattresses made to outlast any other. Torquay Road in Grovedale is where you find them. Neil can vouch. Not only vouch for the Rex Grell Subaru, but he can vouch for a Sandman mattress as well.
Yeah, absolutely, I can, King. It's really important when you have the opportunity, if you can support people who support you. I'm big on that, and Geelong, as we discussed pre-game, it is one of those places where people in Geelong support each other when and where they can, Jace, which is important to point out.
So Jake Collar-Jasniel with the interesting one here for the Cats, subbed out, we believe, concussion for St John of God. Now, if that is the case, that is 12-day turnaround, so we won't see him until the Carlton clash in a fortnight from now. And in the end, it was Collingwood 9-13-67, defeating the Suns 8-14-62, so a thriller at Metricon Stadium. And that means for Collingwood, just checking the live ladder, that they will be inside the 8 and sitting 6th with that victory. So they have jumped from 8th to 6th with that result, climbing both Sydney and St Kilda as a result. So good result there for the Saints. And the Cats, well, 12 wins usually get you in, so they're just one win away from being guaranteed another finals berth, you would suspect, and probably another 4.
I reckon they're a strong chance to play finals, King. I'm just going to go out on a limb if that's all right with you.
And I would have thought another 4 wins gets them top 4.
Yeah, well, the percentage boosted tonight, as you said, what do they increase by 10? It means that they're a game ahead of 5th plus a bucket load of percentage, which is essentially 2 games. And as we know, King, at some stage in the next couple of weeks, you're going to say there's an 8-point game where the AFL put out that memo and say if you win today, we'll give you 8 points. It's a wonderful round when that happens.
That's Carlton, actually, in a fortnight's time.
Have they already put that out?
Yeah, they have.
It's a great result, isn't it? So win today, we'll give you 8 points. Every other game in the history of the competition has been 4, but tonight you get 8.
You're an imbecile.
No,
I had to call somebody an imbecile tonight because Ben's not here.
It is, and unfortunately, some people call you an imbecile when you just speak sense.
Sense, yeah, I know. Down to the rooms, Josh Conway waiting patiently for the Cats players to join him. Josh, can you give us a bit of the sense of the buzz down in the rooms?
Nice.
They're just about to start, Kingy, so I don't want to say too much in case they start holding it out in front of me. Mitch Duncan actually walked in and he started clapping himself. No one else really was getting around him.
It's like whispering Ted Lowe down there from Josh Conway. What am I watching? An episode of Pop Black.
Right corner.
We are Geelong, the greatest team of all. Hey, we are Geelong, we're always on the ball. We play the game as it should be played. Hey, no more far away. Our is flying high from dawn to dark. Stack it in your park.
That's a very restrained version of We Are Geelong. Nothing like what we copped from the MCG rooms last week, Jace, which you were down among the throng last week. That was a completely different version of We Are Geelong. Josh, player-wise, are we speaking with anybody straight up, or are they heading into a meeting?
They're just linked. We're just working on it, Kingy. Give us a couple of minutes.
In other words, Laurie Hill's working on it, isn't he?
Correct.
Your executive producer. Doing a wonderful job. Let us know how you go down there. We're happy to take your calls. Got the next level skirmish double pass to give away. 52232955. 52232955. You can text us anytime as well. 0456 955 955. 0456 955 955. Davey Collins was waving his arms around like they were playing Am I Ever Going to See Your Face Again? I was wondering what he wanted. It's a bit like Peter Garrett. Sort of dance moves. He was sort of limbering the arms around the place.
I think he was motioning to the executive producer down there to find out what's going on. He's all over it down there too, Laurie.
52232955. KFC Twitter as well. Now, KFC, you can join the KFC workforce and have loads of fun. Check out careers.kfc.com.au. And just some of the sentiments, as we always ask post-game, just the thoughts of the Geelong faithful and just some of the responses that we've had so far through post-game. Dave at Boxhead 31. Good workmanlike win, but as someone who had a couple of uncles play for North, it's sad to see how far they've fallen. Makes you wonder how long they can keep going. Casper, superb. I think he was here, Casper. Superb performance with putting away a bottom 4 team. Woohoo. Andrew Daly, enjoyable calls as always, although the lack of double entendres and Police Academy references were noticeable. Charlie Lambert, are they playing Cat Attack, the song they tried to bring out in the early 90s? Yes, they were, Charlie.
Yep.
Yeah, and it does get a run in our podcast every week. It's actually our opening theme music and closing theme music. H the Cat, well, that's what a top 2 side is meant to do with a cellar dweller. Oh, and it's freezing at Kidinia Park, by the way. Adrian Mancini, Jezza, best on ground, best going around at the moment, job done. Tick. I think Benny Cass is in trouble. He might need to come back through the 2s. That's Joey Kazina, relative of yours.
Good on you, Uncle. Well done.
Uncle Joey. Justin, training drill after quarter time. Just to give you that score after quarter time, he was 18-13 to 2-1. That's 28 more scoring shots.
And I think that was, Nearly was highlighting that during the call. The amount of inside 50s for the Cats against North Melbourne was just unbelievable.
Yeah, it was a bit sad to see, Jace, to be fair. Like, inside 50s, 74-25. But it's a competition of 18 clubs. There's rules in place, and again, some of the Geelong people that talk about, maybe we need to bottom out to get the number 1 draft pick. That's what it looks like. And it's tough.
It's not pretty.
It's really, really tough. Yeah. You try, as I said before, you're trying to teach people how to play the game and how to be an AFL player and how to train like an AFL player in the middle of having that every 7 days, where they get put to the sword by the best in the business. And there's a big difference between the teams at the top end and the teams at the bottom end. So there's a lot of hard work still to be done.
It's a physical and a mental game, isn't it? Like
Absolutely.
That. It's in terms of the mental capacity and the load that it takes, especially this deep into the season too.
Yeah, it's a good point. We saw in the first quarter, North Melbourne, they were competitive. They did what they could, and they ran out of steam, and they're inexperienced. And cop 70, minus 49 inside 50s. Oof, that's tough.
I'll leave the final say on the KFC Twitter for the moment to Daz Broncos. Awesome way to get 4 points. Had the close one last week and the flogging this week. Can't wait for next week. Benny back next week after general soreness. On go the chin straps. Go Cats. I think Darren has joined us on the line. Darren, thanks for your call.
Yeah, how you going? I just wanted to ask where you think Asafa Radaglia sits in the team, giving Gary Rowan the third tall. Does he look like they're getting a game again for the club?
It's a tough one for Asafa Radaglia, out injured, and he's had to come back via the VFL. I think he's now played 3 in the VFL, Darren, and right now I don't think he's part of the setup.
Look, history says that there's no way. What round are we at, Tom? Round 15?
16.
Round 16. So there's no way that the same players will play every week between now and finish up hopefully playing in a grand final. So you never know. At the moment, Asava's not in the side. He needs to do what everybody else is doing who's playing in that VFL team that's AFL aligned. You just need to keep your fitness up, keep your form up, keep learning, keep doing what you can, because sometimes the opportunities do come. We had Sean Higgins on about 6 or 7 weeks ago, and we asked him the same question, and he said, I've been doing this business for 17 years. I can guarantee you that that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my head down. I know at some stage the opportunities will open up. It may open up because of form. It may open up because of injuries. It may open up because of an opposition. You just have to be ready, and Asava is in that boat.
Darren, good call. I can tell you that in the VFL clash tonight, where Geelong have lost 118-62 to Frankston, he had 13 possessions, 5 kicks, 8 handballs. He laid 6 tackles, and he played in the ruck because he had 25 hit-outs. So with Toby Conway and John Segler both sidelined, Radaglia and Neil shared the ruck work in that clash with the Dolphins. So that's another string to his bow. We know he can play in the ruck. So I'll be interested to see what the Cats come up with in coming weeks. Darren, thank you for your call. Happy to take more of them. 52-232-955. Next level skirmish double pass is up for grabs, and we're not too far away from heading downstairs. We are heading downstairs right now to Josh Conway, who's got Max Holmes.
Max, congratulations on the win, and thanks for joining us on K-Rock Footy. Firstly, mate, the Mitch Duncan shot after the siren, it was obvious you were trying to get the ball into his hands. All of his teammates, were you willing that shot through at the end?
Yeah, we're really hoping that would go through. I had a shot like 10 minutes to go, and everyone's going like, look for Mitch. I'm like, looking around, can't see him, but yeah, we're trying to get him a goal, but he had a ripper anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
You're recently new to the club, but what sort of impact has Mitch had on you in your short time here?
Yeah, he's really professional. He's a great guy, of course, especially early days last year. He plays a similar outside role to me, so he's got really good advice. He's been through it all before, so he's been really important for me. Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, Max. Congratulations on the performance. What was the initial message post-game from the coaching staff in regards to just the way you went about it?
We haven't actually spoken to the coaches.
Oh, okay.
Which is probably a good thing, I guess. Everyone seems pretty pumped up, pretty happy with it. I guess we just went out today, just even though North aren't the strongest opponent, just go through our system and play well. So I think we did that pretty well. So yeah, pretty happy.
You find yourself back in the team over the last couple of weeks after a stint on the sidelines. Was there anything you were able to work on your game as you worked your way back from your syndesmosis?
Yeah, well, I was able to do a lot of touch with Nigel Lappin, so just like I'd be sitting down on a chair and he'd just firing balls at my hands and all that. So I feel like just like that, I've been real clean around the ball, and of course lots of weights. I'm feeling stronger than I ever have, which is positive. So yeah, it's kind of. It's not great to get injured, but it was a good 6-week stint for improvement, I guess.
It'd be wrong of me not to ask, but how's the contract negotiations going for beyond this year? Have you been able to come to an agreement yet, or close to putting pen to paper to stay at the Cats?
I'm not sure what I'm allowed to say, but it's close. You
can say what you want, Max. It's your contract.
Oh yeah, but I don't know if I get in trouble. So
no, you won't. You're talking to K-Rock. You'll be fine.
It's close.
Yeah, well, I'll take that as a given. Well done. Jason Doherty's going to fire the next question at you, Max.
Max, we watched obviously last week's game against the Tigers, your first game back after that injury. It must have been amazing to get back into the team, but also to be part of that amazing win, and then to back it up tonight and be able to, as you said, go through your system and play well as a team again.
Yeah, I guess last week it was kind of a bit of a wake up for me. Like I played VFL the week before, but it's another level up, and it was a tough game last week. Richmond really have a good system going on and lots of pressure, so I guess that was a good warm up into this week as well. And I think we're all systems go at the moment. Everyone seems to be playing the role well. Like, we've got that real positive environment where everyone wants to play a good role and play something that helps the team, maybe not for themselves. So, everything's going pretty smoothly at the moment.
It seems to be that you've got plenty of options in the midfield, and obviously Danger came back tonight and Joel was managed. So just for you to be able to roll through there as well, and just the numbers, Cam Guthrie was amazing again tonight, and Jeremy Cameron went in there for a while as well. But just for you to be able to go in there and be an extra as well is going to be beneficial as we lead towards the finals.
Yeah, well, I think from the coach's perspective, it's good for me just to be able to, later in the quarters, I've still got a bit of run on my legs. Good to get inside. And I guess if I can hold my own and improve a bit and learn a bit down there, that'd be good and hold me in good stead for the future, I guess.
Max, Mark Newell here. Well done on tonight's win. Mate, you've spoken about, and you sound really good. You're talking about processes and systems and things like that you were really keen on this evening. How difficult was that? It must be tough for North Melbourne. You guys have nearly had 50 more inside 50s. How were the senior players communicating to you to make sure that you were concentrating on the way that Geelong want to play?
It's really all about communication, I guess. We've recognised early in the year that when we're down, we have a lack of communication and let teams split us to the middle. So we were aware that North like to go through the middle tonight, and we really made it a focus to lock that down and be really loud amongst the group, just to direct others and really lock through that middle. So you can probably see that they were kicking around the back a bit, which was positive for us. Makes it hard for them to attack and I guess easier for us to defend.
And one more from me, Max. Now, the man who normally sits in this chair normally asks this question of people that we have on K-Rock. Now, what sort of coffee man are you? Are you getting into this Moccona thing that's happening at the footy club at the moment with some reptiles down there, or are you a barista man?
I'm only 19, so second year.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And I've seen you a few times in Paco. You like the cafe lifestyle, I think, too, don't you, Max?
It's good social outing. I guess before I came to the club, I'd never drank a coffee before. So when I first got here, I was like, oh god, what do mum and dad drink? And I was like, skinny latte. So I've had that ever since. So. I haven't been adventurous enough to get on the Moconas, but maybe soon.
Stick to the baristas, I think.
Yeah,
Max, well done.
Max, really appreciate you joining us. Hopefully that contract announcement's not too far away. Well done on committing to the Cats. We'll take it as a given that's what's happened, and we look forward to seeing you in the hoops for a very long time. You're a very impressive young man, and we've enjoyed watching your evolution over the last couple of years.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Max Holmes joining us here on K-Rock Football. Thanks to Geelong Marine World. Geelong Marine World, powered by Suzuki Marine. On a Saturday night, that was Max Holmes joining us on K-Rock Football.
See, they just roped them in early. See, at the club? It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cafe lifestyle. Did you do that, Neildy, when you were here? Cafe lifestyle?
I don't think it was a thing then, Jace.
Back then?
Back then, I think. No, I remember going into... It was on a trip. We went to America and we walked into this place called Starbucks. About 35 different varieties of coffee. It was a bit hard to take for the young people from Geelong. Goodness me, what happened here? But no, we've certainly embraced that at this stage in life, Jace.
Yes.
Packing your streets, very important. And when you fill up late at night, APCO, there's got coffees in there. Don't forget about that.
Of course, there is. That's right.
52232955. Happy to hear from you, Cat fans, and you can tweet us as well anytime and jump on the KFC Twitter and the SMS line 20456955955. We'll take a break, come back and go through some of your calls, some of your tweets as well, and have a bit of a look at how this all unfolded tonight here at GMHBA Stadium. Fifth quarter for Sandman Mattress Factory. Sleep better with the Sandman's locally made two-sided mattresses made to outlast any other. Back shortly. Live, breathe. K-Rock Footy.
Thanks to our number one ticket holder, APCO. Fueled by APCO Cafe 24/7. Tom, Lingy and Lockie on K-Rock 955.
Last night I did have a dream. So here's what happened. I was at a party. Weirdly, I knew it was our barista's house, but I didn't see her there. So I didn't know anyone. So I'm like, I'll go get some snacks and stuff. I'll go buy some chips and some more drinks for people and stuff.
Or just leave.
So and then I come back to the house and a group of them answer the door. One of the girls goes, "Oh, you came back." And I was like, "Oh, God." But I do also feel kind of creepy that I was at our barista's house.
Yeah, well, that's the dominant feeling.
So many things we need to unpack here.
Let's not unpack any of it. Just push it deep down inside, okay? Leave it where it is.
Tom, Lingy and Loggy. 6 a.m. weekdays. K-Rock 955. Find your perfect fit at Swim Sport and Leisure Centre. 1 membership. Access to 6 centres across Greater Geelong.
Why does APCO Cafe 24/7 coffee taste so good? It's the ingredients and care in every cup. It's our signature blend Gigante beans and fresh Pura milk. Our beans are specialty roasted with milk textured until silky smooth for an award-winning cup of coffee. And this month at APCO Cafe 24/7, you could win free coffee for a year. Just buy a cup of barista-made coffee to enter. Win free coffee for a year at APCO Cafe 24/7. We've got you.
It's on now. Harvey Norman Bedding's Australian-made mattress floor stock clearance. This is the time to get an amazing bargain on discontinued floor stock mattresses. Shop from all of our big-name brands like Sleepmaker, Sealy and King Coil. Upgrade your old mattress and save with amazing bargains on floor stock mattresses. The Australian-made mattress floor stock clearance at Harvey Norman Bedding now. Easy parking at 2 Geelong locations, Princess Highway, Corio and Warn Ponds.
If shopping local is important to you, try the Sandman's Geelong-made mattresses. They're some of the best money can buy. These two-sided mattresses are so comfy and made to outlast any other. Plus, with a huge range of timber and fabric bedroom furniture and caravan mattresses, at the Sandman, you're spoiled for choice. With free delivery and mattress removal, sleep better with the Sandman. Visit the huge Grovedale showroom with lots of easy parking or shop online at sandman.com.au.
Thanks to our number 1 ticket holders, APCO. Fueled by APCO Cafe 24/7.
More of your calls, 52232955. 955. Give us a call and join us on the K-Rock Footy Open line, as Joe has done. Joe, thanks for your call.
Good evening, boys. Good call. A
Thank
question to all three, or nailed. My dad used to play cards, and he used to tell me never give a sucker, never break, so you can't feel sorry for the guy that's losing. So, saying that, who would you pick, which midfielder from North Geelong, from North Melbourne, would you pick to come to Geelong?
That's a really insightful question. Yeah, Joe, I'm listening. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to pad. I'm trying to come up with some words while I can... Look, Jai Simpkin, I don't mind. He's a young player who's doing it pretty tough at the moment, but he keeps his head down. He's really good in a contest. I think he has a good AFL future. He would be one. Obviously, Horn Francis, he didn't play tonight. He's the number 1 draft pick. We haven't got enough exposed form at senior level on him, but you would think, being a number 1 pick and being a midfielder and what he's done in senior footy as a kid in South Australia, that he would be one that you would latch onto. But at the moment,
you wouldn't have Davies Uniacke.
Look, you might, but it's hard to say, because if you look at the Geelong midfield, to get one of them in, who's going to go out? So it's almost it's a two-way thing. So if you get Simpkin in, is that if Selwood retires, does Simpkin turn up? Well, the answer would be yes. That would be really good. If Dangerfield goes, is it a Uniacke that you bring in? Well, maybe. But that's a really insightful question. I'm sure that would get lots of people thinking, Joe.
Joe, appreciate your call as always. 52232955. Happy to take more of your calls. The next level skirmish double pass up for grabs. Let's have a look at the scores from today for Leopold Sporties. Essendon by 9 points over Sydney at the SCG. Melbourne by 29 points over Adelaide at the Adelaide Oval. And Collingwood by 5 points to go into 6th spot after beating the Gold Coast by 9-13-67 to 8-14-62. Geelong got a touch up in the VFL from Frankston. The final margin there sitting at 10 goals, I believe. It was 18-10, I'll make it 56 points, 18-10, 118 to 8-14-62. In the GDFL, the winners were Inverleigh, Belmont Lions, Geelong West, East Geelong, Bellpost Hill and Winchelsea. Just off the KFC Twitter, join the KFC workforce and have loads of fun. Check out careers.kfc.com. And just some of the responses. Solid Cats, this is JFK. Solid Cats, much more free-flowing last time we played them. Love the pressure. Hashtag well done, Mitch. Tales from the Telegraph Overpass. This is a nice little niche account that is somebody has set up, which is it does a bit of a humorous take on things at the Telegraph Bridge, which you...
Yes, I know where that is.
Which you are very close...
Yep, thank you. Yep.
President.
Yep.
The team in blue and white did well. AFL clash policy. Dunk sitting up Tomahawk on the lead, then the goal was the best. And well done North for staying on the ground to recognise Mitch Duncan's milestone in the face of a 112-point defeat. That was from Medicus. So just some of the sentiment is that the Cats, they're very happy with on K-Rock football.
Now, Kingy, off the KFC Twitter, personal Twitter.
Yes.
This person's just tweeted in to say that they want to get this ready for Thursday night, hopefully for Thursday night. They want to know when Geelong win, if it could be a K-Rock thing, if anyone driving in their car, as soon as the siren goes off, they start tooting the horn and it becomes a signal in the Geelong region, or doesn't matter where you are, that when Geelong win, you toot your horn. So they want to get it up for Thursday. They think it could work more during the day, but they want to have a crack on Thursday night when the Cats beat the Demons, Tom. So I'll leave that with you. I think you put that on the run sheet. Remember to ask everyone currently in their car to toot the horn, irrespective of where they are. And that signifies, or signals, which is a much better word used there, that they're listening to K-Rock and the Cats have won. What about that off the KFC Twitter?
It's not bad from you.
I said, well, I didn't do it. I didn't tweet myself.
But for you to have those contacts...
What, is it that I know someone who could come up with that?
Yeah,
it's amazing.
That's pretty impressive.
Yes, it is. I don't know why. Does that fit in this conversation?
I've no idea.
You just said?
No, I've got no idea.
Pottle, have you got a joke for him?
No. The Sandman Mattress Factory. Sleep better with the Sandman's locally made two-sided mattresses made to outlast any other. A break, back, wrap things up from here.
Bye, I'm going to the airport. I've got to go.
Stadium. No, you've got things still to do.
No, I've got to go.
You don't have to go.
Yeah, I do.
No, I'm not.
Andy said I could go.
No,
you did.
I did.
Are we still on air?
Yeah, we are. And I'm taking a break, coming back, and you're going to come back and wrap up Geelong Insurance Brokers and the Steamatic Stand-Up.
Oh, no, Jeremy Cameron.
Thanks to Cafe 24/7.
Yes.
Thanks to our number one ticket holder, APCO. Fueled by APCO Cafe 24/7. At K-Rock 955, we've got all of Geelong's favourite hits. The jams you're loving right now.
Oh, the misery. Everybody wants to be my enemy.
The classics that take you back.
Take me away.
And all your faves from in between. Whether you're cruising down the Great Ocean Road, heading up the highway, or just kicking around Geelong, K-Rock 955 has all your favourite hits. Live, breathe, Geelong in the Surf Coast.
Looking to buy a boat? See the Bellarine Peninsula's largest indoor display of new boats at Geelong Marine World. Family owned and operated, Geelong Marine World has a huge range of fiberglass and aluminium boats powered by Suzuki, the ultimate outboard motor, ranging from 2.5 to 350 horsepower. Finance and insurance available and supported by an authorised Suzuki service centre. Cruising, fishing or fun? Get out on the water with Geelong Marine World. Port Arlington Road, Moollap. GeelongMarineWorld.com.au.
At home, on the work site, in the office, there are some big cleaning problems you just don't want to deal with.
Don't panic. Call Steamatic.
Steamatic has real solutions to your cleaning problems. Graffiti removal, kitchen canopy cleaning, blasting services or the big industrial jobs, they're equipped to handle it all. Steamatic, a standout job every time and on standby when you need them most.
Don't panic. Call Steamatic.
Essington Street, Grovedale. Visit steamaticgeelong.com.au.
Why does APCO Cafe 24/7 coffee taste so good? It's the ingredients and care in every cup. It's our signature blend Gigante beans and fresh pure milk. Our beans are specialty roasted with milk textured until silky smooth for an award-winning cup of coffee. And this month at APCO Cafe 24/7, you could win free coffee for a year. Just buy a cup of barista-made coffee to enter. Win free coffee for a year at APCO Cafe 24/7. We've got you.
Thanks to our number one ticket holders, APCO. Fueled by APCO Cafe 24/7.
I've missed a private joke here between Jason and Neildy. He's got to get on a flight. What time's your flight?
Early.
Well,
Pothole's telling jokes. It's a bit. Geelong have won by 500 points.
It's just like Australia 3 for 560.
And you've said someone.
He
doesn't really know who you said won at Wimbledon.
Elliot Tomanovic. Yeah, she's the Australian girl. She's just won through to the fourth round at Wimbledon with a very big win. So
great.
Anyway, I was just telling Jace that because I know he likes his tennis.
I thought we were talking about footy, not
we're in the ad break.
We do general sport. It's all right. Don't worry.
Sandman Mattress Factory. Sleep better with the Sandman's locally made two-sided mattresses made to outlast any other. Josh Conway is back from the Geelong rooms. Jake Colajasny, the only concern.
Yeah, that's right. He came back down to the bench, looked okay, but yeah, it was a heavy knock just on the broadcast wing here. A bit of a concern around his head, so I'll have to wait and see if that is a legitimate concussion or they were just a precaution around his head and neck. But he was the only major one for Geelong, of course. Early, Aaron Hall went off, subbed out with that quad injury, and Kane Turner as well was out of the game, so North were one down for the second half.
Yeah.
Kingy, did I tell you that the Steve Maddox standout was Jeremy Cameron?
I've got to do the head-to-head for Geelong Insurance Brokers because Geelong Insurance Brokers bring you the match-up between Todd Goldstein and Reece Stanley. So is Todd Goldstein coming to Geelong next year?
Well, that depends on your Twitter rumour mill thing that you're just about to start up. We're almost near the end of the year where that starts up. But based on exposed form this evening, Stanley was terrific. He was much better than Goldstein tonight. Much, much better. So head-to-head, definitely Reece Stanley. And the Steve Maddox standout was definitely Jeremy Cameron. Right, 30 disposals, kicked 4 goals, 3, 12 kicks, I think, a couple of handballs, maybe 10, maybe 12, laid 3 tackles.
Do you want to confirm those numbers, please, Jace, because you've got them in front of you for Curse Hire, for Jeremy Cameron.
So, Jeremy Cameron, he had 30 disposals, 18 kicks, 12 handballs.
Oh, there we go, it's close.
10 marks.
There we go. And I reckon he had a couple of tackles. Kick 4 goals, 3.
3 tackles.
There you go.
Kick 4 goals, 3.
Yeah. Tonight's Steve Maddox standout. They're getting a good run for their money. It's the 6th time I've said it, Kingy, and you haven't acknowledged one of them yet.
Delivering solutions, saving properties and restoring lives in the Greater Geelong area for 25 years. That is Steve Maddox. You said 30 disposals, Jace.
Yes.
It's an equal career high.
Is it really? Well, he played high, literally up the ground, up near the wing on occasion, and it's a really good look, and North Melbourne really struggled to defend that.
The last time he had 30 was against Richmond for GWS in round 3, 2019, when he kicked 7 goals, 5 from 30 disposals. Took 9 marks.
It's a big night at the office.
Off my personal Twitter, don't want Goldstein.
Yes, okay.
That's what the call was, off my personal Twitter.
Oh, does Reece Stanley already text you?
Yes, that's from Reece. Well done, Reece. We'll meet for a coffee on Monday. Well done, Reece.
Hey, barista made coffee too. Neildy?
Yes?
Go.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, listeners. Well,
good luck.
I'll be chatting to you on Thursday.
Go well.
Good luck.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Pass on our best to Alice.
Yeah, I will. No worries. Yes. Excellent. Thanks, gents. Bye for now.
K-Rock team looking forward to the West Coast Fever, hopefully getting the Super Netball League title as Mark Neeld makes his way out the door. Just back to Josh Conway. Nearly wanted to go and just want to get back to you, Josh. If it is a concussion, obviously it's a 12-dayer, isn't it? And he won't play.
Correct, yeah. We just had to find out from the club whether it was purely a precautionary thing or whether there was a legitimate concussion.
All right. Yeah, well, DeConing to come back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, hopefully, fingers crossed, for the Demons on Thursday night. Curse Hire, some key numbers just from the night. Maybe some of the better ball winners. Jace, you've got access to the Curse Hire stats, your local hire company since 1982.
Yes, as we said, so Jeremy Cameron actually was the leading stat getter for the Cats on the ground. He had 30 disposals, as we said. Luke Davies-Uniacke actually outdid him and everybody else. He had 35. He had 18 kicks and 17 handballs. Mitch Duncan, in his 250th, finished with 30, 21 and 9 and had 14 marks as well this evening. Cam Guthrie had 29, 16 kicks, 13 handballs. Zach Tui racked up 27. He had 20 kicks and 7 handballs.
That was an unobtrusive 27.
Yeah, he collated them quickly across the night. Zach Tui had 4 marks as well and 2 tackles. Jai Simpkin had 27. Isaac Smith had 26, 14 and 12. So I didn't think he had 26. Jaden Stevenson, 25 possessions.
Well, a lot of those were kick-ins.
They were a lot of kick-ins. Mark Blitzars had 25. At the other end of the scale, taking out all of the changes like Kane Turner, Mackay had 3 disposals for the night. Tristan Cherry had 5 disposals for the night. Jack Marnie had 5 disposals for the night. Cameron Zerha had 6. Todd Goldstein 7. And Nick Larkey 7. Brad Close only had 10 for the Cats tonight. 8 and 2. Jed Buse 9, 3 and 6. And Jack Henry had 11.
If Brad Close is giving you 10 to 15 and kicking 2 goals, you'll take that every week.
He had 6 tackles as well, so he kept the pressure on up forward as well.
He's playing the Luke Dullhouse role.
He absolutely is.
Luke Dullhouse was an interesting one. He wasn't in that VFL team tonight, so it wasn't him, Conway. So a couple we need to follow up with the Cats just in regards to where they are at. So I thank you for that, Jace. Kerrs High, your local high company since 1982. Time to bring you our highlights for the evening, the Hamlin Hanger and the goal of the day for Lammy's Tavern. We'll start with the Hamlin Hanger. Now, Hamlin has built itself an outstanding reputation for functional, beautifully finished homes. You'll find them, of course, on Maribel Street in South Geelong, just across the way. You can actually see them from where we are with the gap in the grandstand where the rain is actually now starting to fall here on GMHBA Stadium. But it came very early in the contest, and we thought it was going to be tough to beat, and it was in the end. It came at the 5-minute mark. It was Mark Blitzarves, our Hamlin Hanger.
Hamlin Hanger.
55 out, he gets the handball on the outside. Baby Guff gets it to Dangerfield. 45 out, top of the square. Goes up, Blitzarves with a Hamlin Hanger. Contender, 10 out from goal. Beautiful play by Mark Blitzarves to float in from the side and take the grab.
It was a fair grab. Josh, you know your footy really well. Who does Hawigo Oia play for?
Come again?
Who does Hawago Oia play for?
Just pick the Suns.
The Suns.
It's the Suns.
There you go.
I hadn't heard of him. He kicked a goal his first kick in footy. He was a late inclusion for the Suns. Yeah, he's just come up in one of my reports. I've gone.
Fantastic.
I hadn't heard. I was waiting for you to go. Yeah, he's at the Suns, you idiot. No, hadn't heard of him either.
There's something for Jimmy Cheetahs to be able to hold on to. James Cheetahs to hold on to.
Yes, of course, debuted tonight.
He debuted tonight too.
And
so
they lost by 5.
You remember? He played with the Papua New Guinean import.
Yeah. Wow. It's great.
They get it from everywhere on the Suns, don't they? Hey,
Well,
far and wide.
Just looking, Kingy Cheetahs, just for the listeners out there, had 5 disposals.
Okay.
3 kicks, 2 handballs, and a tackle.
I hope he gets an opportunity to get a bit of a run at it. Is he only on a 1-yearer? Is that what you get as an SSP?
I would assume so.
Yeah. Okay.
So-
Fingers crossed that it's not just a one-off for him because he's worked so hard to get there. Josh will know better than anybody. You know, he was running around at Grovedale in 2019.
Yeah, stopped playing footy here, didn't he, at VFL level, and ended the year at Grovedale. Now he's playing AFL. Great story of perseverance.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done to James Cheetahs. Our goal of the day, thanks to Lammy's Tavern. Lammy's celebrating 21 years, open Friday to Sunday at 9 p.m, free before 10 p.m. With just the fourth goal of his career. It's actually started to get some momentum in season 2022 when we wrapped for him. It came during the third quarter, came about 14 minutes in, and it came to Zach Guthrie.
Goal of the day. Thanks to Lammy's.
The umpire said play on. Still inside 50 for the Cats. Comes back to Smith. Heard the call of Zach Guthrie. 45 metres out. Open goal square. Zach Guthrie. Lammy's Tavern goal of the day contender off the side of the pack.
Tom Hawkins kicked 6. Jeremy Cameron kicked 4. Tyson Stengel kicked a couple, but goal of the day, Zach Guthrie. Thanks to Lammy's Tavern.
Yep. Good finish.
Yeah, it was a good finish. All the audio, interviews, quarter highlights, they're all at krockfootball.com.au. We might as well just sleep here. We're back here in 5 days.
It's just around the corner, isn't it?
Yep. Round 17 starts Thursday night. It's the last of the Thursday games until the finals.
Yes.
And then we get a bit of a pause, and I think then the first final will be on a Thursday night, Geelong and Melbourne from 6 o'clock. And don't forget our podcast with Benny and myself back again this week, the Cat Attack podcast. You can subscribe to it on iTunes. And GFL action after our week off, St Mary's and Colac at 1 o'clock. An absolute cracker next Saturday afternoon. But we need to get out of here. We need to say thank you to a few people as we do that. Matty Dwyer back at Krock HQ. Thanks, little pup. Done some wonderful work for us this evening. He's a great young man, and he's got us, just kept us sort of the ship in the right direction this evening, and he's done a pretty good job at doing that as well. Our executive producer, Lawrence Hill. Happy 73rd birthday for yesterday.
I know the great pothole.
And tipped the margin. It was nearest the pin with the margin at 90 points. So well done to you, Loz. Davey Collins, president of the Sandmeadow Golf Fan Club. He went hard, didn't he?
I said one thing.
Yeah, and do you know what?
And suddenly I'm a
Only need to be one thing. Only need to be one thing.
Josh Conway, great to have you.
Well, Josh.
Good down boundary side for us tonight.
Thanks, guys. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Thanks for having me.
Gee, we had going to the pump early, didn't we?
Yeah. Kept busy. That was good.
On your toe. Thanks, Josh. Good work. We'll hopefully see you on Carrick Footy again before the year is out, whether it be at AFL or GFL level. Neildy, goodbye.
Yeah. Oh, he's already in the air.
He's already in the air.
I'll do it. I'm out.
Jace.
Well done, Jace.
Well done, man. Good work again, as always.
Yes. Time to get out of here. I'm going to have a drink of Coke. Nothing else, nothing stronger, not after yesterday. Anyway.
Straight to Lambie's.
Straight to Lambie's. And it's retro round for the Cats and the Demons on Thursday night. But you can make sure to check out all the latest footy news at carrickfootball.com.au. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to our major sponsor, Apco Cafe 24/7, who tonight helped us oversee a 112-point Geelong win, and you heard it all on
K-Rock! Football! Gets it straight away from half forward, deep, long, open goal square. Goes back towards it. It's gone through. Paddy Dangerfield with the first kick of the evening. Baby Guff gets it to Dangerfield. 45 out, top of the square. Goes up. Blitzers with a Hamlet hanger. Contender. 10 out from goal.
He's shocked if Zerha couldn't finish this from here. He'll kick from 30, and he has made no mistake. So the Kangaroos are up and about going into quarter time. Ask a lot of Young. He couldn't mark in a 2-on-1 against a couple of Cats. Rowan's come up with it. He can fire a handball forward, and strolling into an open goal is Hawkins. Kicks to about 20 out from goal, having to play spoiler with Cherry. He'll do his own roving and go off the ground and goal, I reckon. That's not a bad effort for Lambie's Tavern goal of the night.
Rowan used the turner speed, handball on the up, turn around to the top of Hawkins, who runs into goal, takes a bounce, kicks it through for his third of the evening. And a quick start again for the Cats in the third term. Still inside 50 for the Cats, comes back to Smith. Heard the call of Zach Guthrie, 45 metres out. Open goal square! Zach Guthrie!
Dangerfield with a kick, and then Blitzar sends it long. Rowan hit the ground, 45 out, chip to the goal square, close or mark, and kick a goal. Wonderful from the Cats. Cameron gets to 49, the play on advantage paid on the way to a 100-point lead. Cameron goals. He's got 4. Cats lead by 100. Good pick up by Young of North Melbourne. Oh, tackle. Oh, that was some sort of WrestleMania move that Jeremy Cameron has applied there. He kicks to the pocket looking for a mark, and he gets one, and guess who he got? He got Mitch Duncan, who will kick after the siren for a goal in game 250. What a fitting finale it would be to a ruthless performance from the men in the navy blue and white hoops. Siren sounds, Geelong with their biggest win and highest score since round 22 against Fremantle in 2018.
Wind, rain,